labels make the artists do those boardroom performances?
Here's how those go.
Who's the most fake?
Yeah.
Of course you're gonna lose the art because people aren't doing it for the art anymore, they're doing it for the bag. And this is not me speculating. This is me talking to like top 5 most streamed artists in the world and them talking to CEOs and CEOs admitting. And me on the phone with like the dude who fakes the stream. Nicki spoke on Future saying when I talked to Future, he told me he wasn't even doing the drugs that he talks about. I think Future's music is amazing, but I also know that the reason why I wanted to try lean when I was 19 was Future. We have seen it live in the flesh. Juice WRLD said, I did drugs because of you. Juice WRLD died of a drug overdose by following somebody who does not even do the drugs that they said they did. It's y'all's fault for believing it. No. Start at chapter 1. Why are you perpetuating something you're not doing? Bro, when this goes out, I'm getting flamed.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Flagrant. Now, listen, if you hate seeing stand-up clips all over the internet, we have brought the man that's responsible for that on the podcast today. Give it up for Russ, everybody.
Wow.
Yeah. I've given you your flowers for this, so you know the story, and I talk about this quite often.
But retell it.
We have to. There's never enough flowers.
Yeah.
But no, I remember watching an interview with you and you saying that you were putting out a song a week.
Yeah.
And at that point in my life, I was like, man, I'm not working hard enough. This guy's putting a whole fucking song out a week. You got to write the music for it. You got to write the lyrics. You got to do it. And I could put a joke out a week. And I started doing that. I started getting success. And I tried to tell as many comedians as possible about it. And now there's stand up all over the internet. So you deserve credit for that. So we just want to, say thank you for, putting us on to the hustle.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things I want to talk to you about. I'm very excited to finally have you on the pod. A lot of music industry stuff, a lot of personal stuff in your music.
Yeah.
But before that, I need you to explain to us something.
Okay.
Why is it, because you're uniquely positioned in the music world where, like, I don't feel like you're really indebted to anybody but the fans, so you can kind of talk shit about the labels, and then you could talk shit about the artists, right? And the artists that are indebted to the labels can't say shit, and the people that work at the labels can't say shit, but you can, right? Why do the labels make the artists do those boardroom performances? Is that like a...
I don't think, like, the crazy thing is, I don't think they make them do the performances. Here's how those go, right?
Please
here's
explain
the reality.
this, yeah.
The reality is, like, when you get signed to a label, or you're trying to get signed to a label, though, in a way to sort of, like, show you how much like artillery we have and how much we fuck with you.
They bring the whole team.
We have digital in here. We have radio. Like they bring the whole staff, right? And they sit them around this long table.
Yo, this is crazy.
And they play.
This is my favorite clip.
Yo, Bobby wanted that label.
My favorite clip.
But it's like, here's the thing. It's like they play your music. So it's like I've done that meeting, but like a sane individual, I sat at the table.
You didn't get up at any point?
And like we just listened to the music. So now some people like want to stand on the table and go nuts, which is like, that's their prerogative. That's what's up. But to me, I mean, it's like, those people are like, they're not there to fuck with you, really.
Yeah.
So like, doing all that is not gonna make the deal better.
So you can just sit in that level of awkwardness? Like if somebody played my stand-up for me, I don't know if I'd be confident enough to perform it for them. But like, I'd be like, can we not
turn it off?
Sit here for this?
Well, see, I mean, back then for me, it's like, I was just, I mean, what was I, 23 when I partnered? So it's like, I was in a different headspace of like, so like, beyond arrogant, like just so gung-ho on my shit that I was like, fuck yeah, y'all should be playing my shit. Fuck. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I definitely never like stood on the table. That never crossed my mind. When I saw that, I was just like, what are y'all? Like,
right there.
It also is just like, bro, like these people don't care like that. Like, so you're standing on the table, it's almost like, that's not gonna make them like go harder for you. You know what I mean? Like, it's not.
Yeah, they got a house, their kids in private school.
It's a job, and it's also musical chairs in the business. It's like, that person you're like doing all that performing and all that, like trying to get them on your side, or whatever you're trying to do, they could be gone next week.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck.
Yeah. There's like conspiracies of people be like, oh, this is like a humiliation ritual. This is like to check them.
That is a choice.
The truth is always
a personal choice that these people are making.
The truth is always way more boring. That's what I realized. Like, I'd rather almost believe it was a humiliation.
Right. Let's just believe it.
I don't believe Russ.
Yeah, good.
It's
Russ is lying, yo. Russ is dancing on that video coming out.
And there's a video of you doing it. We just haven't seen it.
All right, we need all the dirt. Like, obviously, I want to talk about Santiago. I want to talk about the new single coming out. And I was telling you before we did the pod, like, it was truly Beautiful. Like, go listen to the album because I think it took a lot of emotional work to get there. I want to save a time where we can have a long form discussion about that. But again, unique experience. You're here, and I want to know the dirt.
Yeah.
Okay. How are these labels fucking artists with the streams?
Yeah.
I don't know how they're doing it, but it feels like they're doing it.
Yeah.
And how are they tricking us? Because I see these people that go crazy. Album goes #1, but then they can't fill up a show.
Right.
So the math is not math.
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is.
But explain it. Where
I mean, so it's one of those things that like everyone in the industry knows is going on.
Which is?
Faking the streams. It's a real thing.
So the label buys the streams from Spotify?
So here's the deal. When you talk to these people, because I've talked to these people, because I've been like, what is this? How are y'all doing this? They never disclose the mechanics of like how they actually fake the streams. There's like, you know, rumors of like streaming farms, or we're delving out fucking computers in third world countries and hacking the back end to make it look like it's an IP from the US.
Yeah.
Whatever, like all this nutty shit. But the reality is the labels are spending money, and, you know, devil's advocate, they're treating it like a marketing expense. Because in a sense, it like almost is.
You're gonna spend $100,000 on billboards. You're gonna spend $100,000 on streams.
Right.
The streams is gonna put you in a playlist.
You're gonna spend real money to get fake streams that equate to real money. So that's why they think it makes sense, because it's like, okay, the streams are fake, but the money's real. So what do we care? Especially, they're not doing it with like up and coming artists who like you wouldn't believe it. You know, they're doing it with people like where it's okay. If let's say your song has 500 million streams, right? Organically. But let's say with fake streams, now you're at 900 million. No one's gonna sit there and be like, this is more like a 500 million stream song.
Yeah.
They're just gonna be like, this is a big song, makes sense, it has 900 million.
That's honestly so smart.
Yeah, they're not doing it to the dude across the street and giving him 1 billion streams. They're doing it to people who really can get 500 million. But let's just pump it to get 900.
Now you're getting #1.
Now you get
so
#1.
you can pay for a #1.
Oh yeah. What?
What does
the
the #1 cost? I mean, that's crazy to even think about that.
I mean,
what does a #1 song in America cost?
Look, the reality is this. You do have to have a real fan base to a certain extent. Right? You have to have people who are really consuming the music. And your song has to actually be moving around organically. Once it's that, then they'll push the button on it. And it just depends, like it's a campaign. It could be like, it's like a 12-week campaign, and it might be 60 grand, 70 grand, whatever it is.
That's it.
And it's, oh yeah.
To have the #1 song
and
on
that
Spotify.
70 grand, the ROI is crazy, because that 70 grand might bring you back 200, 300.
Yeah, and even just seeing the song #1, you're more likely to check it out. Now, how so?
Right, because people are sheep. And it's just...
if you see something successful.
Labels are like, all CEOs at labels are obsessed with market share. Like, who has the market share? Sony has 25%.
Market share means the amount of streamed
like whose
songs at that moment.
Right. And
who total streams, how many percent's yours?
Yeah, right. And there's like bonuses that are associated with
because that's their incentive structure.
Right.
If you're #1, you're going to get the trickle down, so they're going to try to boost.
Right.
Now, maybe you can't quantify it, but you said you can't do it with any song. Well, you could take it from #10 to #1, or you got to be like 3, and then I can put you #1.
Look, Spotify even just put out this statement that said anything over, what was it, 80% and 90%?
Yeah.
Anything over 90,
they're gonna call out. So you could be 89% fake streams.
But that's what that's saying.
Shit, but over,
it's like that was Spotify's way of saying, we know what's going on. We're okay with it.
We're profiting off it.
It just can't, of course, because somebody doing 1 billion streams on your platform is a good look for your platform.
Yes.
Because you're bragging about the amount of streams on your platform.
Think about where Apple Music loses to Spotify. 1, they don't show the streams. 2, when it came out like last year that there was only 1 song that has 1 billion streams on there, like, it just doesn't look as sexy as Spotify.
And I feel like as a consumer, nobody's listening to Apple Music, Spotify must be better. I don't know shit. Right. I'm just gonna go with the bigger one.
So the fake streams help the artist and the platform.
And the label. So like everyone wins. That's why no one's gonna say anything.
Think about it. If you're invested in Spotify, if your money is in Spotify shares, you want to know that it's getting the most streams, that it's beating Apple by X amount.
And the labels are invested. I remember when
that's the craziest shit.
I remember when I was with Columbia, and Columbia you know, there was a point in time where like they sold their shares of Spotify, whatever the fuck. But everyone on the label, just depending on how many streams you were doing, you got a check. I got a crazy check from Columbia selling their shares of Spotify. Yeah. So,
Why did you get the crazy check?
Because I was doing a lot of streams on Spotify.
You get your share of the stream money.
Right, right.
So this is crazy. Billy Corgan was on Rogan talking about this. Did you see that episode?
No.
Where he was like, and again, I don't know how factual this is, but this is what he said. He's like, the labels took equity pieces in the streaming platforms and then gave the streamers sweetheart deals on the artist music. So basically, we're going to charge you less for the artist music, which means the artist gets less.
Right.
But we are personally going to take equity positions in those companies.
Right.
So give me a little bit of Spotify. I'm going to give you this artist music for little. But when your brand builds, because it needs us to build, I get that. But you know who doesn't get that?
The artist.
The artist.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
But it's like the artist uses all of that for leverage to go get sponsorships, and it's all like fame driven.
Yeah.
It's all like the streams might be fake, but me being perceived as a massive artist
Make money on the
is
road.
real.
Monetize.
So now I'm getting this, now I'm getting that, and I'm monetizing it with this brand or with this sponsorship, whatever it is. So it's like, it's all just a fucking finesse, and it's all a scam.
And there's some artists that are like, I'm just going to live off of my deal. Right?
Yeah.
They're like, I don't even care if I make enough money to pay back
Right.
the company or the label, whatever
Right.
it is. They're going to give me my advance. That's what I make.
Yeah.
Right? And
Well, and it's so funny when artists are like, I haven't seen a check since I got signed. It's like, because you're not
'Cause you
recouped.
didn't make any money.
It's like, what are you so confused about?
Yeah.
It's like, you didn't make the money back.
Yeah.
Is it possible the artists don't know?
Oh, yeah. I don't think any of the artists know that their streams are being faked.
Wow.
No, but that's, and here's the thing.
That's
right?
heartbreaking.
nah.
But here's the thing. That's why, first of all, I encourage every artist, audit your label. Make sure there's an audit clause. Like, I'm auditing, who I was with. And there's a lot of
Columbia.
money being found. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the reality is, like, you don't know. There's a lot of things that are just hidden in those statements, in the marketing expenses. And the reason why, like, if you're signed to a major label, right? It's so easy to just deny everything because there's a buffer. There's a label. The label's the middleman between the fake streams and you. So if it comes out that so-and-so is faking their streams, you can just play dumb. Be like, I had no idea.
The label must have did it.
Yeah, I didn't know what the label was spending their money on.
Right.
And when I have a hit song that has 1 billion streams, I'm not going to go, are we sure it's
Look,
a billion?
and this is not me, like, speculating, right? This is me talking to, like, top 5 most streamed artists in the world and them talking to CEOs and CEOs admitting.
Oof.
And me on the phone with, like, managers of massive artists and on the phone with the dude who fakes the streams and them saying, like, what's going on.
Wow.
Dude, you know what I just
So
thought
this
of?
is not, it's not like I'm not sitting here
It's not
like.
conspiratorial. This is how it
like,
works.
I really think people are fake.
Yeah.
And, like, once you know, it's really easy to tell which songs are being faked.
Who's the most fake?
Yeah.
No, I can't say that.
Come on. Listen, I'm not going to, we were talking on Brilliant Idiots and Charlamagne said, it was a Drake song that came out. It was a Drake and SZA song.
SZA, yeah.
And he was like, it went number 1 1 week.
Yeah.
And the next week, it just fell off.
Right.
And he was like, listen, those are the types of things where you go, are these songs being pumped up by the label? Because I think Doja Cat's song, Paint the Town Red, had been in that top 5 for weeks.
Right.
That you're not going to keep faking streams
Yes,
for.
you are.
For really?
I'm not saying that she was doing that.
But you would fake
but I'm
streams
just
for
saying,
months?
I'm just saying, like, this is the thing.
Think of the perception you
You're
just had of
getting
Doja
real,
Cat.
like, it has
And
to
how
be a
big she must
song.
be.
But
that-
there's going to be diminishing returns if you keep having to spend $100
No.
grand every month, no?
Well, it's not $100,000 every month. Because it's really just spending enough money to hack the algorithm.
So 6ix9ine was right. Is that what you're trying to say?
What was he saying? Depends on what he said. Right about what?
No, he said something about they took his number 1 by buying streams for some artists.
Yeah, I mean, like, the reality is they're not
Bundles
going
or
to
something?
do it, and it doesn't make sense to do it with something that's not already a moving train.
Got it.
When it's already a moving train, the public won't know
even
the
wonder,
difference.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's a song that genuinely has 500 million streams, if we juice it and now it has 900 million, like I said, you're not going to sit there and be like, nah, I don't believe it has 900 million, because it's massive, organically.
Yeah.
So Donda and what was it, Certified Lover Boy, when we were all really fixated on who was going to be number one.
Yeah.
Whoever was number one, theoretically, they could have just paid and be
For
like,
sure.
And it almost makes me sorry.
But it's like the labels are it's a business. They're looking at it like we're protecting our investment.
Of course.
One.
Yeah.
And we're trying to obtain as much of the market share as possible.
Yep.
And they also know this is just like a psychology thing. It's like fake commotion ends up creating real commotion. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like if I'm just over here making a spectacle and it's a fake spectacle, the fake spectacle attracts real eyes, and now the real eyes are over here like, what is that spectacle? And now I have real people tuned in off of fake commotion.
And so here's a question, because we all see academics post about who sells what in the first week or whatever. I think it was French Montana had like a really bad first week.
Right.
Is that French Montana standing on his own honor and being like, I refuse to play into this, buy any streams? Or do you think the label might be like, I'm assuming it's with a label, would be like, you know, we're kind of done with you, and you're going to have an embarrassingly low number because it's the real number, whereas everybody else getting inflated, but your shit is gonna sit low.
I don't know what his situation. Well, I know like French is my guy, and I actually like helped him get the deal that he has.
I think French is great. That's why
I think he's. But it's like, either sometimes maybe it's not just so transparent where they're like, hey, do you want to fake your streams or not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it's like, it's not a moving train. So we're not going to push the button on it because it's not a moving train yet.
Yeah, if the album came out with some heat, then they could put
it like this,
sauce
right?
on it.
Put it like this, full transparency. Now, I also know, and I've said this in interviews before, like this is the thing I'm like worried about, is like me pointing the finger and calling shit out. All that's going to happen is people are like, no, you're faking your stream. You know what I'm saying?
You know so much.
Right, like how do you know? And you were on the phone, and you know what? Who even listens to Russ? You're faking your stream. But
you got people coming out to shows. I think that's the difference maker
bodies,
right there.
Real bodies.
That
but
clip of
I
you
will
in
say
India
this
was
for full
crazy.
transparency. This is the truth. 315 is a song I have that I put out, 3 years ago. And right now it's doing, 500,000 streams a day on Spotify. There was a time where it was doing 800 and 900,000, right? And the threshold to go into today's top hits is like they want to see you getting like 1.1, right? And that's like, once you're in today's top hits, over with, right? So we got on the phone, because I was like, Milan, I hit my manager, I was like, Milan, see what this guy, like, because I've like, low-key, I'm like planning like a fucking Vice documentary where I'm like exposing all this shit. I'm like, Milan, hit this guy, like, what is the like process of this shit? But it's like, so he talks to him, and he's like, look, you got to fake his voice. This is the perfect song to do it because it's crushing organically.
Nobody's going to know the difference between 200,000 streams.
315 organically was before TikTok and Billboard did the thing where there was a Billboard chart for TikTok songs. 315 was the #1 song on TikTok in the world. You know what I mean? Organically. So once again, if I was to boost that, what is anyone going to say? No, I hear it everywhere on TikTok, so it kind of checks out. Makes sense. And we talked to the dude, or Milan talked to him, and told us, it's like an 8 to 12 week campaign. You spend 35, 40 grand, and like, that's it. And then it's out of here. Wow. And now, guess what? Now it goes from, once again, it goes from 800,000 organic streams a day to now maybe it is doing that 1.2 million threshold. And now Spotify puts it in today's top hits.
And now it's at 2 million.
Boom, boom, boom. You see what I'm saying? And now radio's like, wait, this is a smash.
It's a multiplier.
And so all of a sudden, that extra 400,000 streams that are fake get a whole bunch of real ears but I just could not live with myself if I did it, because the reason why, and I'm gonna be honest, it's so tempting.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
I've even tweeted about it before where it's like, wait a second. If everyone's on steroids, am I an idiot?
Yeah.
It's the baseball shit.
Am I an idiot?
Yeah.
Right? Like, am I being naive and almost childish where it's like, I'm sitting here still trying to like play the game the right way, and everyone else is like, dog, what are you doing? Like, we're all doing this, right? Yeah. And so I start, I oscillate with like yes and no every day, but I just have faith and I know that house is gonna come crumbling down, and I don't wanna be in it when it does. Because guess what it'll do? It won't just be, oh, Russ, you faked the streams on 315. It'll send the whole catalog into question.
Yep.
Right.
Especially because
that would fucking ruin me.
And especially because you're independent.
Right.
If you're not independent, if you're already part of the label system,
right.
even if you put it all into question, they wouldn't be incentivized to tear them down. But to you, there are people I'm sure that are part of the industry that have heard all the shit that you said and then seen your success without them, and they're like,
they're waiting for me to fake the second 100%. If I did it, it would be Russ is faking his streams.
And let this be a lesson to all other independent artists.
Right, because guess what that narrative is? Now the narrative would be, see, you can't get real success without independent unless you fake your streams. You gotta be with a major. So like, I just feel I owe it not just to myself, but to the whole like independent community to do it the real way. And look, if that means that I have a ceiling here, then so be it. But at least this is real. Why are y'all doing billions of streams and the tickets don't match?
Because that is, explain that. Because I'll see certain guys that I think are these huge artists. Or girls too, and it's like they can do the festival shows, and people kind of know their songs at the festival shows. But the festival's bringing in the people.
It's a soft ticket,
You know,
who is, so how do you explain the discrepancy?
I mean, honestly, some of it I will say, like devil's advocate, I do think certain music is geared towards a certain environment. Certain music is club music. You're not going to an arena to hear club music.
Rap sucks live. Let's just be honest.
Nah, not all of it.
He's been on this.
It's awful, son. Rap is the worst music live. It's so bad, it's unbelievable.
Wait, what?
Amazing.
Give me an example of rap.
But Travis, I literally asked him afterwards. I was like, "Yo, usually rap sucks live. Like, why didn't this suck?" And he goes, I make music for the live show. I'm specifically putting together these songs for this experience.
That's a great point. Counterpoint, you also saw 50 Cent the night before, and that was also incredible. So
I'm sure 50.
Your theory is falling apart pretty quickly.
50 was incredible.
I'm sure.
But we didn't see 50 in arena, but 50 in arena would be incredible.
Of course.
Okay, there's no question. What I'm trying to say is, I can listen to a random person sing karaoke, and if their voice is amazing, it shuts it down. Like, you've seen those videos where people are singing a song in Italian and like in a restaurant, like they just come in and start singing, the whole restaurant starts singing. Walk in, try to rap in a restaurant, and see your ass get arrested immediately.
If it's great, it'll...
Walk into a restaurant and start singing "Lose Yourself." Get the fuck out of here, yo! I got a chicken sandwich on the way. I don't want to hear that shit.
Lose Yourself might ring off.
I think generally,
depending on the restaurant.
But to that point, it's like it depends on the music the environment was made for.
So if it's car cruising music where you're by yourself chilling, maybe you don't want to hear that in front of 18,000 people.
And maybe it's like I don't want to hear 2 hours straight of it. You know what I'm saying? So I do think it's some of that, but also, it's the faking the streams. It's, you know.
Guys, Life Tour, Charlotte. Thank you so much for selling out the show. We added a second show in Charlotte. Also, Nashville, we are coming. Austin, we are coming. Phoenix, we added a second show. San Francisco, you sold out all 4 shows. That's incredible. We'll see what we can do about that. But thank you guys so much. More cities are also available at theandrewschultz.com. Go there. If there are tickets left, go check them out. And Philadelphia, you're up next. I will see you there soon. Peace.
Yo, San Jose, thank you guys so much. That was crazy. They had just expanded the club. We still sold it out. And we had more people coming after. We filled up every standby ticket we could possibly fill. Other people still didn't get in. That was amazing. One of the best weekends of my comedy life. Thank you so much. Also, February 23rd and 24th, Oklahoma City. We're not doing the 22nd anymore. I have to film a little something. You will see what it is soon. But Oklahoma City, February 23rd and 24th. And March 1st and 2nd, Greensboro, North Carolina. I'm excited to be in a place that might not be so cold in March, so hurry up and buy your fucking tickets to that. And March 8th and 9th, Stamford, Connecticut. April 11th through 13th, Tempe. And April 18th through 20th, Denver, Colorado. We're doing another 420 show at Comedy Works, this time at the bigger location. Let's see what happens. Get those tickets and more at akashsingh.com. Now let's get back to the show.
Can you break down independent? I feel artists throw out.
What is independent, yo? Because some people got a distro, but they're independent. Like,
I know. I have. It's kind of gotten.
Like, you even said you were signed, but then you say you're independent.
Well, so like,
what is that?
Yeah, I'll just be fully transparent, even though like I've posted when I literally partnered. But I partnered with Columbia in 2016, summertime 2016.
Say that too a lot. They don't say I'm not signed, I'm partnered.
Right. No, but I partnered because they didn't own my masters, and the big piece was my back catalog that was on TuneCore. They didn't touch. So I had hundreds of songs.
TuneCore, can you tell us casuals what TuneCore is?
So first breakdown.
So TuneCore, very quick, is just it's a digital distribution service. You pay $50 a year. You put up as much music as you want. You keep 100% of the profits, right? So I had all this music up on TuneCore, and I created all this leverage because shit was going crazy. I was already touring. And I partnered with Columbia because at that time in 2016, it was a way different landscape. It's like Apple Music didn't even come out till 2015. I remember I had like What They Want was in Rap Caviar back when Tuma Basa was running Rap Caviar, and I didn't even know what the fuck Rap Caviar was. Like that's how new everything was. So I signed because I was looking around the game and I was like, I want to be a massive artist. I want to be on radio. And I'm listening to everyone on radio. I'm like, they're all signed. So let me level the playing field. That was the intention, right? So I partnered, but I kept my back catalog. I kept 100% ownership. And everything I did with Columbia was, y'all get 50, I get 50. Simple.
And you keep the full master.
Yeah. So it's like, that feels fair to me. You know, y'all putting up money, like, whatever, let's rock out. And then in 2020, I believe, went just back fully indie, done with the deal.
Why didn't it work out? Why were you not?
It just got to the point where I realized the juice wasn't worth the squeeze, and they couldn't do anything for me that I couldn't do for myself.
So that's my question. Like you gave them 50%, which means you need to essentially double your profits that you could do on your own for it to be break even.
Right.
Did you more than double being with them?
Yeah.
Oh, so there was value in being with them.
Well, I was, like I said, it was a moving train. I was gonna make money anyway.
Got it. So also, we're not counting how much you would have made off your next album with all the hype and everything.
Right.
So you didn't think that they offered enough value to continue?
I think at a certain point, once like the game sort of began to progress, and once I started to see, the big thing for me was like them getting told no. That was big.
What do you mean?
Meaning, which I know a lot of up and coming artists think like this. Oh, well, you get with a label and then you just get told yes to being on that playlist and yes to being on radio.
Oh, so they're getting told no and you're like,
I'm like, so then you get with the label.
No by myself.
Literally, that was the exact thought. And I told them that. I said, I can get told no by myself. So those
crazy.
Those boardroom meetings, right? Some of those people sitting around the table, one of them is the Spotify and Apple rep. And
you got to make him get on the table.
It's just them calling. Realistically, like, y'all should be on the table.
Right?
You're trying to sell me.
Get them to pitch you. I'm going to get you on Rap Caviar.
But it's like, once you realize, and once I saw that, all right, it's just a human being calling Spotify or Apple like, hey, of our 70 releases we have this Friday, you guys should really consider Russ for these playlists. And they can get told no. And I was like, well, wait a second. I can also get told no.
Right.
And keep 100%.
Yeah.
You know, so, and when you talk to these people at the playlist, who do you think they would rather talk to? The dude at the label or the artist?
Yeah.
They're all in the music business to be cool with the artist.
Yeah, they don't want to talk to the squares.
Yeah, and who's going to sell it better?
Yeah.
Because guess what? The person at the label who's pitching your song to the playlist, right after he pitches yours, he's pitching 7 others.
Yeah.
And it's harder to tell you no than it is to tell the label no.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like you're on the phone fighting for your shit.
Right.
They're not going to be like, nah.
No, but they have no problem telling this dude no. You know. And
also, the ego stroke that they get when the artist themselves is calling them.
Yeah, that's an element
that's going to be on the playlist.
Exactly, and it's like, and to be honest, I would rather be in direct communication with like who is responsible for maybe getting my music heard by more people. You know, but yeah, once I realized, like, wait a second, y'all get told no. It's not a guarantee. Playlisting, radio, none of that's a guarantee with y'all. All you can guarantee is like a big bag of money up front. Which is the most attractive part to a lot of people, right? But that's your money they're giving you. And it comes with a crazy interest rate, and it's like,
what are they giving you? That's the thing a lot of people don't realize.
They're giving you, it's a loan with a shitty rate.
But it's not even a loan, because a loan wouldn't be taxed. If you took a loan from a bank, there's no tax on it, right? Because that's not necessarily income.
It's a crazy situation. Now, what I'll say...
The government's taking half immediately, but you got to pay back the full thing.
Right.
I never understood that
Jay-Z.
You remember that Jay-Z line? Y'all still taking advances, huh? I was like, what's wrong with advances? And now that I learned, I'm like, that's the dumbest shit ever.
So let's just quick math. Let's say they front you $5 million.
Sure.
You take that $5 million, government immediately comes and takes 2.5, but you still owe 5.
No.
Well, it depends what your deal is.
So what you do is you get the 5, because you don't want to give as much money to the government, you pay commissions on the 5 first.
Of course, you can write off your commissions.
But most people have, manager on 20, lawyer on 5,
sure,
business manager on 5, so that's 30. So off top, what is that? That's
If we're going up 10, that's
1.5
1.5 million. So now
okay, so you're at 3.5. Now you cut the 3.5 in half.
In half. You're at 1.75.
1.75.
So you got
And that's,
5.
That's really what 5 is, and that's before you spend anything.
And you got to spend that on production. You got to spend that on beats.
Because that's your recording advance.
So just think about that. That's to me handcuffs. Now there is a way to kind of, because I've spoken to certain companies about deals, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, so what is the advantage of this? It seems like you're just giving me all the money up front, right?
Yeah.
And I guess what I could do is if I was like financially literate, which I'm not, I could like invest it in smart ways. I don't know how to do that. I genuinely don't, and I just tell them straight up. So it's like, it seems to me what this does is just kind of like shackles me to you, and I guess I get some money up front, but that money isn't my money. I have to make that money anyway.
Yeah.
So, but what I did ask is, what if we did a loan instead of in advance? Because a loan is technically not taxable with income tax. You only get taxed based on what you make back against that loan.
Right.
So you can, you know what I mean? There are certain ways around it, but it is kind of fucked up how.
It is fucked up. Because
think
it's
about 5 turns to 1.75.
Well, and a lot of people also think, well, if they give me 5, you know, that incentivizes them to get their money back. It's, no, the whole label is cross-collateralized. Meaning,
that's the other thing.
Guess what? If I give you 5, and 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 these 3 flop, and you make 50 mil back, I don't care that these 3 flop.
Because
and nor am I even going to pay attention to these 3.
You got to think of it almost like a VC.
Because you're the one keeping the lights on.
It's a venture capitalist that like.
It doesn't matter. We only need one of these investments to work out.
It's the same.
And now, what's a distribution deal?
Distribution deal is more so there's no ownership of masters. The splits are way more favorable. So like you go to Empire, maybe you get an 80-20, which is just like, it's a profit split. Like they don't own the masters, right? And they usually offer label services. So that's where it's like, back to the very original, like what is independent? Yeah, I mean, there's different variations because independent to some people is, well, I'm just not with a major label. It's like, all right, so you're not with a major label, but you're with that label who has major label services, and you got an advance, and they do label services. It's like, I guess. You know, I guess. Yeah, that, like, in a sense, if that is your definition of independent, I'm just not with a major, then yeah, you're independent. But for me, for a while, you know, before Columbia, I was independent in the sense that I didn't depend on anyone to do anything for me. And even post-Columbia, that's what it was, up until the Santiago album, where, you know, I've been putting music out. Similar with TuneCore is Vidya, right? Vidya is another, like, digital distribution, right? I pay $50 a year, because I have a great relationship with the CEO. Pay $50 a year, put out as much music as I want. It's the same shit as TuneCore.
And will they collect the money on your behalf? So they recognize every time it's been played on radio, streamed?
Yeah, it's the same thing as TuneCore. Everything is like, monitored and registered and collected.
So there's an RSS feed or something that goes back
there's a
to
back
those.
end. There's a portal and you log in and you can see what everything's doing and how much money you withdraw it, send it to your bank account. Right.
So
every
in
Friday.
Korea, it was played on this time 100 times. They owe you $10,000 from that. That all comes back.
And I get paid every Friday. It's been like that since 2011.
Gotcha. So instead of that going to the label and then the label distributes it to you, TuneCore can just do it so it cuts them out of the way.
And artists on major labels, it's a semi-annual check if you're recouped. So if you're recouped, you're getting paid twice a year. Twice.
So
that's if you're recouped. You get paid in March, April, and you get paid in fucking September, October. You know what's fucking hilarious, which I make this joke with like my team all the time, just because of like when I left the deal and kind of how it works out. My birthday is September 26th. And so every year, ever since I left Columbia, they like send me a check for $1 million like on my birthday because it's like, that's when the semi-annual date falls. So I always know that, like, on my birthday, they have to give me.
Yo,
that's sick.
That's actually, that's a nice little birthday present.
It is.
And they hate that present.
I know. I'm always like, I know they're fucking throwing up right in this.
So the cross-collateralized thing is really interesting also.
Yeah.
Because I imagine that's part of the idea around the 360 deal. Which is, it's really just more protection from them.
Of course.
So it's like, I think
we don't need your music to sell. We'll get it on the merch.
So we gave you that $5 million. We need $5 million back. You only have 1.75 after paying commissions and taxes and whatever. So even if you paid us that back, we still need the other 3.25.
Right.
So if your album does nothing, but we throw you in these, you know, what's it called, shows, we send you around the world, we're getting that 3.75 back off of these other things. I think our perception on 360 was they just want a little piece of everything. It's like, no, they don't even know if you're gonna make money.
Right.
But if you do,
that's like the interesting thing, right? Is like this whole notion this might come off crazy, but it's the reality. It's like, oh, it's a bad deal. For who? For who? For the artist. The label signing good deals.
Oh, they're signing good deals. Yo, but
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
and that's what people are not. Artists need to go into these meetings understanding it's business.
Yes.
They are not about to sign a bad deal.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Which is why you need leverage to make them sign a deal that they normally wouldn't want to sign, but they don't want to lose out on your potential.
It is funny how they get salty when they're on the wrong end of the deal, though, isn't it?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I feel like we should understand it's business and they should understand it's business.
Yeah,
100%.
for sure.
Yeah. Can you talk about the dollars and cents when it comes to streams when you're independent and with a label? So if you get 1 million streams independent or 1 million streams with a label, how much money does the artist get?
1 million streams independent is like, on Spotify, it's $4,000. Give or take.
If you're independent?
Yeah. If you own 100% of the song.
Got it.
And then if you're with a label, how much you get?
You may not see anything.
Let's say you're already recouped. How much is 1 million streams?
It depends on what your split is with the label. It's the same $4,000.
Got it.
It's the same $4,000. It just is like...
But I thought Spotify has deals with record labels where it's like they get
better rates.
Yeah, better
rates. Sometimes it's like tier 1 rates or tier 2 rates. Yeah, but some of these, that's why you got to be careful which distro you go to, because some of these distros don't have the tier 1 rates that the labels have. They might have tier 2 rates, so they're actually getting less money per stream than a major label.
Okay. Independents getting...
Oh yeah, like TuneCore, Vidya, you're getting what the labels get. Yeah.
You're getting...
What the
You're getting the same rate. Yeah. You're getting the same. But the reality is like, Drake is getting more money per stream than the up and coming artist.
Why is that?
Because he's bringing more to Spotify.
He has leverage.
He's more valuable to the streamer.
Same label.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get more.
He's got a better deal.
He's gonna get more. Yeah, he's gonna get more. I'm not even mad at that though. Like once again,
deserves it.
people never consider the other side. It's like, bro, this is a storefront, right?
Yeah.
That is allowing you. Stop with the entitlement. Is allowing you to sell your music in their store. You don't have any leverage to say, this is some bullshit.
Yep.
You got this dude who's bringing y'all way more money, getting paid more than me? It's like, like, what are you talking
the
about?
platform, they put the money up for R&D.
Am I going to put Nike in the storefront or your fucking brand that nobody's ever heard of?
Drake's deal?
Oh, I don't know Drake's deal. I'm sure it's
You have any
incredible.
ideas?
Not re-signed to a major. Isn't he doing like something?
No, I think he did resign. I think they gave him a crazy bag.
The Apple one?
No. Like he re-signed, I think, with Republic, and I think he got a disgusting bag, as he should.
What are the rumors of how disgusting?
I think I know what y'all know is what was online.
300?
Fucking 3, 4. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna get it back.
That's the thing.
It's a guarantee they get that.
And it might
back.
be cross-collateralized with his past
Oh,
stuff.
it is cross. It has to be. That's how
So
they get
you're
the
going
money.
to get it back off of the old stuff anyway.
Well, think about it. It's like if you're with the label for 5 years, right? 5 years, 5 albums, and you've generated $200 million with that label. You go into another label, they can't give you 200 up front because you're starting from scratch. The label you've already made all this money with, that's your best chance to get the biggest bag because they can just cross-collateralize it. Once again, it's the
They
same thing.
protect themselves with your past work.
Each album is the investment. So guess what? If we own Drake or Nicki or Ariana Grande or Taylor Swift's catalog, even if her next album or next 5 albums
matter.
flop, we're making 500 mil off these last 7.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
And Drake knows that too. So the number's going up.
Yeah.
With what he
That's
asked for.
crazy.
He's like, these albums don't even need a hit.
No, because
These are going to get played for the
and
next
that's what
20
I'm saying.
years.
It's more because it's macro. It's
Exactly, yeah.
In totality,
It's the whole library.
I'm a lucrative product.
But doesn't he have enough money, incentive, and popularity to go independent after his deal?
Sure, but he just I don't know. He just may not want to. You know,
So-
because there's something to be said that's not right or wrong. You know, not every path is for everyone. Some people being independent takes a lot of work, a lot of like entrepreneurial spirit. Not saying that he or anyone else doesn't have it, but it's just some people, they want to show up and
some
rap
people need a
and like,
system.
send me my big ass bag, make sure all my shit's on radio. I'll talk to y'all when I talk to y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which there's nothing wrong with that. I get that. I'm just really, really obnoxiously hands-on. I like being hands-on. I like every aspect of my career. I like the business side. I like I really do. I genuinely have a passion for every side of it.
There's certain comics that I'll talk to, right? And I'll explain, like, if I'm just trying to give them some game, I'll just explain what they need to do in order to achieve what they want.
Right.
And I'll really kind of spell it out.
Yeah.
And then I'll develop different models for them. I'll be like, listen, if you don't want to learn how to edit, if you want to learn how to subtitle, if you don't want to bring a camera, like I bring a camera bag to every show by myself, put it up in the back of the fucking room, move some tables out of the way. It gets knocked over halfway through the set. I got to ask some security guard to stand by it, like figure out how to do audio. It's a lot. And sometimes I can tell they don't want to do all that.
Sure.
So I'm like, you know what? You might need a partner with somebody who's going to do all that.
Right.
Or you need to bring somebody up. In that case, that's what I did with Al. Put somebody, I was like, listen, I want you to handle this aspect of the biz. And there's certain people that they just don't know how to do it. They're not industrious. This is not one of their passions, like you said. And it might be better for them to lose that 10% or that 20%.
Right.
Put your energy towards something else.
Straight up. And I think to that point, a lot of people just like be honest with yourself. You know, who are you? What are you willing to do? And the thing that trips me out is like, if you determine that you're not willing to be this industrious, entrepreneurial type of spirit, if that's like, you realize that's not real to you, it's like, okay, you bring in someone or a company and they give you millions of dollars and take this massive gamble on you. Of course you don't have the leverage in the situation. They're taking all the risk. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you determine that, oh, I just want to make songs and I want y'all to risk millions of dollars on me, why would you have the good deal in that situation? They're taking all the risk.
Life is leverage.
And I think the reality, and maybe in the future this is what's gonna happen, but artists have a louder voice than labels. And I'm not advocating for labels. I've never been anti-label. I've been anti-bad deals. I've been anti-exploitation. I've been anti-not owning your shit. I've never been, anti-major label. It's just anti-bad deals. But the artists have a louder voice than the labels. So maybe in the future, labels like will be famous. Like the dude at the label is famous and he has a voice and he's saying like, look, we spent millions of dollars. We risked millions of dollars on you. You had 10,000 monthly listeners and we still put up 2 million on your potential. Why would you get the bigger end of the straw? Makes no sense.
I think it's logical.
I think it makes sense. Think just like remove the labels and all this shit. Like, if you got a friend who needs like, you know, they're a musician or whatever, and they're like, oh, I really want to do this music thing.
Take away music. Do it with a restaurant.
Okay, fine.
Sorry, use a restaurant. Excuse me.
Yeah, go.
And it's like they don't want to do anything but like run the restaurant, whatever the fuck it is.
They want to cook food, bro.
They want to cook food.
That's all they want to do is make food.
But they need the money.
They need $2 million to open up a restaurant.
So you give them $2 million, and then they're confused when the money comes in that you're getting more.
It's like, I'm cooking the food. Why are you doing it? It's like, motherfucker.
Like, this doesn't happen. With, you know, like, not even this doesn't happen. It's like, I took all the risk.
That's the thing. You don't get paid for work. You get paid for risk.
Yes.
Right. Exactly. And it's like, I think a lot of times artists forget that.
That's not to say that they could take advantage of
like
those
I said, I'm
situations.
anti-exploitation, but at the same time, like, be real with yourself. If you are somebody who's like, I'm not willing to do anything but go to the studio,
then
and y'all should take all the risk, that's fine. But then also know what kind of situation you're going to end up being in. It's going to be them. They're going to come out on top because they're taking all the risk.
Curious to hear what's your opinion on residencies, because I feel like the look of them has changed. Like they used to be like,
your career's done.
You're on the back nine of your career.
Now it's like, people want residencies. Like,
like what Usher did was fantastic.
Britney Spears.
Britney, I think, is a little loony bin, but like Usher.
Why do you think that?
She just got
What makes you say that?
She got kicked out of the Four Seasons forever. Because she went naked into the pool or something like that.
Oh, that's fine.
They just put, Britney really gone through it.
Let's go.
Checks out.
Have you smashed?
What?
I don't know. You're famous, bro. You're a famous musician, bro. He said, I never met her. That's why.
You know what's so funny? There's a clip of her running naked on the beach to What They Want. Yes.
That's why I asked that question, bro.
Yeah, I figured.
It was in the ether, bro.
Yeah, right. No, I mean, residencies for me, like, I'm not going to Vegas like that.
Saudi, though, you could have a residency for the next 25 years.
And that's nothing against Vegas. I love the Vegas fans. I'm just like, the city to me is like, I can't.
It's going to eat away.
I just don't like the environment like that.
Let's say if it's someplace else,
yeah, I think if, look.
Secaucus, New Jersey.
G's up, Secaucus.
I think if it makes sense for you, I mean, you go somewhere 6 times a year and you already love the place anyway.
Yeah.
And they're giving you a meal or whatever. It's like, yeah, why not?
Do you think younger artists should start doing residencies or have the?
Yeah, because I mean, it's soft ticket. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, like,
Can you explain what that means for people?
soft
who
ticket
are
is
outside
people
of-
were going to be there anyway. So, like, if I perform at a club on a Friday night, it's a soft ticket show because guess
Yeah.
what? If I'm not there, they're still there.
By club, you mean like if you go to Live or 11 in Miami, like if
There
you're
was
going to a
already
club-
going to be people there.
Exactly. Whereas with Vegas casinos, there's already people that
There's
are
already
there.
people there.
And they're gonna look for something to do besides gamble.
Yeah.
And
You're just the
then-
entertainment for the night.
Exactly.
So it's soft ticket as opposed to like, yo,
Hard
I'm
ticket.
at Barclays, pull up. Like that's like, if y'all don't show up, no one's
Nobody
there.
was at Barclays that night.
Yeah.
And then, oh, Russ is here? You are
Now
the
there's
ticket.
people, right, you're
Yeah.
the ticket. So, yeah, I mean, it's a soft ticket play. So the pressure's off of you because there's going to be people there anyway. You don't need to do crazy promotion about it because there's going to be people there anyway. Yeah, I mean, smart. Do
You
it.
could
Also-
save on like production costs if you
That's-
park
yeah,
yourself
like-
at a destination,
Yeah, I mean,
or
you-
risk 10 arena cities, or
Yeah.
let me do a big up show at a place where we all know Vegas, everyone's coming in from everywhere anyway.
Especially if it's not a market that you're strong in with hard tickets. So you're not taking away
From what you would
like. I
do,
would
yeah.
never do it in LA because LA is my strongest market hard ticket wise. But in a market where I'm maybe not so strong hard ticket wise, and they want to give me a residency, what do I care? I wasn't going to sell tickets there anyway like that.
Also, like lifestyle, like Usher is how old? 40?
In his 40s for
something?
sure.
See, in his 40s is like, do you want to be on a plane every single night for this tour? Or do you want to park yourself for a month in Vegas, bring your family there, chill?
Yeah.
And a lot of them live in LA and fly.
Or,
like,
yeah, you're
half a
taking a
week.
flight that's 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's definitely, yeah. It just has to align with like your lifestyle for sure. For me, it doesn't really.
Do you feel like the labels are mad at you for exposing and talking about the bad deals?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't bode well for them. So I'm sure they're not like thrilled.
Have you felt any heat or pressure from them in any way?
Yeah. They've called radio stations and like, threatened radio to be like, you play his shit, I'm not giving you the new.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really? Why don't you expose them?
He just
Because
did.
then what?
I mean, but like actually call them out, like
Well, I mean, because like
labels,
because
blackball me.
because I think what I learned is it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. So I say that, and then what? Realistically, because I'm on an island, right? So I say it. I dig my heels in the sand, and I say, these people over there, they're trying to fuck me. And it's like, well, bro, what'd you expect? There's this whole circle right here of people on the inside that are trying to protect this, and you're over here. You're surprised they're doing everything they can to shut this down? What, like,
People don't like bullies, and it's like if we hear a
Yeah,
story
it's
of
good
like
PR.
the big bully is trying to blackball this independent young artist, like yeah, I think that would galvanize more people to support.
maybe. But I think it would do more harm than good.
Then you have other people who might be like, oh, he's complaining and he's
Right.
making this up.
It would
because
more
this
so
thing.
be that narrative of you're just bitter, you're just mad. And it would also like the labels are in cahoots with everything and everyone. So
You attack one, you attack
that's
them all.
like, yeah, it's like, oh, you want to come out and say this? Well, kiss your complex interview goodbye. You know what I mean? So it's like it does more harm than good. And I've already said what I needed to say.
And is
Yeah.
radio even still a massive driver of?
Radio still is
relative-
valuable. It's still, there's still a game there to be played, especially at pop radio. You make a shit ton of money on the publishing side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if you get a #1 at pop radio, the publishing check is bananas.
Yeah.
The
'cause-
program, there are still people.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and you
For
get
sure.
and like look, the reality is, I did those 3 stadiums with Ed Sheeran and I saw firsthand like the difference between an arena and a stadium. When you look at stadium acts, radio,
Wait.
superstars. Because you know why? I'll tell you why. Guess who's going to the stadium show? Parents and
And
their kids.
Yeah, it's
Guess who
W.
listens to the radio? Parents.
Parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
That's
thing.
what takes you from like I did Hollywood Bowl, 17,000 people, right? It's like, all right, well, Rose Bowl, 70,000.
Yeah.
That's a big jump.
It's a massive jump.
What was
Yeah,
the first stadium? Was it MetLife?
Levi Stadium,
Where's that?
Santa Clara. It's like where the
Okay.
49ers play.
So you go.
This dude broke this fucking Super Bowl record.
That's unbelievable.
He's not even from here. You know what I mean?
Wait, okay, so break it down. So you and Ed are there.
Yeah.
You're opening for Ed,
I'm
or you
opening
come
for
out
Ed.
during his set?
Both.
Okay, so you come out open.
I do a 45-minute set, and then like 10 songs into his set or whatever, he brings me out and we do a song together.
How many people are there when you go on?
You know what? It was damn near packed because someone went on
Wow.
before me.
Okay,
I go
so-
on. I'm direct support, so I went on right before Ed. So maybe not at the first song, but halfway through my shit, it's pitch black outside, and it's fucking. When I say put the lights up,
It's crazy.
it's the whole shit.
So, but break down like maybe early in your career, like sometimes the opening acts,
Yeah.
people are still walking their seats. This
Yeah,
is
it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, even in comedy you see this, like, and it's something where we try to really avoid it. We
Especially
like,
when you know they're not there for you. That's the tough part.
but what I feel like is with at least LA, if it's your biggest market, Santa Clara is like how far from LA?
A couple hours.
Okay,
it's like
so-
San Francisco.
San Francisco. That's where the Niners play.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking Santa Ana.
No. So I guess it's way
It's
more than
very
a couple
close
hours.
to
Yeah.
San Jose.
But California in general
yeah,
for me
yeah.
is like a massive.
Okay, so you went up there. There, your fans out there too.
Yeah, for sure. For
And
sure.
did it feel like a Russ concert for those 45 minutes?
No. No. But what I'll say is
What's the difference?
what I'll say is that
Where's the ginger?
yeah, like I'm like, fucking I do it myself. And they're like,
You gotta sing all his shit.
No, you are gonna do it yourself. Yeah, we're not singing
like,
nothing. Like, damn.
we're not here. No, but what I'll say is with the stadium, there's so many fucking people that you can't even see. You really can only see the first couple rows.
And that's
And the
his
first couple
diehard
rows for
fans.
me, even at my own shows, it dictates the whole energy. And so the first couple rows at the shows, it was filled with fans of mine who are so like diehard. So I was right at home. It was fine. It was completely yeah.
You want more?
When in Rome, might as well.
Okay, so any adjustment with the stadium though? Size, does that?
No, you know what? And I've said this before about arenas. Arenas and stadiums are easier to do than, like, performing for 80,000 people, way easier than performing for this amount of people.
Oh yeah.
Because this amount of people, like, y'all are all just right here.
Yeah.
There's no hiding and there's no, like,
Silence
it's
is
so
louder.
intimate. 80,000 people, you're sort of, I don't know, it's like surreal. You're just kind of like, you're there and they're there, but y'all are not that connected. I don't know how to explain it. It's, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't know what that is, but.
And probably once you get them moving too, it's like a train.
Yeah.
Like that momentum is so much.
Well, and the energy's so palpable. And like I said, it's just, it's different than feeling like I need to personally connect with each 7 people in the room right now, because there's only 7. There's 80,000 people. I just need to like crush this and be in my world and like feed off the energy and whatever. But I don't know. It was an experience.
What's the smallest show you ever did?
Oh man, probably like 40 people. Oh no, what am I talking about? 4 people, Atlanta, I'll tell you the exact date, December 6th, 2014.
Okay,
Wow.
4 people.
Yeah.
What's the venue?
Masquerade in Atlanta.
Okay, you show up, you do the whole show?
No, so Diamond, the label that me and my boy started, we were like gung-ho about the show, the showcase that we like had set up, like, yo, it's December 6th, and everyone pull up, we gotta like my dad got us a fucking limo or something.
No.
And we like thought we were the shit. We're like in the limo with like champagne bottles and we're taking pictures of the marquee.
No.
We show up and literally 4 people. And we crushed.
Oh, you did the whole show?
Oh yeah, like, and that was the thing back then, bro. It was like all you had to go off of was your delusional confidence in yourself. So that, like, for me, it didn't matter who was in the crowd. I envy that person, sometimes characteristics of that person, because I was just happy to be on stage. I didn't care, like, who was in the audience was irrelevant. I was just happy to be in a light that I always saw myself in.
Oh, wow. So there's no embarrassment like these
Oh my
people?
God, none at all. None at all.
Wow.
None at all. I felt zero embarrassment for that night. More embarrassment for in a 7,000 cap venue if only 6,000 show up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you keep in touch with those 4 people at all? I assume you guys connected after the show.
Yeah, some of them are like, we call him, one of his name is Nick Everett. And like we call, me and Bugis, who I started Diamond with, like we refer to a lot of like people as like, oh yeah, he's a Nick Everett. It's this dude from Tennessee. Yeah, he was the first one to get like the logo tattooed on him. He was at every show. Like, yeah, but it's like, to me, I don't know, man, like that's what makes all this so much sweeter. Is because I wasn't one of those artists who, and I feel for these kind of artists who you blow up and you haven't even done a show yet. Where are you supposed to go from here? Like, you got songs with hundreds of millions of streams and you haven't done a show yet. That's fucking terrifying. I would have been fucked if that happened.
How long did it take you to get your show good?
Oh, man. It took me a minute, and I'm glad I got to do it in sort of that, circuit of when no one was really paying attention. Like, by the time I was really doing shows, I was okay. You know what I mean? But like, I feel for people like Lil Nas X or Olivia Rodrigo.
Spice got ripped. Like, it was her first time on stage, and she's
in
not
an
as
arena.
compelling.
Was that her first time on stage?
It was an outdoor show. She did something, and they were kind of clowning her. It's like she's literally never performed in front of people.
I remember when Olivia Rodrigo, she blew up, and the shit went crazy, and she posted her first tour. And it was like 2,500 caps. And like, obviously she could have done arenas. And everyone was like, what the fuck? Like, because her fans are like, there's so many of us, why would you book such small rooms?
Because she got to learn how to handle it.
She's never done this.
Yeah.
Like,
even 2,500 is a lot for an artist for the first time.
Bro, when I tell you, like, I remember 2014, Dame from Funk Volume, which was like the label that Hops in and was on, right? I remember he had reached out 2014 and he was like, we were talking about maybe doing a deal. He brings me out to Colorado to like do a set before Hops in and Funk Volume and shit. And I brought Bugis. And I remember being in the parking lot. The venue was Cervantes Ballroom. It was 1,100 people. And I was freaking the fuck out in the parking lot, like 1,100, whoa. And I remember getting up on stage. Like, I remember asking Bugis, like, yo, can you just come up on stage with me? Because this is like, I don't even think I can do this.
Yeah.
And I remember going up on stage, and 1,100 people, it might as well have been 1 million. It felt so out of control. It felt like, what's crazy is if I had never done anything past that point, that person would just think I made it. You know what I mean? It's like, what do you mean? Perform for 1,100 people. You know what I mean? It's like, it felt so crazy. And it just, moments like that help me maintain perspective on how big things have gotten and how real shit is. And it gives me the ability to have empathy for artists, like you said, like Ice Spice or Olivia Rodrigo. Any of these people, 2,500 people is insane. 1,100 is 500 is insane. People don't understand, like, if you haven't done this shit yet, and you go up, you just get thrusted up on stage, you got 300, 400 people, like, you gotta entertain us. It's a lot if you've never done that. There's a lot of pressure on that, especially if it's like, yo, we're here for you. We're the ones supporting your music. Don't let us down. It's a lot.
What was the last show you did where you felt that pressure of like that opening show with 1,100 people?
Hollywood Bowl and Staples Center, I was a little freaked out right before I walked out. It's weird because I don't get nervous before shows anymore because I know they're all there for me. And like, it's like clockwork. Like, I do this in my sleep, right? Staples Center was like, oh, fuck.
You got to bring it.
And I wasn't nervous until, like, literally as I'm walking out, and I was like, whoa. Like, this is Staples Center. Because I'm looking up, and it's sold out up to the fucking boxes up top. I'm like, dog, like, this is the Lakers game. Because, you know, when you, like, when you do an arena, like, they customize the whole back area. So, like, on the ground, instead of, like, you know, a basketball or whatever the fuck logo they have, it's like circles with my name. And like the fucking owner of Live Nation has given me iPads with like, congrats, you sold out Staples Center theme shit. I'm like, holy fuck, bro. Like, my parents are here. Like, people are watching.
How was the show?
It was crazy.
Did you lock in during it? Or were there moments where you were actually reflecting on the fact that you were
I think a lot of times, and I wonder if artists do, I disassociate on stage sometimes. Where like, it's almost like, y'all are watching me have a imposter syndrome attack in the middle of my set. Because I'm like, a lot of times during songs, I'm like, I can't believe these
This
people
shit
are
happening, bro.
I'm just like, what are these people doing here?
And then you gotta like remind yourself, no, stay in
Like,
it.
oh God.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Yeah, I mean, Staples Center was one of those ones where I was like, whoa. Especially because that time I wasn't doing in-ears.
In-ears means you have the song playing from the monitors.
Yeah.
How do you not do in-ears?
Yeah, so like I fucking hated in-ears because I wanted to be amongst. I wanted to
Explain
feel
the in-ears for the people.
So in-ears is this, like if you do in-ears, all like traditionally, all you're gonna hear, you're wearing headphones, right?
You
In-ears,
see the
like,
artists, they have that like FBI shit in their ear while they're performing.
all you're gonna hear is the backing track. You hear no crowd. It's like you're in the studio.
So you're a little
real
detached
life.
from the crowd.
You're performing and you just hear your vocals that you're singing over the backing track, over the instrumental, and you're looking at the crowd and they're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I just never fucked with that, right? So no in-ears. And so that's like crazy to people in the music business because like, how did you even hear yourself? Like,
And how did you? Did you have the monitors high on the stage?
yeah, I always would have the monitors super high on the stage.
So monitors
and
are
I
the-
would just wing
yeah.
it.
They're the speakers on the stage that actually face the artist.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how you can see how you sound. But I agree with you, like feeling the audience is important and like that can be distorted if you're only hearing the backing track.
Even now I use in-ears, but I do one in, one out.
One in,
A lot
I
of
would
people
say,
do that.
seems like a compromise.
You
there.
got to hear them. That's what
Because
you feed
otherwise,
off of.
it's tough. Like I tried to do, where your monitor guy sort of tries to like ride the crowd volume.
Oh, I don't like that.
I hate, you know what I
This
mean?
is
Like all of a sudden you're performing.
Don't kill him.
Tell them.
It's like
Every
crazy.
time, but when we're doing the walkthrough, I have to tell them, I go, I might get quieter. Don't adjust.
Leave it.
If
Leave
they
it.
I'm doing that on purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
1 dB, and he'll know.
No, of course. You're
'Cause it throws
particular.
you off.
It
Yeah.
does. It does. All of a sudden it's loud, and you're like, oh.
Yeah. And you might be
Yeah.
using your volume as a tool.
Right. Right.
Also, guys, I know you're enjoying this episode with Russ, but I got to give you your prize picks for this week. Your sing locks for Super Bowl Sunday. That was very alliterative. Here we go. We ready? First of all, prize picks, shouts, giving you a free square, Patrick Mahomes more than a half a yard. That's done. Isaiah Pacheco, I think gets more than 64.5 yards rushing, and I think Travis Kelce gets more than a half a touchdown because Taylor Swift is going to be there and she don't lose. And last, I might just be a hater, but I don't think George Kittle hits his mark. I think he gets less than 47.5 yards receiving. PrizePicks.com, guys, and if you use the promo code Schultz, they will match your initial deposit up to $100. So you put up $100, you get $100 for free. Why don't you gamble with $100 free? PrizePicks.com. Now let's get back to the show.
How was it at the pyramids?
Insane.
Yeah, can you
Absolutely
explain like how that goes? Did
Yeah.
you tell him you were Egyptian to get that? Because you're a little
Absolutely.
bit.
Yeah, no, I got a passport. No.
No, because that's a different. We looked into that
Yeah.
for something, and like it's not an easy thing.
It's very difficult because the government is like, you have to get approved by the government to do something like that. It's a historical site.
Because these
You can't
Danish
just be on some, like,
motherfuckers
bullshit.
did a porno on top of the pyramid. Did you hear about that?
No.
Some people like fucked on top of one of the pyramids, and after that they really
This
started.
is in your Google searches.
yeah. That's
Who
like-
ha-
that's
it's
why I
like, you want to know
perform
if you
that.
would be the first? It's like, who has fucked on
He's actually just jerking off to the pyramids. the people fucking
so
on
many
top,
bricks.
people fucking on top is in his way. He wants to know how they
His
built
face
it.
is due north.
It must have been aliens. Yeah.
But okay, so you got to get government approval.
government
to do this
approval?
show.
Certain songs you can perform. Like you have to submit your set list.
Which
and
ones?
What songs? It was either there, somewhere in the Middle East, but like I couldn't do Young God because like anything religious.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like anything super vulgar you can't do, which is, once again, it's like people in the business know. There's a lot of artists who have tried to do it. And like when I've talked to booking agents and whatever, it's like this artist submitted their 30-song set list and 2 songs got approved.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Wow.
What song did you know the audience wanted to hear, but you couldn't play for that show?
None.
Oh, no.
Everything that I knew they wanted, I could do.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
How big of a deal is cussing? Like you say vulgar, but
At the Pyramids, it's fine. Pyramids is fine, but I did the first ever rap show in Kuwait, and I was not allowed to cuss. Fans had to remain seated the whole time. I couldn't dance. Not that I dance, but I do a little two-step. There was none of that,
Wait, what did it look like?
So it was like
You have a podium?
no. So
You look like a
imagine
stand-up comic pretty much.
Do you have video? Get us a video.
No,
of
'cause you
that.
can't really cuss. It's a
I've
State of
posted
the
every
Union.
I've posted every show I've ever done, but it was cool. Imagine sort of like the ballroom of a hotel.
Okay.
It was kind of that. There was a stage, and there were seats, and everyone had to remain seated. And me just being like obnoxious at that time, I was like, fuck. It's like, I'm like trying to rile them up. I don't give a fuck. Even though I did well with not cursing, but certain shit gets out of hand.
Yeah.
Type in maybe Russ Kuwait. No. Oh yeah, this is it. Yeah. See, I'm still dancing. I'm still hitting my two-step.
Yeah. Bro, I would have arrested you.
Yeah.
I would have arrested you.
So the craziest thing.
Son, this is the boardroom.
Look, here we go, right? Look, everyone's sitting down. And they had like officials from the government running through the middle, telling people to sit down. See, someone stood up.
Wow.
Oh,
Crazy.
wow. They went over to him and told him to sit back.
my
That's
God.
crazy.
Now, the craziest thing that happened during this show is in the middle of my set, I turn around. At this point, like, my manager was DJing. He used to just plug in an aux to the laptop and we just rocked out.
Yeah.
That's like how we did like massive shows.
I love this.
Yeah. And I turn around to him and I have to stop the show because there's like there's a royal family member who's like, my daughters want pictures.
Wow.
Middle of the set.
Crazy.
Like, and he's telling me, he's like, yo, this guy, like, he wants his daughters to come up on stage and take pictures. Like, you gotta take. I'm like, I'm like kind of busy.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't do it. I was
No.
like,
Wow.
Yeah, which it ended up being fine. Like, after the show, I don't know if it's in this clip, but after the show, I talked to all of them backstage, and it was, no, I guess it's not. It's on my Instagram.
Wait, you talked to the daughters backstage?
No. I talked to the diplomats and the officials.
Yeah, you pleading for your life at that point, or what is that like?
No, it was fine.
Just a
It
little
was fine.
waterboarding.
I just feel like back then, I'm just coasting on like, it can't happen to me.
Yo.
Like, it's all gonna be fine.
I told them this shit. Yeah. When we were in Abu Dhabi, and we were doing the what is it called? Like the little run through before the show. We were just doing sound check and shit. And I was kind of like wilding a little bit during the sound check.
Right.
And the promoters were getting a little nervous.
Sure. I can
And-
imagine with yours. Did you have to cut anything out?
I ain't cut anything.
We presented the list of what he couldn't say, and
And I was
he
like,
violated every
and
single
I was
thing.
like, yo, they're not going to arrest me. I had the same thought. Like, why
Can't
would
happen
they
to
arrest
me.
This is a
On
bad
me.
idea. And but I remember them getting nervous, and then basically the way that they positioned it was that they would go after the promoter. I think it was.
Yeah, like, the promoter would be worried about
They
this.
would be responsible as
Who
well.
mans is this type shit?
Yeah,
Right.
It's also,
Yeah.
you want to go back, right? Especially when you know that the
Bro,
audience
I'll
is
say this,
great.
they
That's
were
what they really
fantastic.
have
Yeah.
on you. It's
They
like you
got a
want them
great
back.
sense of humor. Obviously, don't talk about Muhammad, but like
Right.
just talking about them.
Right.
Like I posted a video. I'm making fun of them for the first 10, 15 minutes of this. Like
Wow.
nuance shit just about
Balls.
their culture. They love it.
Jesus Christ.
We think that they don't want to make fun of themselves, but they don't want
Right.
to laugh. They do. Don't talk about Muhammad.
Right.
Talk
Well,
about
that-
everybody else.
And you would never think that, but it makes the most sense when you pull it back because it's like God is God.
Yep. Right.
We're not God. We're just people.
That's
so
it.
we can get made fun of.
You know what traveling does? And like, I just brought my dad on this trip that I just went on. He doesn't come around a lot. And it was so interesting to watch his perspective sort of open. But to that point, it's like when you travel to all these different parts of the world, what you realize, everyone is a human.
Yeah.
Everyone is just a person.
I didn't see them as humans
That
either,
fu-
bro. I agree. It's like, nah, dude. You know what I mean? just
but
white
it's like-
people. Just white people.
No, but it's like, you watch the news, you see shit, you think that people are like,
Yeah. Japanese people are this way.
yeah,
Arab
they're
people
this
are
way. And it's like, bro, everyone like has the same, internal
Japanese people are
trauma or
odd, bro.
someone.
Japanese
Everyone
people
has
are odd,
humor.
son. We gotta
everybody-
acknowledge
it's just
that.
ridiculous.
If you've been to Japan,
Yeah.
they're odd. They're odd. They're the
what
most
sense?
odd. Just all of them. Every sense.
What do you think?
Every sense, they're the most odd. And I don't like how we can't acknowledge it. That's why we go, because they're odd. If they was normal, we wouldn't go.
I think Japan is fucking awesome. I'll tell you why.
I didn't say it's not awesome,
No, I think,
but they're odd.
I think Japanese people are moving off of a ill honor code. I fuck with it. You go out there, there's no one at the grocery store. It's just an honor code. Leave
That's
the money in
odd.
the back.
Ain't that odd?
Or good?
Nobody's eating?
No, I'm saying
No employees to like make sure you're not stealing.
because they just know you're not going to steal shit.
That's odd.
That's awesome.
That's fire.
No, it's awesome. There can be awesome. The food that they make is awesome.
Right.
It's odd that when I see two people on a
I
date,
think
they're
odd
on
has a
their
negative
phones.
connotation, but it is odd.
Listen, there's some
it's a
things.
good odd.
There's some things that are good.
I'd
There's
use
some
a
things that are
different
bad.
word.
My boy passed out in the street. Shout out to Ben. Ben he had passed out in the street. He woke up.
In Japan, he passed out in the street.
Passed out in the street. Blacked out. Passed out in the street. Woke up in the morning. They had his socks and shoes next to him, and his socks rolled up and stuffed into the thing.
Isn't that fucking incredible?
That's odd because they was
But it's
jerking off to
incredible.
his feet. That,
Okay,
and that's the thing
not
that you didn't
true.
realize.
that proof?
That's not true. You're speculating on that point. That's,
See, now you're...
Is that proven?
Where's the footage? Can I see it?
Yo, So travel though, your India clip was crazy. Can you talk to me about that whole experience?
Bro, India, I felt like Justin Bieber. I was like, oh, this is like a little taste.
That was a
like being
crazy
pop star.
clip, dude.
Wait. Can we show it?
Yeah,
Bro,
it's rock star shit.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know
insane.
if it's. Oh my god, bro. First of all, India is like the fastest growing market on Spotify. Right. It's a massive country. The people are so loving, so supportive. I've not seen people go that hard for me. Like there's only so many groups of people who really like match that level of intensity. Man, I went to India. The second I landed, there's people at the airport, which like I'm not used to, like fans lined up.
NBA championship shit?
Yeah, and like,
Wow.
but respectful, like maintaining 6 feet. Not like, yo.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't do that with us.
No, like, yeah. But it was just like, whoa, like y'all are clearly diehard fans, but it was like so respectful, and the shows were fucking.
The level of passion of Indians in general is just nuts.
Bro, it was bananas. Like the 2 shows I did one in Mumbai and Delhi, and it was like, oh man, this is fucking nuts out here.
I think I saw the Mumbai clip, I think.
It's nuts, bro.
How many races try to claim you? 'Cause I feel like you could pass with just about.
Look at this.
I'm racially ambiguous on the internet. Yeah.
No, that's facts, bro.
No, but I think like that.
You was a Derek Jeter when I first heard about you when I first saw you.
Isn't it funny? Like, does anyone know what he is yet?
No, and
Yeah,
you
still
shouldn't
no.
tell him. You keep on lying about being Italian. You got to cut that shit out.
Right.
What are you really?
Keep
bro?
it in the holster.
He's fucking Japanese. That's what he is. That's why I knew he got.
No, you know what's so funny? It's like
I thought it was Arab.
early. That's what a lot of people thought and still think. I was telling you off camera, like before the interview. It doesn't even matter that I've told people like never lived in Saudi. They're like, nah, I know someone who went to school with you in Saudi. It's like, okay. I've gotten DMs from like, yo, like my friend went to, no lie, real DM. Yo, my friend went to school with you in Costa Rica when you were like 14.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I just went along with it. I'm like, yeah, tell myself what's
I mean, your album is called Santiago.
Right.
I know
So
what,
that-
but they're not going to know.
I'm just constantly throwing curveballs.
What?
Keep people on their toes.
What race are you the most attractive?
What does that mean?
So like, if you're like let's say again.
Latinos.
No, no, not what race is the most attractive. We know that. But we know Latinos are obviously, yeah. So no, what I'm saying is like, for example, Dove, right? Mm-hmm. Dove is like an 8 as an Italian,
Sure. Makes
11
sense.
as an Israeli.
Okay.
So what are you?
Really a Fred, right? Wow. God damn.
Wait, you think it's the opposite?
I think that's great.
Okay, so what race? Like, if
You're a
people
bad
think
person, dude. You're a fucking bad person.
He's a piece
He
of
does
shit.
that to everybody. Anytime you call, yeah, he sucks too. Anytime you call a dude good looking, both of them are like, okay,
y'all are haters,
okay,
bro.
that's
Y'all think you cute? Do you think y'all are cute?
Al, you're a 4.
bro.
Mark, you good looking. Al, you a 4.
He's a black 12.
He's a black.
He is an African 12.
You would be least attracted to the black.
It's interesting to learn the conversion rate.
Yeah, what is the conversion? Like, what
I'm
is he
not sure.
as half black, half white? That's a fine ass half black with the good hair. He's up there, bro.
In the eyes, what are the eyes? Oh yeah,
2 different colors.
Yeah, the 2 different
You
color
have
eyes.
2 different color eyes.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, one is
Gotta give me
dark.
something.
Stop staring so long. Stop
No,
staring.
my
so
bad.
long.
My bad. Sorry.
a long stare you
Sorry.
said.
That
No,
was
but it's
too
funny
long.
You're
because
a bad person, dude. You're a bad friend. Shut up. Shut up. I know who you
look,
are.
not to shift the silly topic to like a real thing, but I do think this is an opportunity to actually talk about something real as that.
Oh, fuck.
Super.
Sounds like you about to make it gay as fuck.
No.
Okay.
When I first blew up, there was so much like, what is he? And I do think that to ignore that is dismissive. Like that played a big role in my success.
Oh, that everybody felt like they could.
Everybody felt like they could see themselves in me. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, because and I've said it before in an interview.
But
It's
tell
like
them that they can't because they ugly. Say, yo, you
No, but
can't
it's
see
like
yourself in me.
being white or racially ambiguous online makes it easier to reach the masses, right?
See, I
makes
just
it
stopped,
harder.
yeah.
Makes it harder to reach hip hop because hip hop is black, right? And so it's very clear I'm not black, but it makes it easier to reach the masses, and to ignore that is dismissive. And I know that, like, you know, when I first blew up, Saudi was like, the whole Middle East was like, oh, you're Middle Eastern, so like we super love you.
Yeah.
You know, and then like
Pass for a lot.
Hispanic people, yeah, right.
He just need to
Give me like a low fade. It's over with.
He doesn't lean
Give me a
in.
low fade in 2 weeks in the Mediterranean.
Wait, do Italians really fuck with you?
Yeah, but you know what's so funny? When I did a show in Italy, I'm doing a show and it's like a regular show. It's fucking turnt. And like halfway through the show, I was like, oh fuck, I'm Italian. I gotta play this card right now.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh shit. I was wondering why it felt so much
Because you didn't grow up in like
realer. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just felt like home in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Like because it like dawned on me all of a sudden, like, whoa, everyone in the room is Italian. This is crazy. You know, because when you do a show in America, there's not this sense of patriotism where it's like, yo, like everyone's American in here. You know what I'm saying? But like doing a show in Italy and I'm Italian, it took a second because I'm just running through the motions. But then I was like, whoa, everyone in here is Italian. So like 6 songs deep, I'm like, yo, did I tell you that I'm Italian? Like, did I mention? I was like, we don't give a fuck. Like, keep going.
Nah, I do get that. Like when
Yeah.
we did the show in Scotland, my mom's from Scotland. And when we did the show there, in
It feels a
Glasgow,
little bit different.
Yeah, it felt like I wanted to hang out with them for longer. To be, I don't even know. I
It's like
haven't
your
reflected
DNA
on that.
light it up a little bit.
Yeah, and it feels like they're excited that you come from the same place that they came from.
Right.
And the same culture kind of bleeds through you.
Of
so,
course.
Yeah,
There's
that's
that
cool.
connection point that's
I mean,
like,
you guys
just
are
don't
doing
have.
shows in India, right?
Yeah, I mean, anytime I go to India, I'm like, oh, yo, this is, I know we laugh because I don't know enough about India. I don't speak Hindi well enough, but like, my soul is like, yo, this is, I'm home right now. Like,
You
I'm
can
crying
feel it.
talking
You
about
can
it.
feel it, yeah.
I'm like, yo, this is it. I'm home.
No, it's incredible.
What country smells the best?
I'm gonna go with Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Europe.
Those are clump people.
That was a follow-up question.
How ugly are Scottish women?
What could follow from there?
I'm just saying, that's a follow-up question.
What was the layup?
What country?
Which Asian's the oddest?
No, which is the oddest though? Which is Asians are the oddest?
What are
They
we
just
doing?
odd. They just odd. They just a little. They're not a little
Come
odd.
on, bro.
But see, like
I really think they're just like
odd-
perfectionists at everything they do.
Odd is a
Everything
negative
trying to be
connotation.
perfect.
Odd is
Yeah, I
negative.
could
Can we come
tell
up with
you.
another one?
You said yeah, but your soul said no when you
You
looked
know-
at me and said yeah.
What do you mean,
You go, yeah.
Yeah,
Like, you're
I mean,
like really upset
there
at
are
me.
perfectionists in the culture
You want, me to
breeds
give
perfection.
you want me to give you a gem my mom gave me?
Yeah,
Is when somebody has a perspective that's like unfamiliar to you.
yeah.
Like a beautiful response is, that's interesting. It's very open-minded. So it's like, they're not odd.
Yeah.
They're interesting. It's like,
But
interesting.
you know what you mean.
But interesting is
and
way
you know
more
what your mom
positive.
meant. You know what you meant, and you know what
Sure.
your mom meant.
But it's a different energy.
Listen,
Yeah.
it's a different energy. It's great. But then you go there and you're like, these some odd ducks.
Okay, see, but that's
They're
negative,
interesting
bro.
people.
They're particular, maybe.
But you could be interesting and odd. They're odd ducks, bro. They are a little odd. I was there. I'm there with my wife. We were there for like 2 weeks, and I was like, wow, like, you're more odd than I thought.
Did you ever consider that you're odd?
Oh, I'm
to
odd.
them, to
No,
them, to them,
I'm odd.
to them.
But
He's
to
odd.
them,
Like they're like that's what's so
they
crazy.
are looking at me like
they're
you're
looking
odd.
at us like these people are fucking off.
yeah, they're like, they're crazy. These motherfuckers are crazy.
What?
Yeah, you do some
Yeah.
weird stuff.
I do plenty of weird shit.
No, just Americans in general are
Yeah.
like we stick out.
He also
It's
is
like a
odd.
sore thumb.
He bites his
said it's
toenails.
the whites. You bite your toenails?
I can't do it anymore because I'm older, but I did back in the day.
I gave up on that habit.
But you did it, though.
A week ago. No, I'm kidding. No, it's like, yeah, I used to do that.
I'm just saying, the Japanese, we appreciate them. We love them. They make great video games. They make great technology. They make incredible
pancakes.
food. The pancakes, the fluffy ones.
What is
are
that
great.
even going on there?
The way their integrity is incredible.
They have great integrity and they take care of you. All that stuff is
Very
there.
clean.
But there's also some oddities that we can appreciate as people who enjoy misfits. I like misfits, clearly. So, and I find that the Japanese are misfit. You guys are misfits. Look at you guys.
We're
Just
odd.
calling your friend ugly
no,
on a
odd.
platform
We're not
in front of millions of people.
We're odd.
Dude, Mark is a
Listen, the word odd is a negative connotation. And I don't want you
It
using
has
it
a
that way.
negative-
It does, right? The way he uses it, the way I use it, it's great.
You said it with love. He said it with a little bit of vitriol.
It's vitriol.
Thank you. Thank
I'm talking about, odd is like, it's a number thing. You know who loves numbers?
Who?
Not gonna guess.
Right. That was the layup?
I'm not
Was that
gonna
the
say.
whole
That was the layup.
Yeah.
That was the layup right there. That was it. Okay. But shout out to Japan. We love you. We appreciate you.
Have you been to Kyoto?
Yes.
Yeah, it's incredible.
That place sucked.
What?
Dude, it
Are
was
you
too
kidding?
fucking Japanese about
Stop, dude.
But
Why
you know
are so
what? You know
mean?
what's so interesting? It's like, I think for musicians, for me, I like a place can be boring or whatever. Not
Yeah.
that Kyoto was, but I look at everywhere like, how fun would it be to make music there? So
Listen,
it's different. Like, I was sitting on my balcony looking at a koi pond making beats.
yeah.
So I'm like, this is fucking
It's
awesome.
inspirational. Did you say it like what's called a Ryukan or something like that?
No, I said it the Four Seasons in Kyoto.
And see, that's the thing. We had to go there for a massage.
To the Four Seasons.
Yeah, we had to go.
What'd you think?
It's stunning.
Yeah.
But we tried to be Japanese about it. And we're like, we're going to stay in a Ryukan or whatever. I think if I'm
I
pronouncing
tried
it
to
correctly.
buy
Yeah, that's
the
not the way to do
diptyque hand
Walls
wash.
and all that type of shit.
And they do sell it. That's the thing about the Four Seasons. They're fucking.
Well, so here's the thing. I wanted to buy the diptyque hand wash from them. No. Once
So
I went to Toronto. I'm like, God, I gotta get this hand wash
Yep.
that I smelled.
Yep.
The Four Seasons in Kyoto.
Yep.
I'm in the diptyque shop and I'm like, yo, like here's the picture. And they're like, oh, that's exclusive to the Four Seasons. I'm like, y'all got embargoes on hand wash?
That's crazy.
Like, I can't
Son.
fucking buy the soap?
No, if they've
Do you know you
cornered
could
the
buy the
market.
mattress?
Oh, well, I have the pillows. I didn't know you could buy the mattress.
That's how nice the Four Seasons
Yeah.
is. With like, this is when people, these rich motherfuckers are smart, bro.
Yeah.
And like,
They monetize the linens.
We got a, we got
they're good at it. They might as well.
We got a massage at the Ritz once. We didn't even stay there, but we were like, what are these sheets? And then we went and bought those sheets
Sure.
from the spa,
See?
not the hotel.
Not where they
the
sleep
spa.
at.
The
Yeah,
way
they
your
know what
face
they're doing.
just laid on it, you were like,
Perfect.
I need this in my home.
Perfect. But yeah, the Kyoto thing. My thing with the Kyoto was like, I don't know, it just felt like a version of Japan for tourists. Where
You know, Kyoto used to be the capital.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I felt the opposite. I felt Tokyo was like, oh, this is tourists. Kyoto felt like I'm really amongst. I don't know.
The actual people.
Yeah, it felt a little bit more real.
You're
and
also,
authentic.
I'm not all jokes aside, you're going for different reasons. You're going for inspiration, you're going to visit. And not that
I'm
inspiration
going,
won't strike
no,
you. but-
I'm honestly, I'm going for both. Like, I'm very much so on the fucking, like, let me get the guide.
I want cultural immersion.
Yeah.
I
Bring me
want.
to all
That's
the
why I went to
authentic places.
Kyoto,
Yeah.
and I was like, I want to feel what Japanese people felt at this time in history,
Yeah.
where the
Yeah.
city is kind of locked in. Like you
Right.
still see the what are they called?
Geishas.
Geisha girls
Yeah,
walking down the street
yeah,
and shit like
yeah.
that. And I guess it's kind of cool, but there were certain things that I saw in Japan that I was like, wow, this is completely unique to Japan. You will see no other form of this anywhere else.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, that cultural, that just cultural shock that you experience when you're there
Yeah.
is like something I've never experienced anywhere else.
I love it.
It was crazy. And because it was odd or interesting, it was exciting to me.
Yeah.
But it was totally unique and different. And in order to get that, you can basically have nobody live there. Like, they don't let anybody move there. Nobody can become a citizen. It is,
Is that right?
yeah, bro.
Good. I mean, good for them.
even if you're born there, you're not Japanese.
How does that work? So what are you?
Outsider, bro. You're
Interloper.
Korean, you're whatever. Like,
Wow.
they keep it locked in. And then
Yeah.
they have that kind of, that cultural, what is the word I'm looking for? Homogeny? And it was spectacular. The food was amazing, but they were so unbelievably different.
Yeah.
Where I haven't experienced that level of difference. Like, you go to the Middle East, like, yeah, there's cultural differences, but like, there's just kind of like an awareness of how we all act. And they're so educated abroad that they know how Americans are. So they know, they're aware. Bro, you go to Japan, and,
Where have you been in the Middle East? Dubai?
just Dubai and Abu Dhabi.
Oh yeah, you got it. Like, to me, I love Dubai and Abu
you've
Dhabi,
been to
but it's like
Egypt
it's the
and
Vegas.
Morocco.
You
Well,
know what
Egypt
I mean?
is Africa. I can say Egypt.
You got to go to
Africa.
like fucking.
But I did Egypt and I did
Beirut,
Jerusalem.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Like, to me, traveling, because I'm like at my core was such a judgmental person.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So judgmental because I grew up like my dad's from Jersey, my mom's from Long Island.
Oh yeah.
Loud Italians, shit talking Italian, like just grew
Yeah.
up like judging.
Yeah.
That's just par for the course.
Yeah.
And traveling has been, it's given me the capacity to deploy empathy for shit I don't get.
Like, for example.
Just like in general, just like, oh, they do things different. That's cool.
But that's why we go, to see the different things.
It's exactly why, like, I just got back from Marrakech and
Oh, amazing.
incredible.
Yeah.
Was in Saudi, and it's just like, just everywhere I go, I'm just trying to do
Marrakech.
what they do.
Let's talk about Marrakech.
I love Marrakech.
Did you-
That's
where'd
the
you
second
stay?
time.
The Shuk
this-
or whatever? Or
First time I was at the Royal Mansour. Second time, this time I was at the Amman.
Okay. Wow. Amman
Crazy.
is
Amman is nuts.
Amman is the best.
Yeah.
It's incredible. But did you go into the souk? Did you?
Of course, yeah. We did the whole thing, and then we rode ATVs in the
How
desert.
many rugs did you buy? Be honest.
Did they get you?
Bro, so here's the funny thing. If y'all are watching Marrakech, I don't understand what's going on, right? When I stayed at the Royal Mansour in 2019, you set up the guy, because I'm like, look, I want to just go around to the authentic places. So they take you into like the big square, the Medina, and they take you to the rug shop and the furniture shop. And it was awesome. First time I was there, I bought a shit ton of rugs, bought furniture. Cool. Come back this time. Same thing. I'm like, give me a guide. It's a different hotel. We go into the Medina. We do the big square. He's like, I know the best rug shop. Takes me to the same rug shop.
Of course. Of course.
We walk in. I'm like, I feel like I've been here before.
Yeah.
Dude comes out. He's like, my friend. It's like, and of course, I bought a rug. I was not trying to buy a rug, but I buy a rug.
Yeah.
My picture's on the wall. And then he's like, afterwards, he's like, I'll take you to the best furniture store. We go to the same furniture store. I'm like, wait a second. All right, hold on.
Nah, Moroccans are
What
the best.
sort of like, are we all in just cahoots?
Yes.
Yes.
And you know what's tough for me is like, I guess when you travel, you want to, at least for me, I want to feel like I'm getting the authentic experience. I don't want to do the touristy shit.
Getting scammed is the authentic experience, though.
Yeah, well, I'll say this. It's what I was telling my dad. It's like, you know what? Is that, because the guides are telling you, look, 80% of the shit in the square is from Bangladesh, India, and China.
Yep.
Right? I'll take you to the best one. They take you to the same one that 4 years ago they took you to. I'm like, look, maybe this is fake. Maybe that's real. But you know what? I bought it in Marrakech.
That's
okay?
it.
It's real.
And what you really paying for?
You know what I mean?
He beats the music industry and then gets hustled by
But it's okay. We did it too. Shit. We all went for the France.
Well, because it's like you're putting your trust in them.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe that this dude is
They're the
telling you the
label.
truth,
They're the label.
We need $9,000 up front. We'll send you the rug.
So here's the reality: they're all made in Bangladesh.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
But I think you're going
I bought them
there.
in Morocco.
You bought them in Morocco, which is all that matters. But I also, the way I look at it is like, I'm not here for where the rug is made.
Yeah.
I'm here for the dance.
Yes.
The guy telling me 800.
Yes.
Then I'm like, oh, I can't do 8. Let's do 4. I'm gonna give him 800 no matter what.
I was gonna give him 9.
Exactly. I don't I want him to make the money, but I understand that he likes his dance, and this dance has existed for thousands of years.
Right.
Morocco, old culture.
Right.
And you get to take part in this dance.
No, it's
To
beautiful.
me, that's the authentic experience.
It's just
Gives
fun
a fuck where the
yeah.
rug is.
Yeah.
Going
I'm not
to
here
the
for
guy,
that.
can I get you a tea? Like him setting you up for this
Yeah.
rope a dope. You're like, oh, this is amazing. Like this culture has thrived like this.
I know you're finessing me, and I love every minute of it.
Bro, remember we went in the store, the guy was like breaking up little pieces of crystal and telling us this is gonna give you a
Cure your
boner, this is gonna
migraine.
do that. It's salt.
Yeah. And then boom, boner.
Walked around with boners.
All day.
Sold.
Okay, where else? Where else? What was one of the dopest spots that you went to that was completely unexpected?
Lake Lucerne.
In Switzerland.
Yes.
Okay.
What's it called? Hotel Vitz now on Lake. It looks like a Bob Ross painting. That's the best way to describe it. You're sitting there. It's on this lake. It's the trees that Bob Ross drew. It's the fucking lake with the perfect little ripples. And it's just like, it's so serene. There's nothing to do but go to the spa and relax and look at your surroundings. In the lake, you jump in the lake, you get out. Your skin, I don't know if you've ever touched a dolphin, but you feel like a dolphin.
Why?
It's just so smooth. It's like the water is like holy and blessed. I don't get it. But it was just so serene and peaceful. It was one of those moments where you're like, this is what eyes were made for.
Wow.
Was to look at this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Lake
Lucerne, the Amalfi Coast
Amalfi's crazy.
is insane. But yeah, man, Lake Lucerne was just, I don't know.
Amalfi's one of those places that's popular, and then you go and you're just like, I don't give a fuck. I get it.
I get it.
Like it's
you know what
that
else I
stunning.
get is Santorini.
Oh, Santorini,
Oh, dude.
Greece.
Because
I was there this
Santorini is
summer.
one of
It was
those
insane.
places
You
where
loved
it's
it.
like
Loved it.
nowhere else in the world looks like that.
Yeah.
You go to a lot of like cities in Europe, and I love all these cities: Paris, London, Amsterdam, Berlin, Brussels. It's like
There's a familiarity.
It all sort of kind of, jumbles together at a certain point. You go to Santorini, you're like, where the fuck am I?
It looks like It looks like I'm inside the postcard.
Yeah, you're
And-
exactly.
And I
exactly.
remember thinking about Greek mythology. This part was actually in Athens, but the Temple of Poseidon, you're looking over the water that's similar to Santorini. And you're like, oh, I completely understand thinking there had to be a god for just this.
Right.
There is a
Right.
god for just water, because look at what I'm looking
Look
at.
at it, right.
There's no other way around it.
Nah, it's
I
incredible.
remember being in Amalfi, and I think we were talking about that because
Yes.
you were in Santorini, and it's like I get why people from certain places don't believe in God, because you don't have this.
Right.
Like, you looking at dog shit. You know what I mean? Like, if you're an atheist in Cleveland, I get it. You know what I mean? But you can't be an atheist in Amalfi because you're looking at this.
Atheist in Cleveland is crazy.
Yeah, because I'm not judging you. Because you're looking at a smokestack, right? But in Amalfi, you're like, no, only God could create something like this.
Yeah.
In Santorini,
Yeah.
same thing.
You know what this reminds me of? Though? Like, I dreamed of having conversations like these.
Yeah.
I remember, like, I went to T.I.'s manager's house with Boogus, like 2014, 15. And it was me, Boogus, Jason Jeter.
Oh, Jason.
It was me, Boogus, Jason Jeter, and Killer Mike. And we were sitting in Jason's, like, cigar room. And I had no fans, no money. And we're sitting there. And Killer Mike and Jason are just talking about, like, yo, Croatia. And I remember just sitting there like, I don't fucking know. Yeah. And I remember going home and telling my mom, like, whoa, like, it was crazy. They were talking about Croatia. And me and her talked about, because her love, one of her loves is travel too. And I remember me and her talking about, like, can you imagine what that would be like to be able to sit around and talk about?
Have you sent her around? Did you?
Sent her. She
goes-
comes with.
she goes
Every
with.
single time.
Hell yeah. Like, she didn't come to Saudi this time or Marrakech. She's already been.
Really?
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, bro, because to me, I'm just like, I dreamed of this shit.
Yeah.
You know, in the fact that I've gone down the rabbit hole before of I want to see my bank balance have more in it. But then I did the second step of that question, which is why. And when you get to the why, it gets confronting because it's like,
What's the why?
the why was, well, so that I have more money. And then it's like, but why? Oh, I guess no reason. You know what I mean? So then that's when I started just being like, bro, you know what? Like, I'm making the money to, and this is a quote my mom gave me. If you have the ability to change somebody's reality, do it. And I just use money to change my reality and people I love's reality. So I use money to just do fucking epic travel shit with my family and everyone I fuck with.
Amen. Yeah.
That's it. Because it's like, yeah, bro, like I could show you the fucking tax document, whatever. I've made, and this is 3 years ago, so it's more than that, but 3-4 years ago, I had grossed 50 mil.
Gross. This is before you have to pay out people.
Grossed
Yeah.
50 mil. So I've made, like, I had made that money, spent fucking 49. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, what else am I doing with it?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the culture of, like, stack is so, it's just, you have no connection with the present. You're saving for what? Like, a lot of people don't reverse engineer the lifestyle they want. I always tell people, look, instead of just being like, I want to be rich, that's too vague and it's not specific. What do you want?
Yep.
Specifically, what house do you want? What car do you want? What kind of life do you want to live? How much does all that cost? Now reverse engineer it. Now all of a sudden you don't need $1 billion. You need 2 mil, or you need 500 grand or whatever. So like for me, I do that all the time with myself where I'm like, do I want more money? Yeah, because I'm ambitious and I like seeing the numbers go up on a screen because it's like a video game. But realistically, it's like, me and my business managers talk about it all the time. It's like the big purchases are out of the way. Everyone got a spot.
You got the house.
Everyone has a
everything's
car. Everyone has a spot. So it's like now I'm just on some like, bro, I'm just trying to go places and do ill shit. Like we were just in Marrakech just because. Like my dad fell off a camel. It's awesome.
That's a high fall.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was on the way down. But it's just like doing shit like that. Like for no other reason than being able to log it in your memory bank.
Yep.
Like that's, to me, that's the only reason why I'm doing this
A
shit.
wealth of experiences.
That's it, bro. Because all this shit is just like, it's one big facade that people are just, I feel like, me included, was chasing such like approval and validation and like.
Travel is for you.
Travel.
Stacking money is for them.
Right.
Because who is it impressing?
Right. Well, you know who it's impressing? It's impressing the perception of what I think I should be.
Exactly. But
Like
that's in the eyes of whom?
I've made 50 mil, I should have 48. It's like, you could have had 48, but guess what you couldn't have had? Is the trip to there, trip to there, And I think about that shit all the time. It's like, someone, I said it on a song, it's like, some like you may be richer, but have you ever left the country? You know what I'm saying? It's like, so how rich are you?
Yeah.
Like I feel so rich in experiences.
There's that
You know what I'm
parable.
saying? Like my mom has been, no lie, around the world 2-3 times. Around the world. Like everywhere. Documented. Like she's seen everywhere. And it's like, what else, dog?
I'm gonna probably bastardize it, but there's that parable about the guy fishing, and then somebody comes up to him and he's like,
Oh,
"What do
I
you
know
do?" He's like,
exactly, bro. Please tell a story for the camera.
You
It's
can
my
probably tell
favorite
it me
shit.
better than me, so
No,
you go.
you can because
okay,
you.
so guy
you know
sees
it
another
right
guy
like
fishing,
that.
and
Yep.
he's just like, "So what do you do?" I'm an investment banker, whatever the fuck he is. And the guy's like, "Oh, I just sit here and fish." And he's like, "What? That's how you make your entire living?" He's like, "Yeah."
Right.
What's wrong with that? And the guy's like, "No, man. You need to like fish. You need to like sell fish, open a market, then maybe open an online e-commerce thing. Then you can try to make money. They can hire employees. Then and he goes through step after step after step. And then the guy's like, "Okay, then what happens?" And he goes, "Then you can just sit there and fish." And the guy's like,
That's what I'm doing right now.
Okay, well, I know.
And that's it, bro. That's it. It's like, because I've heard that, and it's so true. It's like, bro, I sit at home and I make music, and it's mailbox money. I get paid every Friday since I was fucking 18. So it's like, this is it.
All right, guys, we're gonna take a break real quick because we gotta talk about your health. And when it comes to your health and the products you use, they need to be scientifically backed, objectively tested. That is not negotiable. That's what I love about Momentous. They set a high bar. They got a continuously expanding line of products designed by industry-leading experts and performance leaders such as our boy, Dr. Andrew Huberman, Big Dick Cubes, in the motherfucking building, testing these products, co-signing everything. Their favorite, one of my favorites, the Focus and Cognition Bundle, supports cognitive function and mental performance. It's a 60-day supply. It's got tyrosine, omega-3, alpha GPC. All of these have an established role in helping your neural function. I don't take it consistently enough because I'm an idiot, and it shows when I make dumbass comments on this podcast. And you know, the supplement world has got a lot of bullshit products out there that you can't trust. This is why you can trust Momentous. In addition to being NSF certified, which is the National Science Foundation, it also works with some of the world's leading scientists, including Big Dick Cubes, Big Dick Drew, to develop products and optimize mental health, physical health, performance in all aspects of life, sleep, whatever the fuck you need. 150 professional and college teams use their products. That means they gotta be good. They also have contracts with the U.S. military, Tony Stark type shit, and Momentous has proven itself as an industry leader that creates best-in-class human performance supplements. So go to livemomentous.com, and here's what's even better. If you use the code FLAGRANT, you're gonna get 20% off. That is livemomentus.com/flagrant for 20% off. Now let's get back to the show.
So outside of music and traveling, what excites you right now? Like, these guys have gotten into playing paddle.
Oh my God, you guys are paddleball,
Well,
fucking pickleball.
Not pickleball.
Not pickle.
No,
don't say
yeah.
pickle.
These two.
Like, what do you?
We're gonna bring you and play some
Bro,
paddle,
I
bro.
went on a walk yesterday. It's 6 a.m. I see a bunch of people playing pickleball, old people. I'm like, get on the basketball court. No, but I get it. But no, what excites me, honestly, is like, I've had to shift my trophy, and I talk about this on the album, I'm talking about it in my second book. It's like the pursuit for me now is just progress. That's what it has to be. Because
What is progress?
progress is perpetual. It's forever.
Functional progress.
How do you
is
define progress?
Yeah.
Everything. Well, it's
What's the
just,
parameter?
you know, we could run down the categories. Physically, I want to be stronger. I want to be healthier. Mentally, I want to be more disciplined. Musically, I want to make something that I love even more than what I did yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, and it's, to me, it's things that are in my control that don't rely on the approval of anyone else but myself. And I got into a bad space, and not to say that I'm out of it, but I got into a bad space where, like, the metric for me was if other people approved what I was doing.
Yeah.
And that's a bad place to be, because you live and die by the booze and the cheers, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, for me, like, what excites me now, bro, is just honestly being present in progress. Like, waking up at 8 and going to the gym by 9, and by 10, I'm in the studio, and by 11, I've made a song, and by 12, I'm doing a call about a book I'm putting out. And by 1, I'm on the couch with my girl and my 2 dogs, and my mom's swimming in my pool in the backyard. And, like, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, that to me, that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's. There's this guy Naval. I forget his name.
Harari.
No.
You were telling me about it.
He's a India dude actually, but he's like an investment guy. He's made billions of dollars, but he had these 3 like mantras that distills, I think, all of this, and I've been thinking about it a lot recently. And he was like, the 3 endogenous indicators of happiness. Everything else can, like marginally raise it or lower it, but the 3 biggest indicators, and the words he uses are precise, and I really like them. He said, a calm mind.
Wow.
Not sharper, not quicker, not doing more shit, but calm. Calm mind.
Yeah.
Fit body, house full of love. He's like, if you get those 3 things, genuinely everything else is,
I love that.
Everything else is kind of like little parameters that can kind of tweak it. But those 3 things across any culture, any society, any individual is going to be the biggest indicators of happiness.
I really hope that everyone watching this fucking hears that, because that, to me, that's the epitome of what people should be chasing. And that's what Santiago is about. That's what the second book is about, because all of those things you said have nothing to do with anyone else. It has everything to do with things that we're in control of. And it's just, bro, that's it. That's it. Everything else falls into place. It really does. That's what I've noticed. It's like, if I'm good mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever, bro.
I don't
Whatever
think
else
therapy's worked on anybody faster than it's worked on you. It's actually really remarkable.
I think because I needed it and I wanted it so bad.
Yeah.
And I committed to it because I really, for years, and I would like trickle it in songs like, I should probably get a therapist. It's like, 5 years later, still no therapist. What are we doing? But I really did want help. And it's so much deeper than just like the connotation of therapy. It's really like a spiritual mentor, because the guy I talked to, he's not even a licensed therapist. He's just a fucking guru.
He's a wise dude.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know, man. Not to get cliche, but being men, it's tough to feel, 1, comfortable being vulnerable with things you're struggling with, 2, to even like have somebody that you could talk to, because to your parents, that might feel like, they're gonna feel guilty because somehow they'll make it about them. To your friends, they're like, I don't fucking know, but to like, just get over it.
And I got my own shit going on.
Yeah,
like, you're doing better than me. How can I help?
Yeah, like, have you tried getting over it?
You try not being
walk it off,
bitch.
bro.
You know what I mean?
What did you say in another podcast? You said the measure of a man is how far he can.
So that's something that my mentor told me. He said, society measures a man by how much can you carry, how far can you carry it, and how alone can you carry it. And it's so real. And like, I think just subconsciously, that's kind of how men move throughout society.
Yeah.
Is, not to get fake deep, but when, people ask me, oh, how you doing? It's like, can't complain. But when you really read into that, it's like, can't complain.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm in a position where I can't. Yeah.
Like, you can't. Because we have not allowed ourselves the space to even give ourselves empathy. Because we don't feel like it's a safe space with other men to be like, you know what? I'm going through something right now. It's fucked up.
We also don't want to put that on the people we love too. Like,
yeah, well, because we're men, and
we might be
gotta
providing
shoulder
for them.
it and fucking, brush the dirt off.
Or it's
and
like,
move forward.
You don't want your girl to worry. You don't want your mom to worry.
Right.
You don't want all the people that rely on you to worry.
Right.
You want them to know that they're going to be good, and they're good when you're good.
Right.
So you're like, all right, I got to hold this. And then you meet somebody you could talk to about it, and you're like, oh, it feels great to talk to you about it.
Right.
Because these people are all going to be safe, but I get this off my chest.
Right. And there's no judgment from their end. And what I learned through talking with him is when you resisting insecurities leads to self-implosion. And that to me was so true. It's like, whether it was interviews or meetings or just in general, it's like me resisting the feeling of like, you know what, I'm nervous. Like I was nervous coming on here.
Yeah.
Right? And if I would have tried to like overcompensate that would have led to maybe really like self-destructive like outbursts, or just in general, not on camera. And it's like when you resist what you're actually feeling, which is what men do, it's what we've been trained to do, because you push down, it's gonna come out sideways at some point, at a time where you don't want it to come out.
Yeah.
What's that quote? Everything you want is through the door you wish not to enter the most, or something.
Right.
There's this quote about like everything you desire is through the thing that you're
on the other side of what you fear the most.
Is on the other side of what you fear the most.
Yeah.
And it is true. And also like you get into a place of comfort, which is like is privilege, but it can also be a prison in that like you don't have to do an interview. You don't have to do anything you don't want anymore.
Right.
And now you're in the position where you can avoid those things you fear, but what is on the other side of those things you fear is exactly what you want.
I know, and you know what? For me, this is like a thing I've like set as a goal, is like the year of just doing hard shit. Because, like you said, I don't have to talk to anyone ever again.
And you're good.
And I'm fine, but it's like, guess what? But I want more, and I'm ambitious, and I want to express myself in different mediums than just music. So guess what that means? You gotta do the podcast. You should do the podcast. You fuck with Schultz. You like his brand. It's a good place for you to express yourself and be honest. But yeah, it's confronting, because now you gotta like be yourself, and people are watching, and it can
You're
go
putting
left.
yourself out there for judgment.
And
Can't control it as much.
you can't control it, and so it's scary. And like you said, because I'm good, I can just be like, what? I'm at the house.
Yeah.
Like I was just in Saudi, the Americas. I could have just gone home.
Yep.
You know, like I miss my dogs, I miss my pet. You know, but it's like nah, bro. I have to do the hard shit.
And then there's a joy that comes from that.
Yeah.
There's also like a fulfillment of purpose that comes from it.
Because you're like, oh shit.
I was scared and then I did it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's weird, like, because that is, I guess.
On the other side of fear is strength.
Yeah.
And so that is the thing, like, when it comes to like money or stacking or whatever these things are, I think that like I have no aspiration to be a billionaire. Like that, the sound of it is like, okay, if it's cool, I don't give a fuck. I just don't care. Like it doesn't mean anything to me.
Right.
But I do have an aspiration of having enough money where every decision I make is because I want to make it, right? Not because I have to. Right now, we're privileged enough. Like we're the luckiest people on the fucking face of the universe. We get to do shit that is so much fun for a living. Like this is a joke. It's even a job.
Right.
Right. It's crazy.
No,
like,
look what we're doing.
It's a joke.
This is insane.
It's absurd. Like,
we're in a random building in New York. We set up cameras to make it seem like we're doing.
There's fake bricks here.
Yeah, it's like, these are not even real.
So like,
no, it's insane.
Dope
so
combos though.
But see, like that's really what it's about.
Yeah.
exactly. But one of the things is like, so we're very fortunate that like through stand up and all these different things, through music for you've been able to do a thing that you truly love to make a living.
Yeah.
There is another level which you might be at. I don't want to count your pockets, where it's like you actually don't have to do anything anymore.
Yeah.
Your family's good, you're good, and everything you do is because you want to do it.
Yeah.
Now, what you just described to me, I didn't even foresee, which is when you don't have to do anything, you will have greater hesitation with the things that you fear to do.
Yes,
I didn't even think about that.
Well, because for a long time, I've been at where you're talking about, where it's like, I don't have to do any of this.
And you're good.
Because I've had the mailbox, I've been getting paid every Friday.
You're going to be fine.
So it's like, I know I've been financially secure for a long time.
Got it.
And so now, like you just said, I've never heard it like that. Now it makes you really analyze the things you don't want to do, because you're like, wait a second.
Because before you got to do that,
have to do this.
You got to do that uncomfortable interview because you're like, I want to push this album. I want people to see my work. I put a lot of effort into this. So I'm going to put myself in this vulnerable situation because there is upside, and I have to risk that downside for that upside.
You can't hide from fear if you're not rich.
Right.
And that makes me
But now-
think of the mega artists that they do the mysterious thing, and I'm wondering,
Are you mysterious?
or are you just a little bit afraid, like the Kendricks or the Travises that you never see them?
They're just they're just good.
No,
they're just like,
but
they're fine.
Maybe they
Or
also
maybe they're afraid.
But maybe they're afraid. But it's like, I know for me, it's just kind of like, I don't have to do these things, but I want to do them because at this point, I'm just being driven by the fact that I'm scared to do them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
But that's because your goal is personal growth. If your goal is
that's
like
it.
money, then you're like, no, I'm not going to do this podcast. I'm going to make more music.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's a
it's-
How do
fucking.
you gauge how much you show the world? Because like you're very vulnerable in your music, but then like social media, just like surface
I don't
level
know, it's
stuff.
like even right now, right? It's like, I have nothing to push.
Yeah.
We can make up things.
Yeah.
Like, I have a song coming out in 2 days. I don't give a fuck if we don't have to talk about any of that. I got a hair care. I don't give a shit.
This is clever right here.
No. It's not, no, but truthfully.
Lock that up. Lock that up. That's good.
I don't even have anything
What's
to do.
in it?
Anyway, underneath
Santiago is out, by the way.
No, but truthfully, it's like, I genuinely wanted to come on here as an exercise in like, do the hard shit. It has nothing to do with any of that, because I've learned that all of these extraterrestrial things don't sell your music. I'll never forget, and this is no shot at Tyga. I love Tyga. I remember 10, 12 years ago, I don't know when the fuck it was, Kim Kardashian posted like a Tyga mixtape. I remember we're on the come up, so we're studying everything, and we're like, damn, Kim posting the mixtape didn't even like really matter. It didn't like move the needle.
Yeah.
And you know, certain things you just remember on your come up, and so forever we're just like, yeah, it just doesn't matter. Like Kanye right now could post me on his Instagram, like, go listen to Santiago. It's not gonna like, for 24 hours it'll be like, whoa.
Nah, but if he posted it with a picture next to that milk factory he got walking around with,
it's just like, nah, but it's like, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you,
needles being moved.
It doesn't. The internet's so fast, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
the only shit
connection.
that matters is like real, actual, human, consistent connection.
Yeah.
And so for me, yeah, it's like I don't have to do any of this. I don't care about promoting anything because I'm not entitled to your platform to promote my shit. So I know I have my platform. My fans know what's going on. I got a community. Y'all know what's up. Cool. I want to come on here because I fuck with you. I want to talk to y'all. And like I said, it's an exercise in like, bro, do the hard shit. This is like training my brain to do a cold plunge.
So
see what I'm saying? Like this is the cold plunge.
Selfish follow-up.
Yeah.
You talked about all I want is growth, and even in your music, all you want is growth. I was listening to a podcast where he talks. This guy works with like high level, like athletes, investors, whatever, and he talks about the people who excel, the Tiger Woods types.
Yeah,
they don't perform for ego reasons. They don't do what they do for ego reasons. A lot of us do, and that's why like embarrassment, like bombing on stage as a comedian, is so fucking embarrassing.
Right.
Having an album flop, maybe. He talks about basketball players a lot of times, like. They don't want to miss free throws. It's just embarrassment. And that really hinders your growth if you're doing it for your ego. Because the ego is like, well, I don't want to get embarrassed.
Right.
The people who are the best of the best are in it just for mastery, and that's all they care about.
Yeah.
How do you, based on what I've researched from you, listened to with Santiago, you were ego initially, and now it's mastery. How do you uncouple yours? Because I'm in the process of trying to let go.
It's not that black and white. It's still a little bit of both.
Yeah.
But I'm in the process of shifting the trophy from ego to self-mastery. That's part of the work that I've been doing, and that's what Santiago's about, which is why the album ends on me singing "It Was You All Along."
Yeah. I love that.
It's because it's like everything you've been chasing is you.
Yeah.
You've been chasing yourself. You're chasing your tail this whole time.
Yeah.
And self-mastery is in my opinion, it's the only thing worth going after because it's a game we can all play. It's a trophy we can all win, and it doesn't matter who else is playing. We can all win it.
It's a weird thing though. Sometimes like having money allows you to reflect long enough to realize what you truly wanted the whole time.
Right.
People who don't have that, they're trying to...
They think that money's the answer.
Because in the moment, it is the answer to their rent. It's the answer to their food, taking care of their family. Like,
well, it's like it's the three basic like shelter, food, water.
Exactly.
It's like I can't think past that till those are covered.
Exactly.
But it's like the Jim Carrey commencement speech he gave. He's like, something. It's not this verbatim, but it's like, I wish everyone was rich and famous so they could figure out what they really want.
Exactly. He's right though.
It's the truth. It's like everyone, and I don't blame people because I get it. Because like you said, it's like we don't have shelter, food, or water.
Yep.
Right? But it's like, I wish everyone could get their money and get their shit straight. And then you'd really see what you actually want.
It's important to position it in that way because I know that there's probably people who watch and listen to hear people say these things and they're just like, man, shut the fuck up. You got everything.
Right.
And it seems almost like condescending when it's said, but there is a lot of game in there.
There's so much, bro.
And I like how Jim said it where it's just like, I can't wait for you to have all that money so that you start tapping away at the game.
And what's so funny is we talk about Jim Carrey as like a manifestation example where he wrote a $20 million check to himself when he was broke. And then he got paid $20 million for, I think, Ace Ventura 2. But nobody leaves out the part where he goes, you know, he still wasn't happy after that.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting thing.
Well, because it's like, once it's to his point, it's like you realize what you actually want.
Yeah, what makes you happy? Is it creating things you're proud of, or is it the people clapping?
Well, the reality for me, right, to what you were saying with Santiago, it's like I got, plaques and money and all this shit, and there was a hole still. And the hole was the fact that I didn't approve of myself. So it didn't matter that the plaques were approval. They were signs of validation. All these symbols of success, sold out shows, plaques, money, they're just symbols of success. Real success, it's an inside job. It's, do you approve of yourself? And I did it. And the reason why is because at a very, very young age, like most boys, your metric of success is your dad's approval. And for me, my dad's standard was perfection, an unmeetable goal. And so, therefore, I was never quite the standard.
So
and
felt like
as you grow
failure.
up, my dad's voice became my own voice. And so his metric became my metric, which ended up being I'm not good enough for myself no matter what I do, because it's not perfect.
Right.
And so
And it's a great motivator.
it's a great motivator. Oh, because you know why?
Keeps you
Because guess
moving.
what? Yeah, you went platinum.
You
Why
didn't
didn't you go
double
two?
platinum.
Yeah.
And so you'll keep succeeding. And from the outside looking in, it's like, damn, Russ, your work ethic's crazy. It's like, if only you knew what was driving the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a good energy driving the car.
Once you tell your manager,
This is my shadow. This is my shame self behind the driver's seat. I'm just like the little boy in the passenger seat, and the shame is driving like, you fucking loser.
So
I gotta get us all the way to double because you couldn't.
Right. So what do you do to make that shift? Like, are there active steps you're taking, writing affirmations?
Yeah,
What are some of things you're
the
doing?
active steps are, first of all, like, and I think this goes overlooked. Step one is awareness. Just even being aware that you're doing what you're doing. I just wasn't even aware that that's what I was doing, that was my process. So, like, step one is awareness. Step two is starting to, it's to modify the process. It's to interfere the negative self-talk.
Right.
It's to catch it. So when that shame and that shadow pops up and is like, not good enough, you got to tell yourself and tell that version of yourself, yo, chill. Like, I hear you. I know you just want the best, but we're not doing it like that anymore. But the first step is awareness, and a lot of people, me included, were just not even aware that I was like moving like that.
Yeah.
I thought it was all positive. I'm looking at my life. I'm like, plaques, money.
Right.
I'm doing pretty good, you know? But everything I'm doing must be right, especially when no one else around you is at the level you're at. You feel like you must be doing something.
Right.
That,
And also,
that like the
everybody-
average person,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
They all think you're doing something right.
Right. And so they're not going to tell you.
They don't want to help you. How could
well,
they help you?
well, they want to help you, but they
With
don't know
what?
how, because it's like,
It's working.
it's
got
working.
all-
So I don't know, bro. It's like, shit.
All the
Keep
external.
doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And keep in
Like,
mind, success.
you know how many times like
Yeah.
you dap somebody up as a successful person and they just say, keep doing what you're doing? It's like, nah. Like,
Yeah, 'cause it's not sustainable.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
still
not
angry. I'm still anxious.
No, it's not sustainable, because at some point you burn out. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And I talk about it in the book, and I talk about it with my mentor, but it's like dark motivation versus light motivation. And I was just driven by dark motivation, which is like fear-based. Like, I need to prove to everyone that I'm really who I am and who I think I am. And it's all this, like, it's very combative, and it's making enemies out of people and entities that don't even know they're enemies.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
It's not even real.
We've said it on here before, and it's like, I think we're just doing it wrong here. This American capitalist chasing after it. You go to these older societies in Europe where it's like, they get it.
Yeah.
They get it. They had the calm mind, the love in the home, the fit body. They got it already.
There's less ambition, for sure. There is less
But it's
ambition.
like happiness.
and that's
And an
it.
American will
But
go
that's
over there
the
and be like,
sacrifice.
how are you happy?
Yeah, y'all
I know.
losers.
I know.
Like,
broke boys.
look at your life.
Getting taxed
Brokey.
60%.
It's like,
So
what?
I lived in
Nah, but
Spain
they
for a
got it,
year,
bro.
and I had
Really?
I was living on like 10 euros a day. 5 of those euros were spent to get into a club, and I got a beer with the entrance fee.
Beautiful.
So the other 5 were like putting together the meal. We were cooking fucking the Spanish tortilla. Like, it was just great. We were living broke together. We were playing basketball, and it was awesome. And I remember having this moment there where I was like, man, I could do this forever. And I had to stop myself and be like, hold on. No, you got to go achieve things. You got to go do things. You got to go back and finish college. You got to, and I'm glad that I did. But to what you were saying was, I was at such peace with my life and with my friends and doing the things I wanted to do. It was something that I hadn't experienced in the same level back home.
And you were fishing already.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I was fishing,
Right.
but I'm glad that I was
Right.
able to go and chase success here, because I think sometimes the sacrifice that you make when you have a society or a culture that's built around that, which sometimes they could scrutinize ambition, and like, the people that aren't cool just fishing, they want to go fish in the deep sea. The people that just fishing start going, why? Well, you think you're better than
What do
us?
you need that for?
Yeah, well, you know, and sometimes you don't think you're better than them.
Yeah.
You just really want to see what fishing in the deep sea is about.
You just want to challenge yourself.
For you.
Yeah, for you.
And if you're doing it for you, I do think that is
No, I love that.
valuable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think everything should be for you. That's the whole key. It's
But figuring out what that is
that's
yeah.
the being in pursuit of progress. Is like, I've already caught the fish in this spot.
Yeah.
Can I catch a fish in the ocean? That's why for me it's like, you know, sometimes people get confused when they're like, well, why do you still want a Grammy? Well, because I don't have one. And that's progress. I don't want it so that y'all clap for me. I just want it to see progress. That's it.
But you see that as a form of validation?
Yeah.
No.
'cause
It's not validation. It's more so, it's a confirmation that progress has been had in a certain category. It's less about, see now, the intention is everything. If the intention behind it is, you know what, I want a Grammy because if I get a Grammy, y'all will fuck with me more. Now there's a negative intention around it. You're gonna get the Grammy and still be miserable because you don't improve it yourself.
If I can poke a hole, it is still progress that is it's other people deciding you've made progress. It's progress that's completely externally
Out of your control.
validated.
Yeah.
Right.
Externally validated specifically.
Yes, and that, you know what's so funny about that is when Santiago came out and Billboard like took away sales and I was so fucking pissed.
Wait, why'd they do that?
Complete horseshit. Because you're not allowed to, this is Billboard's rules, not even a lie. You can look it up on the internet. Billboard says you are not allowed to incentivize fans to buy albums. You know what that is?
What do you mean?
Marketing. Incentivize fans to buy albums is marketing.
Yeah.
It's literally in the rules. Luminate is the company that verifies the sales for Billboard. They're owned by the same company. Right? So I'm like, okay, that's insane because you are allowing fake streams.
Yeah.
And merch bundles. How does a merch bundle not incentivize
Yeah,
albums?
that's insane.
What was your incentive?
My incentive was if you buy a fucking album, you maybe get invited to a desert listening, whatever it is.
That's crazy.
That's incredible marketing.
Yeah.
Why am I not allowed to market?
A bundle is a tangible thing that every
A
single person
bundle
gets.
is incentivizing fans to buy an album.
Yeah.
So they took away sales, right? Real sales while allowing fake sales.
Great.
And I remember hitting my mentor. I'm like, bro, this is such bullshit. They're taking away my progress. And he said, no, they're taking away the external knowing of your progress, but they can never take away your internal knowing of your progress. And I thought that was really profound. And to your point with the Grammys, it's like, yeah, that is out of my control, which is why I can't place too much, I can't personalize it too much.
Fair enough.
But but there is something valuable about having a mountain to climb.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's ambition, purpose.
Yeah, so it's like, it's a good mountain to climb, but depersonalize it.
So just to clarify.
I won't take it personally when this doesn't get nominated for a Grammy or whatever. Is it a absolutely okay mountain to have? You just want to see progress?
Right.
Sure.
Okay.
But don't personalize it to the point that, well, if I don't get it, then I'm a failure.
But so just to clarify,
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
album itself represents the progress.
Correct.
Not the
Correct.
sales, not
No,
whether it's
the fact that I made it.
The fact that you made it.
The fact that I made it.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I always tell people. It's like certain songs, it's like, bro, this song was already a success before it went out.
Yeah.
Because I made what I wanted to make.
Yeah.
I already won.
But when the thing that you want to make receives an amazing response,
It's
it
a
is
double
an
win.
euphoric feeling.
Oh, yeah, because
you feel like your artistic integrity is intact and the people are appreciating you for your most authentic self. That's the fucking...
No, it's incredible. It's incredible.
What song on this album was your biggest win just by putting it out?
I Love You, Boy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
the
remember
one.
you saying
Yeah,
that was really
that's the
hard to
one.
write.
Yeah, I mean, that was the one where, you know, the whole album was me doing sessions with my mentor and him giving me exercises. Because, you know, I won't even lie, the first session we did, I felt bad. Because I was like, man, the whole time you're talking, and I told him this, I said, the whole time you're talking, I'm thinking of songs I can write about this shit.
Yeah.
And I felt bad. I felt like I was like almost using the situation. And he was like, no. Allow the creative side of you to come along for the journey. You know, and I learned that the creative part of me is sort of the part of me that tries to make sense of all the other parts of me. So he would give me these exercises, and he would never say, write a song. He would just journal. He said, you can journal in the form of a journal, a poem, a song, lyrics, whatever you want. Of course, naturally, I'm always going to revert to the medium that
You do.
is most familiar with. So so many times we would do a session on Zoom and I would do all the sessions in the studio right next to the mic because it just feels safe for me. And I'd get off the session and go right onto the mic. And that was I Love You Boy. I Love You Boy was like, the exercise was, I want you to journal and give your inner child the empathy that you wish you got when you were a kid. And that was I Love You Boy. And to me, it's the hardest song I had to write because I had to be honest about feeling embarrassed about certain moments of my career, like in an interview where I drank too much and I said ridiculous shit or, you know, just whatever. And it was like, damn, man, like just having to be honest, like, you know what?
I think it gets way more vulnerable than that.
You fucked up? Oh, no, it's way more, but it's like...
a great self-reflection.
Just having to confront things that I've never had to confront and be honest with, like...
What you want. And what you did want before.
What I
wanted.
wanted...
A lot of times we're embarrassed of that.
What I want and what happened, and the shame.
Yeah.
The shame that's attached to wanting something to happen so bad and wanting to be this perfect version of yourself, and you didn't hit the mark all the time. And having to be honest with yourself, like, yeah, you know what, you did fuck up. But you don't need to beat yourself to fuck up. Like, give yourself perpetual punishment. And that's what I've done to myself is like...
I do that.
Well, you would if you're a perfectionist, if that was put on you.
Yeah.
If it's not perfect, then it's a failure.
And so now you see the connection, which is why I put out the song Perfectionist, because it's like, that perpetual punishment comes from being a perfectionist, because it's like, you know what? You fucked up, and that was then. But this is now, and I'm going to let you know that you really fucked this up for us.
Yeah, I legit think
this. Oh, sorry. Being this vulnerable and putting that much substance in your music, I was just curious. How did you feel about when Mos Def said Drake is surface level target music? Because I feel like this is the thing. That's one of those things people have been asking of Drake for quite a while. Like, yo, we want to know more about you. Like,
I think
going
Drake,
on?
One, I think Drake has that in his music.
Yeah.
Two, I think the world is entitled. I think the world is entitled. Naturally, I think social media has made people very entitled because we see your Instagram. Sometimes we wake up with you and we go to sleep with you. And it gives us this parasocial, the word, what is that term where it's like...
Parasocial relationship?
Yeah, it's just this weird, like, where we're best friends even though we don't actually fucking know you and we expect all these, you know, entrances into your life. And it's like, yo, we don't know you and you don't owe us anything that you don't want to give us. And social media has ruined that. Social media has made people feel like we are entitled to know the ins and outs of your thought process on any and everything that has to do with you. And if you don't give it to us, we feel like you're bullshitting, fake, you're this. And it's like, bro, these people are artists and they give you what they want to give you. And if you don't fuck with it, next song. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I feel like, one, Drake has that depth.
How would you break down hip-hop? What is hip-hop? Because Mos Def was saying that's not hip-hop. I would think that's hip-hop, but... I
mean, the way I got introduced to hip-hop was like, it's intelligent movement. That's what it is. So I understand the perspective of like, you want there to be some sort of intelligence behind the lyrics and not just sort of filler and fluff. But the reality is like, shit changes. And disclaimer, I'm not in any position to speak on what is and what isn't hip hop because I'm white, straight up. But
you're still a hip hop artist.
Yeah, but the reality is, well, I'm ushered in. I'm a guest. You know what I mean? He gave me like a +1. I was the +1.
You got a pass.
Yeah.
You got not that pass. But you got a different pass.
Right. I got the +1 pass, but like at any given moment, all the +1s get out. No, but it's like I think hip hop went from counterculture and underground to it's the most popular shit in the world. So naturally, it went from people doing hip hop to express and rebel to make money. And Jay-Z talks about it in his Breakfast Club where, you know, there was a shift that happened where hip hop became a get-rich-quick scheme. And rap became a get-rich-quick scheme. And when that happened, of course you're going to lose the art because people aren't doing it for the art anymore. They're doing it for the bag. So it's like once you realize that, once again, it's just letting go of the resistance. It's like, look, if I can just accept the fact that this shit got so big, which was the goal, that it's now become a plausible financial scheme, okay, well now I have to accept that there's going to be some people who are not doing it for the art, they're doing it for the bag. And what a great place that, you know, we've gotten hip hop and rap to a place where it's so lucrative that people don't even have to be about it for the art.
They're there for the money.
They're there for the money, and there's still a bag in it. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but that it just comes with the dinner. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
and that's not just hip hop. That's anything that gets popular. You're
Of
oftentimes
course.
shackled to the bag, and then once you find something that's lucrative and it provides a living for yourself, a lot of people don't want to move away from that. There's comfort from that living.
Of course. It's also on the people, bro. This whole fucking notion, it's so irritating. It's like, can we stop acting like there's this big fucking ploy to like only push a certain kind of music?
The truth is more boring.
The truth is
It's
more...
always more
Here's
boring.
what the truth is. The truth is, in general, society is attracted to negativity more than positivity.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So guess what? Negative music glorifying negative behaviors and lifestyles will always feel a little sexier because it's a little more dangerous than peace, love, and prosperity. You know what I'm saying?
We're drawn
It's
to danger, bro.
That's just what it is. That's just what it is. And I mean,
if you're in the forest and you hear some branches break or some leaves rustle, you look around.
now the real shit that no one wants to talk about, that if I talk about it, I'll probably get canceled. That'll be just the end of us. But
Go.
whatever. It's really what I think people should be like looking into is white people's fascination with black trauma.
Ooh.
That is, to me,
Talk to us.
is
talk
very
to it.
bizarre because
Black people are also fascinated with black trauma.
that
I
makes
think.
more sense because it lands and it resonates. White people are fascinated with black trauma because it's exciting to them because it's over there.
Okay.
But they can get close enough to experience it. But guess what? When it gets a little too real, they go home.
So let me
And so
ask-
they can
yeah,
they can participate from a distance.
from the safe distance. Let me ask you this though.
In mob movies,
That-
like
that-
this.
my push.
No, come on, we can't.
No, you're actually in a good place to,
I
to
think
speak on this.
I think the mob movie rap correlation is such a reach.
I wouldn't make it mob movie.
I'll tell you why. Because mob movies, yes, they're based off of something real, but it's also very clear that majority of it is fiction. There's not that many of them, right? Rap, the whole attractiveness of rap is that it's real. It's not that it's fiction. They're not playing characters. That's the appeal, right? Especially, like, I can speak on this at least, is because I was a white boy in the suburbs.
Yeah.
So I saw firsthand what people like me were attracted to. It was that it felt real. It was dangerous.
It was dangerous.
It was over
Yeah.
there. And whoa, like he's really, like you see his face tats and like, yo, he just said he like slid on this op and
Yeah.
whoa, that's crazy. And you get close enough where you're like, yo, you see they're fighting over there. And then it gets a little too close to the railing and you're like, yo, we gotta get out of here.
But
And that's it.
We are,
That's it.
I
That's
think-
the reality. And like to me, that is the perplexity of rap.
The
me.
pushback I would give is that I think that, like you said, the umbrella is danger. We're drawn to danger. Like Jackass, the MTV show, is danger, right? These
No,
people are going to
see.
go prank people. Hold on, let me get
go
there.
ahead,
They're going to go prank people, and they're going to make people feel really uncomfortable, and something that I would never do. I can't believe this is so embarrassing, but they're going to put themselves in that position to embarrass them. Eric Andre, for example, does these great stunts, and you're like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. I would feel so uncomfortable if I was that person in that environment, but I'm drawn to it. I can't look away. There is a fascination with the dangerous. There
In
is,
general,
even
for
in
sure,
like
for
the way that we're attracted to like anime or even kung fu movies. And I think like white and black people were attracted to this Asian thing that was like dubbed over, and we're still like, these are some badass motherfuckers. Maybe they're going out and killing all these
I
people.
love
Maybe
this
they
point you're
shouldn't.
making because this is a conversation me and my boy have had.
Okay, so I think that there is an attraction to the dangerous.
Yes.
And we exalt those figures that are willing to do these dangerous things. UFC fighters, boxers, like the things that we fear. A bare knuckle street fighter, Kimbo Slice, you made himself, but we also made him a celebrity simply off the fact that he was knuckling up in the backyard in Miami. So I think that we are drawn to these figures that are willing to do the things that we don't. And rappers specifically are rapping about these things that we're terrified of, but we are really intrigued by. And
I agree 100%. Everything you said, I agree. And you know what? This is what I think. I think rappers who are rapping about a certain traumatic experience and black lifestyle that's particular and specific to them, it's appealing to other people who have felt those same traumas and have been through that, right? To white people, we're just attracted to the danger.
Danger, yeah.
Why? It's because 21 Savage is John Wick to white boys.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the reality. Rappers are the new action heroes.
Yeah.
To white people.
Yeah.
But to black America, rappers are, you're speaking our trauma, and it lands for us, and it resonates, right? But to white boys, which is like, the reality is the main consumer.
We're interpreting it correctly, though. The black people aren't.
No,
because the rappers are lying, so we're treating you like the liar, which is John Wick.
Well,
not necessarily because
if they lying,
if they lying, then we stop fucking with them. If
No,
you
that's
really
not
about
true.
that life,
how many of these rappers are lying and we still fuck with them?
Here, like,
No, but it would still be the difference between an action movie and a movie that's a drama.
I hear what you're saying.
The main consumer, when I say consumer, I mean the people putting money into it. The main consumer, the main ticket buyer of rap is a white boy, right? Those people are there not because the content lands. They're saying the N-word. They're there because they're getting to watch John Wick up close. Meanwhile, John Wick is on stage like, this is real trauma. This is not a lie. No, now,
if he is.
Okay, well, now when we go down that road, right? Here's my issue with it. Let's go down that road. So you're lying about being John Wick. Okay. If you're lying about being John Wick, promoting a negative lifestyle.
Speak on it.
For commercial gain.
Speak on it.
To me, that's fucked up. Now, if this is really your lifestyle and you're just expressing your trauma, I respect it. But if you're lying, it's a little fucked up. And so here's the real question to me. The real question is, are you publicly admitting to crimes you commit, which makes you dumb? Or are you lying about a negative lifestyle, which makes you a little evil? Which one is it?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Maybe a little, guess what?
It usually starts somewhere and they're like, hey, this is my truth. And then they get a little money. They distance themselves from it, but now they can still speak on experiences that they lived. That
they had. Which I think, like I said, when it's real to you, I think by all means, I think the policing of rappers' actual real life trauma is fucked. Let them talk about what they went through, right? I think if you're making this shit up because you know what's popular is to talk about sliding on ops and popping perks, I think you're evil.
But that isn't that what you also just said? Of any time something becomes the culture, there's going to be people who just try to profit off of it, and that's okay.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's not fucked up.
Yeah.
Yes, they're doing that, but that's fucked up.
Now, what if they said, hey, Russ, you probably embellish things about your life and your music.
I don't, in fact.
Nothing?
Nothing.
There's no line about fucking bitches that you didn't exactly do?
No.
God damn.
I'll tell you.
All these bodies are counted for.
Let's take a break from this podcast and bring you Blue Chew so you can fuck bitches like Russ does in his music.
You see these blue lights, baby? You know what that means? It's Blue Chew time. Fellas, if you have a subpar dick game, like some of us, Blue Chew is how you elevate it. That's how you step it up. First of all, it's got the same active ingredients and all those other hard dick medicines, but this one is chewable, so it releases even faster. And because it's Flagrant and they love us and we love them, you got a free offer, all right? You get to try Blue Chew for free if you use the promo code Flagrant at checkout. All you gotta do is pay $5 for shipping. That's free Blue Chew at BlueChew.com. Use the promo code Flagrant and you get your first month for free. Just pay $5 for shipping. Again, BlueChew.com. Promo code Flagrant. Read all the safety information and stuff just to make sure, but, you know, your boys have all used it and it worked out great. So thank you, Blue Chew, for sponsoring this podcast. Let's get back to the show.
I'll tell you, the only thing I ever lied about on a rap song was on Kill Them All, and I called my business manager and he talked me out of it, was on Kill Them All when I mentioned, like, something, like, run over these bloggers in my Lambo. And I swear to God, I'll call my business manager right now. I said, bro, like, I don't have a Lambo. I have a McLaren. Like, I think I should buy a Lambo. So I just lined this I swear to God, I swear on my mom's life, on everyone's life. That was the only time I ever lied to my raps.
Wow.
And in fact, if we listen, maybe I changed the line, but yeah, that was the only time I ever lied because I'm not making music to persuade y'all. I'm making music for me. Right. So if I'm not really doing the drugs or if I'm not really having the trauma, I'm not pushing it.
Okay,
and
but you
that's my
say
issue.
it's a negative thing, but we have movies like movies are
bro,
fiction.
we
Movies
can't-
are
no, we
entertainment.
There's a difference
Listen,
between
hold
saying
on, hold on,
this
hold
is my
on.
life
I
and
love,
this is fiction.
I love this debate. I love this debate because it doesn't land. I'll tell you why. There's no leg to stand on. Movies are under the notion that it's fiction, like you said. When you watch Scarface, you're going into the theater like, I'm about to watch a story. The appeal to rap is that it's real. In fact, to the point that rappers make it a point to say that they're real. So you can't, that whole notion of like, nah.
But that's the thing. It's like you're selling art. So
No,
if
no,
I have a stage name,
You're
I have a
absolving-
persona.
You're
and
absolving
it's like,
accountability. You're absolving accountability.
I don't think so.
I think
I
you
don't
are
think-
because the reality is that's fine, but then make it clear that it's the WWE. But don't go out of your way to
WWE doesn't make it clear it's WWE.
That's a great point.
Never, a
That's a
rap,
great point.
They
wrestler has
received a
never
lot of
said-
criticism for it.
Watch,
It
but
doesn't matter. No one says what they're doing is bad.
No, WWE makes it clear to the people who, like, at a certain age, you know Santa Claus isn't real.
WWE has never said publicly these are staged.
That's actually-
Of course.
If you have
but
eyeballs, you know.
But what
Like,
I'm, but
you
what
know
I'm
the difference
saying,
between someone's-
And I feel the same way when you see a
Bro,
rapper.
no,
It's
no,
like if you have eyeballs, you know this shit is bullshit.
No, but
That's
no,
exactly how I feel
okay.
about rap.
No,
I think,
but realistically,
Go ahead.
right?
Yeah.
A lot of the appeal of rap. This is what I'm saying because when you keep in mind that the main consumer is a white boy who thinks it's real, you have to understand that the appeal is that it is real. So like, even though they're not saying it, they're not saying it. You see what I'm saying? It's like the whole appeal of like this slide on op music is like, yo, I think they really are. And a lot of them really are.
But wrestling's that. Like people
No,
thought
but
Stone
rap
Cold
is- no,
hung
but
out with his
rap
friends
is-
and went like
no,
that,
but rap
drink
is,
his bitch.
Rap is not wrestling.
Here's
That
what-
was,
I wouldn't
Here's what
compare
I would
the
say.
appeal of rap was that it was not wrestling. The appeal
was
of rap
real.
was that it was real.
Reality
Everyone
rap,
is under
right.
the notion that it's real.
I understand the point.
I know because we're all grown
No,
men that
NWA
it's not real, but I'm saying the appeal
A
is
lot
that
of
it's
people
real.
still believe it's real, and also there are rappers.
It's still
who
real to
live
me,
that
damn it.
life.
Have you seen that WWE?
I think 70%
It's
of
still
people
real.
at a wrestling show think that shit is real.
No, it's not
Well-
70%, but here's what it is.
I
All the
dare,
kids
I
there.
dare
All
any
the
of y'all
kids
to come
there.
out
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I dare any of y'all to come out and say one of these rappers is lying about the shit they're rapping about.
I think what
because
it
that
is-
rapper will die on a hill defending the shit they're making.
Here's
up.
the
That's the
thing.
other thing.
I
They
think most of
defend-
us know. I
they
think
say they're telling the
It's
truth.
much
That's
like
what I'm
Keeping up
saying.
the persona.
it's like wrestling
Staying
in
in
that we
character.
know at a certain age you know it's fake, but we all just kind of, and I can't speak for black people, but I think the rest of us kind of buy into, look, we know most of this is bullshit, but let's all pretend it's real because it's just a fun thing, like wrestling. It's just a fun
because
storyline
then-
we're all buying into, and I can't speak for the black consumer, but I think most of us at a certain age know most of these rappers ain't doing nothing. They got fucking
Yes.
Roth IRAs or whatever investment accounts,
Now-
and we're all buying into this game.
Oh, I would say,
We have aged out of the audience that is influenced the most by rap. We've aged out. So you're talking, right? We're talking amongst each other as grown men who understand that it's not Santa who's bringing the presents. The audience that's most influenced by rap thinks it's real. And the issue that I have is that if it is not real, don't push it because it's negative. Now, if what you're pushing is positive and it's not real, push it by all means.
that's Santa Claus.
Santa Claus isn't real, but it's positive. Y'all shit isn't real, but it's negative. And you're not even living it? Nicki spoke on Future saying when I talked to Future, he told me he wasn't even doing the drugs that he talks about in the songs. I think Future's music is amazing. I'm grown enough to have the discernment to say, man, this shit is, Stick to the Models is like my favorite shit, right?
Russ, watch your mic.
Sorry. Stick to the Models by Future is my favorite shit, right? But I also know that the reason why I wanted to try Lean when I was 19 was
'cause you were listening
Future.
to Future, yeah.
Was
I get
Future.
it. And I don't
I'm
wanna-
not gonna blame him. That like I'm
Not
I'm
the
grown.
drug shit. I did think the drug shit was real. I knew the slide on ops wasn't, but
the drug shit.
No,
Kinda
I'll,
what-
I'll
but-
tell you why the drug shit can't be real. Because
Not at
you
the
cannot
extent of what
you
he was
can't
saying
do that
he was
many
doing.
drugs
Exactly.
and live this
Yes.
long.
Okay, but not to advocate
Which is why
for
when
negative.
Juice WRLD said, I started doing these drugs because of you, we have seen it live in the flesh. Juice WRLD said, I did drugs because of you. Juice WRLD died of a drug overdose by following somebody who does not even do the drugs that they said they did.
Valid point, yeah.
What the fuck are we talking
Nah,
about? Everyone wants to
that's fair.
tiptoe around the fucking, because certain people are Teflon and you can't talk on certain
why
shit.
is there a defensiveness around this, Al? What do you think that is?
Because people are trying to protect free speech, even if this free speech is negative.
I don't think it's free
and
speech.
Yes, it is. That's
No, I think it's a cultural.
That's what it is. It's like, oh, we should be able to say what we say.
No, I
you
don't think
can,
it's
but then
free
also
speech.
face the
Nah,
consequences.
I think
do
it's
think-
cultural success, and I think
No,
it's like.
I think it's.
I think it's
I think it's. We should be able to say
should
what
be
we
able
can
to be an
say,
artist, yeah.
but then that's fine. But you cannot absolve yourself of the accountability when you have to face the consequences of your actions, and when the chickens come home to roost. When Juice WRLD, who did drugs because of you, dies, that is a real moment of reflectiveness that needs to happen within the culture.
That's
Oh,
a great
real quick. No, question.
That's the reality. Am I
but
tripping?
No,
Hold on.
you're not. But I don't think
When-
anyone like.
When Alex Jones or when Tucker Carlson or any of these dudes that were supposed to be taken on face value, right, as like news sources and they were telling the truth, when they back up and they go, I'm just doing this for entertainment, they get ridiculed.
Yeah.
How dare you manipulate all these people?
Right.
But what I'm saying is you could make the same argument that Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, or any
No,
of these
because
guys are
presenting yourself
rappers.
as news is different.
Right. I see what, no, but I see where you're going.
You won me over with Juice WRLD, but you can't go news because news is news. It is. I'm presenting this as news for you to consume as facts.
But you have to
and you should
understand,
operate with
to a
this as-
17-year-old,
This is my life. How is
to
that
a
different?
17-year-old, a rapper is giving them news on the culture.
But it's
the same thing,
It's
like-
candy news. It's like sports is real.
No, but like rappers
my
are
life.
the
I think
fucking.
we're kind of arguing two things. Like, no one's trying to absolve rappers like influence. Like, a parent should raise their kids.
For sure.
Kids can look up to somebody
For
and be
sure.
influenced by, but at
Yeah.
the end of the day, it's up to the parents to raise your kid.
I agree.
So it's like this artist should be able to be an artist. If they
agree.
are actually, and we gotta can't act like this shit isn't going on. Yes, there are some rappers that are fronting, but there are rappers that really are about that life.
sure.
Like we see it happening.
For
we see
sure.
Chicago. We see
For sure.
there are. So it's like you can't put all the onus on the
No.
artist.
And for a disclaimer, I'm not talking about the ones who are actually talking. Like I said, I'm not talking about the ones who are actually talking
No,
about
but
the
even the
trauma.
ones that aren't.
No, but see, that's where you have to start raising an eyebrow of like, this is a little bit evil, because if you are purposely choosing to promote a negatively influential lifestyle that you yourself are not even
take
living,
that part in,
this
yeah.
is fucked up. I'm not talking about the ones who are like, yo,
yeah, I'm
like,
not advocating
I really,
for it. I'm
like,
not
I
saying-
really lived this. I did X, Y, and Z. I'm using my music as a journal to talk about it. Let them express what they express. The ones who are not doing it, but they're doing it because it makes money, and then they have blood on their hands.
I'm going to
it's
further
fucked up. There's no
reinforce
way
the
to slice that.
stereotypes of the black community from my personal gain.
And to their
Yes, that's
point,
a crazy intro.
and
But that's essentially what the criticism is. It's like, if you are living these things, that's incredibly unfortunate, and you were born into a situation you probably couldn't avoid, and you should be able to speak on your experience. But if you did not live them at all, you are further reinforcing the stereotypes of the black community just so you personally can
Get money.
while those
That's
people
the definition
continue
of
to
selling your
suffer.
soul.
Yes.
That's the
And
definition
I
of
think
selling your
that's
soul.
I think that criticism is
okay,
good.
but to what we're all talking about, because what I've heard from a lot of people sitting here is, well, but it's WWE. Okay, so what we're saying, what I hear is that majority of rappers have sold their soul, but it's okay because it's art.
No, I'm saying.
I will say also to his point, it's not just negative reinforcement. It sets up a negative reward system where you think to yourself, if I want to make it, I got to be one
I
of the
have to
real
do-
guys. Not even fake it. I got to be real. Otherwise, if I get my card called,
Bro, this shit
I'm
is-
phony.
I just think
might have to live that life.
I think it's a little hypocritical to just call out that, because this happens in society everywhere. There are people that are selling cancer to you. There's people that are like tobacco industry.
Well, I wouldn't say it's hypocritical. I would just say it's hyper.
But there's a lot
If
that
you
don't.
work for Philip
McDonald's
Morris-
like are killing people
I
every
know, but
single day,
okay,
and
yeah,
it's like
but-
nobody's calling this shit out.
I
like,
know, but that's like that tweet where it's like, if you say you don't like oranges, someone's like, what? So like pineapples just get off the. it's like
multiple things
we're
can
talking,
be wrong.
Yes.
We're talking about
McDonald's has
music.
received so much criticism, bro. There's been so many documentaries. Super Size Me is a documentary. Like, there's constant
No, but we're talking
criticism.
about- we're
But at the
talking
end of the
about
day,
music
we're talking about artists
talking about music.
that are putting out bad music, and it's up to the people at home who consume that music how they live their life listening to it. If you're raised right and you know we can all listen to a Future song and not be influenced by it.
Yeah.
You said, hey,
That's
it
'cause
made
we're
you-
grown now.
Yeah, but
But
if
do you
your
think-
parents were a little bit closer to you, they wouldn't have let you have access to that
No,
lean.
no, no, no.
You might have wanted to try it,
No,
but
let's pump the brakes, right? We were all 19 once, right?
Yeah.
At some point, you're outside of your parents' supervision. So at 19, when I'm like first dabbling into music, I'm drinking, I'm smoking weed, Future's going crazy, he's dropping Tony Montana. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. And especially in Atlanta, it was a different time. You know what I mean?
You're sitting next to two people that have never done drugs, didn't have sex before marriage.
But
so
everyone's
not everybody's influenced by what they.
I agree, but to your point, not everyone is influenced by what they're, but some people are. So you can't just write
put
up
it on the artist.
Also, Alex,
real quick.
What I'm saying is you can't just say, well, these two people weren't influenced, so it's not at all on the artist.
Hold on.
Even though these
one
two,
second, one point.
even though someone like Juice WRLD literally told Future himself, I started doing lean because of you.
1 point. Let's say there's.
We can't absolve that.
Let's say
I'm
that
not saying
there's.
it's absolute. Yes, there's some.
It's not
some
that black and white.
yes.
Let's say that there's zero influence, right? Let's say it doesn't impact a single person. Like nobody does drugs because of it, nothing, right? Everything's the same, society doesn't change at all. You could still go, you are profiting off of a trauma that is not yours, that you are also reinforcing a negative stereotype, even if it doesn't turn into anything.
That's true too.
You still are profiting off
I agree.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like
that's kind of where I was coming from at first, which is
It's an icky way to make money,
if
but
it's not your
you have
real
the-
life,
you could argue
to me,
that
it's-
that's the culture vulture. I'm just saying.
I
like,
don't know. I agree. It's an icky way to make money, but there's a lot of people that
Dude,
make
this is
money.
where
I know,
This is where
well,
you're
because
missing
you're
the mark.
deflecting.
Hold on,
We're
Russ,
deflecting.
Russ. This is
We're
where you're missing the mark. Nobody ever says somebody who works for Philip Morris didn't sell his soul. You sell cigarettes. You made it a point to sell cigarettes to kids. You sold your fucking soul. Nobody, if you call a cigarette company, is gonna be like, bruh, what about drug dealers? Nah, motherfucker, it's you. You sold your soul. So I just don't like that whataboutism of, well, what about these other? We're not calling them out. Of course we call them. We call them all the fucking time.
Everybody
if
gets
you're
called out.
McDonald's and you decided we don't even
Everybody
eat real
gets
chicken,
called out.
you sold your fucking soul. Ray Kroc sold his fucking soul.
Yes.
Y'all
And
sold your soul.
I
We
will
call them all
agree.
out.
I will agree. It's an icky way to make money, but at the same time, I think you have the liberty of being an artist where it's like, hey, you get to make whatever type of art you want to make. If it's not positive art, then don't consume it.
Or just
I
admit
agree.
you lying.
No, I
just
agree.
admit you're playing a character.
Look.
wrestlers don't have to.
I think to close it out, I think make what you want to make, but also don't absolve yourself of accountability when it comes down to like, yo, if you're talking about something that's negative and pushing something that's negative that you didn't actually do or live, but you're doing it because that makes money, you sold your soul.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
We can agree.
And just own it.
Yeah.
And just own it.
We can agree on
But
that.
like this
Absolutely.
whole notion that like, nah, chill, people should be able to talk about what they talk. Oh yeah, you can. But guess what? You're also not exempt from. It's criticism for selling your soul.
The Juice WRLD thing completely flipped me. I only thought about violence.
That
and
is
I
the
think both of
that
us
is
know better,
that's
and
not
that's
my
a fucking
that's
death.
not my opinion.
Yeah.
That is documented.
Yeah.
He told him that. And Nicki is in interviews saying, I think it was to Joe Budden, saying that Future told her that he doesn't do the drugs that he talks about. So it's like that to me, like I said, I have a whole Future playlist because I'm grown and I can like, use discernment, but it's like, dog, when you see somebody like Juice WRLD, who their introduction to it was because you glorified it, that's gotta feel crazy.
But then it's also, hey, where's Juice WRLD's parents, friends?
No, bro,
family?
because
where's the people around you that are like, stop?
Because then we're acting like,
failed him.
then we're acting
They also
like,
failed
no,
him.
that's
So,
not true.
yes,
No,
like you can't put it all
because then we're
on the
acting,
artist.
no,
It's
because
not
then
only
we're-
Future's
no,
fault, like
because then
other
we're acting
things.
like none of us were 19 before, where even if you had good parents, you just didn't want to be 19 and wild out because that shit
Yes,
sounded cool.
There are 19-year-olds that didn't
but
want to wild
I know,
out.
but then the ones who
They're the
did,
vast minority, though.
no, but minority.
And you can argue the foundation is set by the parents. and you
Listen,
should have the
minority and
foundation there.
majority is irrelevant. The fact that there are 19-year-olds who chose to wild out because they heard he was wilding out, even though he wasn't wilding out, cannot just be ignored for the sake of an argument. That still has to be like, yo, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
We're not saying that's the whole blame. We're not saying that that's what's wrong with the world. But there needs to be accountability. It can't just be like,
What if
all
Michael
right,
Jordan
so some
never
people
wore
died.
Jordans?
Big deal.
we
It
agree.
can't just be that, because that's the alternative. The alternative is like, so what? So somebody died because he followed what he said. Big deal. Where
You
was
can-
his parents?
you-
It can't be that.
You could
It
also
can't be.
argue it's worse from an artist than it is from a Philip Morris, because at least I know those guys are just trying to make money. Art is supposed to be art. The art that hurts people, that you're just saying, no, I'm just trying to make money and calling it art, and that's kind of like, as an artist, fuck you a little bit.
Yeah, but the
and
guys...
I was on your side.
True.
20 minutes ago.
But the guys at Philip Morris were spending money trying to convince people that this isn't bad for you.
Dude, they're bad
At
too.
the same
They're bad
time,
too. But you could
they were
argue,
lying to
but
you
to
and
defend the
convincing-
artist and be like, dude, that's art. I'm telling you, as an artist, if your art is killing people and it's not even real to you, I could argue that's even scummier. And you can
agree.
hear the vitriol
Right
I
there.
have for these cigarette
That's
companies.
crazy.
These are monsters. You could argue. To say you can't argue that is wild.
No,
you
I'm
can't
just
argue
saying,
that.
it's
That's in the guise of art. I'm having people killed is worse than, hey, here's a product that I'm selling as a product and a consumer good that's killing people. Because I know you're a greedy fuck. I know you. I clock you as a greedy cocksucker trying to drive up a airport. That's also what corporations are.
I just think we're coddling humans to be like, oh, well, you don't have the wherewithal to know that you shouldn't do the thing that
No,
you're
we're not
listening
coddling.
to.
We're just saying there is also accountability.
I think we are underestimating the societal pressures to just be amongst and just be 18 and be 19 and
But
like
why can you be 18 and 19 and watch John Wick and not want to go out shooting everybody?
no see
Why do you
no,
have that
no, no,
wherewithal?
see,
but
this
then you can
correlation
listen
John
to
Wick
a-
isn't a documentary.
It's
no,
sold
no,
as
hold on.
doesn't
fiction.
matter.
No,
Like,
it does,
why do you have the wherewithal
no,
to
bro,
know that
come on,
that
bro,
was
You
bro,
know,
bro, bro,
you know
bro,
that
whoa, whoa,
you're
whoa,
aware of the difference
no,
between
that,
a movie.
that to me exactly. Hold on,
Right?
hold on.
It came on screen.
Hold
it was
on,
like, yo,
hold
this
on.
is real.
Let me talk because I hate that analogy. I always have because it's acting as if it's like gaslighting to me. It's trying to make it seem like Future is John Wick. No. We got
I think
introduced
Future is John Wick.
because you're grown. Guess who is the
never
majority
heard
of
a
his...
Future lyric that made me want to do the thing.
that. No, hold on.
This is
Hold on,
important.
hold on.
When I was younger.
This is important.
No,
when I was
but- no,
listening
but-
to
no,
March
but bro,
Madness, I did not.
DMX though.
Bro, but hold on.
Keanu Reeves exists.
Hold on.
Keanu Reeves exists.
No, bro.
It's over.
No, this shit, like, to
Nah,
just...
I got
This is a
to-
guy that was
no,
influenced by DMX as a
listen,
teenager.
Yeah, that's
to
true.
act like, come on, dog. To
Nah.
act like
You got
rappers are literally made up action heroes would then insult the integrity of rap.
Yeah.
So, because guess what?
It should be.
Hold on. So, which one is it? Is Future and 21 Savage, are they Gangstalicious? Are they John Wick? Or are they who they say they are? Which one?
What's Gangstalicious? That
From
would be-
Boondocks, which was a dude who was playing and portraying the role of a gangster rapper, but it got defrauded throughout the episode.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in
Okay.
hip-hop.
I agree, but what I'm saying is that you can't blame the consumer for not seeing through the image that they've been presented and saying, well, y'all are just dumb, and absolving accountability of the person who's perpetrating the fraud.
And I
that to
also-
me is crazy
But I
gaslighting.
think you can't blame the artist
Yes, you
for
can, 'cause
saying,
that's
like,
chapter
hey,
one.
you're putting out this
No,
message.
dog.
but
Chapter one is
they
being-
didn't have the
Hold on,
wherewithal to be
no.
like, hey, I'm
No,
not
bro.
going to be influenced by the message.
hold on
that's
one
in there.
second.
That's almost like this. Back to the Morocco story.
Yeah.
That's me selling you a fake rug and blaming you for buying the
buying-
fake
you should
rug.
know-
Why am I selling the fake rug? I'm at
Future's
chapter
not
one.
telling anybody to go out and do drugs. He's just saying what he
Dog,
does.
do you know what a
He don't
cosign
go
is?
tell you,
A
yo,
cosign-
guys, everybody go out and do
But
it.
Bro,
he doesn't
people
do
are,
it.
people are what they do, not
Doesn't
what
matter.
they say.
But he's
does.
saying what
No,
his
come
experience.
on,
He's not advocating for
Bro,
you to go
people
out
are
and
what.
shoot people.
Yes, bro. Do you know how a cosign works? Kids move off of what you do, not what you say.
There's a reason influencers get paid,
So
right?
it's like your
But
lifestyle.
they're selling it. They're
Listen,
saying you should get this fit tee.
bro, it's not
Unless
that
it's
black
their
and white.
brand,
It's
they're
not
walking
like,
around in it, but yeah.
Look, put it like this. I don't need to promote tequila on this podcast with my words. If you just see me pour it, it promotes it.
True.
So to act like Future's not telling people or what, it's like, come on, bro.
Well, can I ask a question? Here's a question. And you guys answer it. If Future said, hey, I just want to let you guys know, this is a character that I play.
He's never gonna say
No,
that.
I'm saying
It would lose it all.
You're giving your answer.
Yeah.
So if Future can say, this is a character I play, I just want to let you know my character's Future. He does all this gangster shit, does all these drugs. That's not who I am. I went to Cornell. I studied business in there and studied music, and I'm an amazing musician, and I just choose to play this character. Here's the music. Do you think that his music would be more consumed or more popular if he was honest and said that, or if he was like, no, I am that character. This is who I am. You'll never see me break that character, and I do all those things. What would make his music more successful?
Is a magician so more attractive once you know how they do the tricks?
No, he sucks once you know how
No
to do
kidding.
the trick.
So exactly, they're never going to admit how they do.
If that's the case, then
Yes.
he is profiting off of the illusion, whether the
Yes,
kids do it or not.
of course.
There is more profit coming from the illusion.
And he's not saying
Yeah.
100% of the blame is on the artist.
I'm not. I'm just saying
But-
that the fact that
But he can make
absolve.
more money doing it.
This notion
Yeah.
that there's no accountability for the person who's responsible for perpetuating the illusion is just gaslighting. It's like, it's y'all's fault for believing it. No. Start at chapter 1. Why are you perpetuating something you're not doing?
Also, even
That's
if
the
I think
reality.
you're
We
fake,
reached the
I still want to
conclusion
do
of
it.
It's not all of his responsibility, but
No.
he's not absolved
No,
of any
that's
responsibility.
it.
Yeah.
It's just what we're basically arguing.
Beautiful,
is-
happy me.
What's the percentages?
Yeah.
That what we're doing is, and right now it
Yeah,
feels
we're
like
trying to
there's
figure out what the
Yeah, we're trying to, is it 50? Is it 49?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
But I think on social media, it's so extreme. It's like, it's all his fault or it's none of his fault.
Yeah, exactly.
The reality is it's like, look, both parties play a role.
everything's going to play a role. Everybody's going to have a
Yeah.
little percentage. We just got to figure out what it is. But like even suggesting that there is a percentage, I don't think is a bad thing.
No.
But I'm sure if I'm a label, I'm like, hey, don't start this. This is how we make our
Oh,
money.
of
If I'm an
course.
artist, I'm like, yo, don't
Bro,
start
when
this. This is how we
goes
make our
out,
money.
I'm getting flamed.
No, I'm gonna get flamed.
No.
Trust
You're
me.
gonna be like,
I'll argue again. Who's getting flamed the most? I'm getting all the flaming. And you're like, no, I'm
Yo, but
getting
think
all-
about him.
You're flaming.
But think
Nah,
about
I'ma
what,
get crushed.
what Russ got to go through.
Why
like,
are we allowing white people to speak
No,
on black culture?
not even that.
Top comment.
That
Oh,
didn't
that's top
cross my
comment.
mind.
That's top comment.
Wow.
You got
And it's fair.
No, you got to think about, to make your life interesting, you got to fuck all these bitches. You got to buy all these cars. You don't even want to do that.
You talking to me?
Yeah, think about all the shit you gotta go. Think about the suffering. You gotta buy Lamborghinis. You gotta have threesomes like crazy. You gotta go to Marrakech. You don't want to do none of that shit. But to compete with these liars, you gotta spend all this goddamn money, bro.
I'm really
you
in
the
the
victim.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Yo, I gotta pee. Can we pause this for 1 second? All right, let's-
Can we go together?
Listen here, you balding bastards. You don't have to do that anymore. If you're losing your hair, thanks to our sponsor, Keeps, you don't have to do it anymore. This is now a choice, as Andrew always says. Keeps is an online subscription service that makes it easy for men to treat male pattern baldness. With Keeps, you can do a simple online consultation from the comfort of your own home and get matched to a clinically proven, affordable, and personalized treatment plan that helps you boost and regrow your hair. And best of all, Keeps delivers right to your door in discreet packaging. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even use Keeps for hair loss, but I got dandruff. It's kind of gross. I use their ketoconazole shampoo. Dead ass. Keeps, I honestly need another shipment. Send it to your boy. Find a plan that works for you and your schedule. Keeps offers flexible delivery options that are, again, discreet, so you don't have a big fucking your bald box getting delivered to your door. Keeps offers flexible, discreet delivery options that you can adjust, pause, or cancel at any time. Keeps has helped nearly 1 million men keep their hair, and you can be one of them. Why would you not be? 1,000,001. So, hair loss stops with Keeps. For a special offer to get started, go to keeps.com/flagrant. That is KEEPS.com/flagrant. Again, KEEPS.com/flagrant. Let's get back to the show.
All right, and we back. Quick little pee break. Completely separate conversation. Rick Rubin. I feel like Rick Rubin is having like another wave, actually.
Yeah.
Well, that book he put out is a classic.
Is that why?
Yeah, it's
The
a
book is
classic.
great.
I think,
Oh, I gotta check this.
yeah,
gotta
The Creative
read half the
Act is a classic. I just always find it so important for people with such strong set of beliefs and visions and ideas to put out a book, let alone an audiobook. Like, you can press play and just hear Rick Rubin. He could die tomorrow, and you could just press play and hear him talking about
This is philosophy
his belief system
on creation.
Like, that's, to me, is so underrated.
Yeah, the reason why he came up, I thought that was your guru person that you were speaking to.
Yeah, no. But I mean, I listened to Rick Rubin without him realizing I'm listening to him. But
Okay, so what does Rick Rubin do? For those of us that, you
Yeah.
know, he's synonymous with music, but we don't exactly know what he is doing.
that's the guy in the room who only has the purest intentions at heart, which is, I just want this to be the best thing it could be. And so people in the music business have called him like a reducer. I think Kanye called him a reducer, not a producer. You bring him in and he just sort of like, nah,
Cut that
that
out.
should go, that should. he's just, I don't know. It's like you very rarely meet people who are the source.
Yeah.
We talk about it like me and WRLD, who I had her at the house for like a month and a half when I was making Santiago.
Who's this, WRLD?
She's incredible. She's the one who wrote Bitch Better Have My Money by Rihanna. She's an incredible songwriter.
Yeah.
Incredible songwriter. And she just gives so many gems in the studio. And one of the terms she kept saying was the source and pure, source, pure, source, pure. And kind of how she puts it, and I agree, it's like there's people who are just the source. They're the source of the sauce. Like they're in there just conjuring the ideas. And then there's people who deliver the ideas. But there's people who no one knows who are like, we're the ones coming up with the ideas. Like
Would
people
you say Kanye is a source, or
I would say Kanye is a source. I would also say Rick Rubin is a source.
Okay.
I think like people like Sia, you know, the pop singer.
Yeah.
She's a source. That's someone who people call on her to write their songs. You know
The
what
way
I mean?
I interpreted Rick from the book and just from a bunch of his interviews, I'm curious what you think, is like he seems like a creative psychologist.
Yes.
Or like a creative therapist.
I agree. It's like creative self-help.
Yeah, like you're coming to him being like, look, I have all these ideas and I feel really strongly about these different things, but it's all kind of nebulous. And he would be like, this is where you should focus your energy. This is true. This energy you're feeling is honest and will connect with people.
I'm
And
always
this thing is not.
skeptical of these types of people, but I have so much respect for the people that admire him. So I give him that benefit of the doubt.
He
But if he was
preaches
anybody else, I'd be like, what's this hustle, bro?
What do you think about therapists?
But
I'm skeptical of a lot of them, but I've had a lot of benefit from a lot
But
of them.
isn't that
So
how
I think
it
there's
goes
good and
with,
bad ones. Yeah.
Isn't that how it goes with anyone? Like, absent of credentials, aren't you skeptical of anyone and everyone?
Always.
Right? So it's like, yeah, Rick Rubin, absent of credentials, you're like, what
I'm
is
not
this
skeptical
hustle?
if you could dunk from the free throw line. I'm not skeptical if you're putting up 50.
I see.
So it's like,
I see.
if you know so much about making
But
the
Rick
music.
Rubin has tangible, like you could be like 99 Problems and all these amazing.
Yeah, but Jay had plenty of hits prior to
No,
that.
of course, but
So that's
once
what
again,
like.
it's never.
Also,
it's
is he
never
writing the
black-
music for it, or is he there going, this is what, like,
I think you know what it is. It's tough for non-musicians.
yeah,
to
we're
understand-
outsiders. We don't know what it takes to,
to
make a
understand
song.
the contribution that people who maybe don't play an instrument or don't write lyrics
Right.
have. But
Phil Jackson. I don't know if the triangle offense is that effective, but he can take the egos, the
really
talent.
effective.
There
But
was a time
having
before the
somebody-
game moved to the three-point line, the triangle offense was incredibly
And he
effective.
was
The game
effective.
passed him by, but he was incredibly
But he
effective.
was effective with the Lakers until 2011 was Kobe's last championship, 2010.
But the three-point line didn't really change. The way that people shot threes has changed.
But you understand my point. He takes the talent that can dunk from the free throw line. He goes, here's how you win a championship. Jordan doesn't win one before. Phil.
What I'm trying to say is I'm not trying to discredit his X's and O's game. I don't want to get too far off from this, but like the triangle offense was something that was amazing. Now most NBA teams run one of two offenses. It's kind of the same thing. It's how you manage those players, which is what you're saying. But it was something novel and unique and really cool what he was doing. There was value.
I think why I like resonate with Rick Rubin so much is because he preaches authenticity and making music for you, the audience that is you.
Yeah.
And doing it for that reason, and there is no such thing as writer's block, because writer's block is either you not being good enough for yourself or you not being good enough for them. It's just like there's a lot of things that he just talks about that, regardless if he had credentials, what he's saying is the truth.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? Like some people, it doesn't matter. Like I don't know y'all from a can of paint, right? But y'all can say things that are just the truth. It doesn't matter if I know y'all's resume.
And you know when you hear
You know the truth. You know, and I think the truth just rings out, regardless if there's a resume attached to it. And I think also with him, it's somebody who's looking out for the artist, bro. It's like, I just feel like a lot of people are not giving game on really how, like you said, a self-help for creatives. It's fucking incredible what he's doing. So I'm all for it.
I almost look at him like, in a way, like Tony Robbins-ish.
Right.
Where it's like he can go into a business or work with an individual, and all the people that have worked with him publicly that talk about him, Bill Clinton, Agassi, they're like, yo, this guy changed my life. He helped my business. He helped me see the world more clearly. And it seems like Rick does that for musicians.
And the contribution, to add on to that, the contribution factor of someone who, like, for people who don't make music, it would be so incredible to have somebody in the studio who's knowledgeable, who's a visionary, who has great taste, who has no skin in the game.
Right.
and who has no bias, because I'm in there by myself most of the time, and so I'm judging super hard. Or it's me and Boogie's my best friend, and like we both just like love everything we do. And yeah, certain songs get this reaction, certain songs, but still, it's like to have somebody sort of over here who's like, I don't fucking know y'all at all.
Yeah.
This is the one, this isn't the one. Like when I met Rick Rubin in 2016, went to his house and we drove in his car. He was driving this, it was like a white Range Rover. We're driving down PCH and I'm playing him songs. And I play him a bunch of songs and I get to What They Want. And I don't know if What They Want had come out yet, but for context, like What They Want is like 5 times platinum now. And I remember playing it, a bunch of songs from What They Want comes on, and he just instantly, like, ears perk up, and he's like, this is the one.
Oh, wow.
And this is like,
Oh, wow.
you know, this dude at that time was probably in his 50s, something. So it's like, not, quote unquote, tapped in to the youth and what would work with the youth. And I was 22, 23 at the time.
I remember listening to that song and being so upset you were white. And I couldn't believe this white.
But he would, like, Rick Rubin was like, yeah, this is the one. You know, and it's just like,
You know, you can do that with a premise. Like you can hear a premise now at this point in comedy and go,
I think
that's a great.
Yeah,
I feel like I could do that with music, no bullshit.
I think
I mean, dead ass. Like I feel like if you play me the album, like, yeah, this is the single.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing that he preaches, which like but here's the thing that he preaches, which I absolutely subscribe to because it just feels like the truth. Which is
how hard is it? Like your ears, they make the decision for you.
No, but you're right. You're right because guess what he talks about? He talked about it in his Jay Shetty interview. When you take a bite of food, how long does it take for you to say, do I like it or not? It's instant.
Yeah. Like,
same shit with music. He was like, it's just taste. I don't have to think about whether I like it or not. And so Rick Rubin has gotten to where he is off of his taste. And to me, that is the flyest shit ever. That dude has gotten
So you
there.
would love Rick Rubin is the point.
Bro,
I think I would. I am oftentimes skeptical when I hear about these figures and the way that they're described, right? Because what a lot of times I think that they're like, for example,
Deified.
it's really nice to have somebody when you're an artist tell you what you're doing is great when all the other people around you are trying to monetize you.
Sure.
So when the label is trying to make money off this, and the studio is trying to make money off this, and the people at the recordings is trying to make money off, and then somebody who doesn't need your money because he's a multimillionaire so many times over comes over and he's like, no, I like this one here. You go, oh, I can. There's honesty here.
Yeah.
Like, so I understand the comfort that must come from that and also the validation from someone that we always respect.
Yeah.
It's just learning about what that actual skill is. I'm ignorant to him.
Yeah.
The only thing I know is that people that I respect really respect him.
Well,
so
he
I'm
also
more trying
like
to figure
started Def Jam, which was like the first hip hop label.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
So I'm just
Maybe
trying to figure
wrong,
out what the actual tangible thing is, and this creative consultant having taste. Like taste is huge. Like
Taste is everything.
Too. That's the thing. Like
It's not even huge. It's everything.
Fashion.
The reason why you write the jokes you write is because your taste says they're funny.
Yeah.
And the reason why you're huge is because there's a lot of other people who say, your taste is my taste.
Right.
And
And
a
also just
Wintour.
understanding what the people have. Like
That's taste.
yeah, understand what people want. It's like understanding
That's
culture
taste.
and understanding feeling. Like
That's taste.
And when you have taste, it's hard to imagine some people don't have taste.
that's yeah.
And it's also, you can't quantify taste. You either have it or you don't. He did his 60 Minutes with Anderson Cooper. So do you play an instrument? No. Do you know how this board works? No. I know what my ears like.
That's
Taste. That's everything, though. It's like, for me, there was a lot of imposter syndrome, still is, with like, maybe I'm not the best pianist, and maybe I don't know how to work all the equipment, but I feel like I know so well what a smash is.
Bro, you know what's funny?
And like, that's just taste. And that's what I've been moving off of. So for me, Rick Rubin it's just confirmation that taste is everything.
I'm gonna tell my wife this shit, bro.
There we go. Now we've segued.
Now she be showing
Now
me
we've
shit.
gotten to the real.
I just
his
got
wife,
taste.
It's like his wife has been watching Rick Rubin interviews.
I got taste, man.
And so he's like, I get it.
I don't know how to pick the things out. I just know when I don't want it. I know when it's not there, and I know when it does
don't
hit
need
me
to
and it's
explain
there.
yourself. Yeah.
But I just know it. I have a really strong opinion about these things. That's interesting, calling it taste, yeah.
That's what it is.
I just
The
thought it was
reason
being
why
a
you
snob.
wore your clothes. No, but it's like the way he explains it, it's so true. It's like, do you like this food? I don't like it. It's just taste. It's not like, you put on what you put on right
He
now.
really
because
doesn't
you
understand food. It's like a real sensitive thing.
No, but it's like
he hurts me. This guy hurts
no, but it's
me.
like
He really hurts me.
We
He
wear
does.
what we want to wear.
Yes.
We listen to what we want to listen to. We eat what we want to eat. We date who we want to date because that's our taste.
Yes.
Taste dictates all of our expression. And when our taste is confirmed by millions of people, objectively, you could say, I have great taste. Rick Rubin has great taste. That's why people fuck with him, because objectively he has great taste.
Who's the guy that owns the Louis Vuitton, all the other stuff?
Bernard Arnault?
Yeah, there's one thing that Kanye said that was intelligent, made me in his whole life, and it was that Bernard, the difference between...
This guy's crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Kanye is a bona fide idiot, but he does have good taste
crazy,
sometimes. But as a man, he's an idiot.
Incredible taste.
Kanye has pretty good taste.
Yeah, I mean,
Incredible
in
taste.
women, you know, he does.
Dog, hold on.
You met
Hold
one of
on.
the most prominent Kanye
Hold
haters
on.
in the planet.
For real?
Yeah.
No, that's not
Absolutely.
true. That's not true. This is just
Bro,
recent.
Kanye-
Non-Jewish.
This is
Hold
just
on.
recent.
Non-Jewish Kanye
Yeah,
haters.
non-Jewish Kanye hater.
Let me tell you the
Number one.
strongest form of currency that Kanye has to offer is his taste.
Is his
That's
taste.
why he's Kanye.
Yes.
No.
It's because his taste isn't. When he does something, people are like, "Well, that's fly because Kanye did it." Because his
Not recently, though.
Yes.
What
Yes.
recently?
What do you mean? What recently?
Milk Factory.
But you're not dressing your girl like that.
Give it
Kanye
time.
dresses his wife like
Give
that.
it-
You're not dressing
give it
yours.
Time. Give it time. People
Ain't nobody
make-
dressing their wife
Give it
like that,
time.
son.
Give
Ain't
it
nobody.
time.
You gonna dress
Give
your
it
girl
time.
like that?
No.
Okay.
So doesn't matter what I do.
Nah, his
I'm not
taste
the
went
general
sour.
public.
His taste went sour. Kanye's taste went sour.
Watch him.
Dog,
It ain't
hold
the
on.
way it used to be.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
That shit is so
Kanye,
ass.
Kanye put up a
Mine's
snippet.
As a rapper, you like his bars? Be honest.
What? Of course. Kanye put up a
In
snippet.
the mayonnaise-colored Benz they call Miracle Whip.
That's
That shit was
crazy.
fire.
That's
What
so
are we
fire.
talking about?
Mayonnaise colored Benz that puts Miracle Whips?
I'm beasting off the Riesling. Nah, y'all like so gassed.
Yeah,
Kanye's the
you
corniest rapper ever. Kanye's the corniest rapper ever.
Yo, you're
I'm beasting off the
What
Riesling,
is
guys.
crazy?
I don't know. Guys, this is such a
That was a hard ass
Yeah,
ball.
Miracle-
Like,
you also picked early. I love early Kanye rap. I don't
Hold
like
on.
it as much now.
All
But
Kanye's
Miracle-
raps is
Let me
ass.
also.
All Kanye's
He
raps is
also hates
ass.
Kid Cudi.
Nah, bro.
I'll be honest. Can I be honest with you though? I never heard a Kid Cudi song.
You're tripping. You're tripping.
I never really heard a Kid Cudi song.
First of all,
I
listen
just
to
think
the
he's
first
corny.
like 4 mixtapes and the first 2 albums, bro. You'll have 100 songs added to your playlist.
Day and night or something like that.
Day and Night's incredible. But hold on, Day and Night is incredible.
When the sun goes around.
The thing with Kanye, and this is the thing with great music. This is what's so funny.
But
And
tell me a bar that you like from him.
bro. There's
Sam,
so
I'm
many.
telling
Tell
you.
me a bar. Like,
telling
give
you.
me
What?
one bar. Go.
diamonds are
Give me.
forever.
If you go. Listen, I gotta tell the aliens why Kanye is a good
There's
rapper because they
so-
think he's corny. Give me one bar.
I can't even pronounce nothing. Past that for Stacey.
It's crazy.
That shit is fucking awesome. Everything he does musically.
You don't even believe in it now.
Are you kidding?
Nah, bro. I re-listened to.
You're
I
tripping.
caught the second verse. The Diamonds Are Forever remix. The second
Kanye
verse goes so crazy.
Kanye was the antithesis to gangster rap when he popped off. Dude was in a popped up polo collar on Def Jam Poetry doing fucking All Falls Down. That shit was legendary. But what I'll say, and it goes not just for Kanye, great music transcends everything.
I mean, his production is incredible.
No,
His
but here's
songs are
the thing
incredible.
that's
Don't get me
ridiculous.
wrong,
Here's the thing that's ridiculous with society, and I just find it humorous, is that
He means you when he
Yeah.
says
no. I
I'll take on
He's
society.
being-
No,
I'll take on
You'll
society.
see. No. You'll see. It's not
I'll
even
take on
about
society.
No. It's not you. You don't have to defend society. It's that a hit song absolves all mistakes.
yes.
It's crazy. I've said it, and I know it's the truth. If Trump had smashes,
Nobody will care.
no one cares. I always think about it, I'm like, man, this is how fake mad society gets. It's like, dog, if you have a hit, do whatever.
You think you got enough bangers?
That's how people act.
Hold on.
art.
Do you think you got enough bangers?
The power of art.
Like, no one man should have all that power. You know what I
think
mean?
you got enough
That's
bangers, Russ?
crazy.
That's fact.
Do you think you got enough bangers?
No.
You can't get
It
away with
depends for
illegal
what.
shit.
You can jaywalk. You can
Yeah,
jaywalk.
you could jaywalk.
Yeah, I could jaywalk.
You could rob a car.
Yeah.
Domestic violence, maybe.
No.
You could fight a bouncer.
I could fight a bouncer.
You could fight a bouncer.
One N-word slip.
No.
no.
Not a banger for N-word.
That's
If I was
a trap.
No,
That's
no.
a trap.
Yeah, no,
what
no.
they want, bro.
Eminem.
No, but I just
slips.
I just think it's
It was
I just
fine.
think it's interesting how society just picks and chooses who we're gonna like vilify.
Music is primal, man. It makes us feel these different things.
Yeah.
You
It's
can't
spiritual.
compete
It's something
with it.
you can't touch.
Can't
and like,
compete with it.
if it's fucking awesome, like, what did he do?
And that's why we
that sucks.
deify great
Like,
musicians.
and that's how people act. It's crazy.
Yeah, it gets in your soul.
But
Yeah.
bars, you like Kanye for bars? Not
Yeah,
remove
bro.
the
What?
Really?
Yeah.
You realize you're always off on this.
Nah, everybody feels
in
that
the
way.
room
Trust me, everybody feels
disagrees with you every
nobody,
time you
nobody
take the
rapping
stand.
Kanye by themselves.
Son, there was a time where people were putting Kanye in the 1, 2, 3
Oh
category.
my God.
For sure. For sure.
For the bars?
Yes, he had a
Yeah,
run where he
yeah.
was competing with Wayne and Jay.
So I
Well,
was
I'll
listening
tell you.
to-
I'll tell you this. To that point,
I think he
when Kanye
bodied
dropped
Jay on.
Yeezus and Kanye went on Sway, and he said, "As long as I'm rapping, no one's number one because no one's talking about what I'm talking." It's the truth. When Kanye dropped Yeezus and he's doing Black Skinhead and New Slaves,
Yes.
who was talking about that?
No one.
No one.
What was
So-
he talking about? What exactly?
What was he talking about?
Yeah.
Shit that everyone is scared to talk about.
Which is?
I actually don't know this part.
Oh my God.
What
bro.
was he talking about?
I don't want to talk about it because please explain.
Because you don't know. Because you
No.
didn't listen to his bars.
No,
Anyway,
no, I know, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it because I'm not
Nobody
in the
listened to his
position to
bars.
say
Go,
it.
go. What was he talking about?
Bugging.
Just calling us slaves by being victims of consumerism.
Vanity
capitalism,
slaves. 'Cause
Vanity
if
slaves.
you've heard the
And then he
song
went and
Vanity,
sold y'all the same shit that he was
No.
calling you slaves for buying?
no,
I mean,
listen,
he made it though. So.
listen. Once
Nobody
again,
said he wasn't.
This is
a
y'all
fraud.
Jesus.
Listen,
Nobody
if you
said he was-
Get
no,
out of here.
Nobody said he wasn't a fraud.
Okay, good,
Nobody
good.
said
Hold
he
on.
wasn't an
Okay.
Hold on, once
exploitative
again,
fraud.
Okay,
once
yeah.
again,
Even
awareness,
MLK was a flawed
awareness
man,
is
bro.
step one. Awareness is step one. So when you hear like Kendrick Lamar's song Vanity Slaves off of like EP, Kendrick Lamar or OD, whatever it was, when Kanye dropped New Slaves from a mainstream level to be delivering bars about basically being vanity slaves, that's powerful. Now, did he turn around and sell this and that? But it's like, bro, you got to commend the audacity.
Yeah.
And I think with
He
Kanye,
was
what people
also
always
admitting that
respected.
he was one as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And I think what I always resonated with Kanye was like the audacity. The audacity to just say some shit that you know you probably shouldn't be saying is, man, like Kanye is my angel investor for the battery in my bag.
Okay,
You
I'll
know
give you
what I
that.
mean?
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
He'll say it, and he doesn't worry about the repercussions.
Admirable.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, I'll give him
Your
that.
haircut owes Kanye West.
Listen, he wants his haircut so bad. I just want to let you know.
The best
He cannot wait to get this haircut.
He ain't think about it.
Yeah, he's furious.
The best Kanye saying when he shouldn't say it shit is my favorite one is when he's talking about the manager or the executive. He's like, yeah, there is an executive. I'm not gonna say what religion he is. He was Jewish.
That was doctors. I was joked by these doctors, but I'd say the doctors and which hospital they come from. The Jews.
The George Bush doesn't care about black people thing is so funny too.
No, I like the audacity.
Just circling around it for so long.
ill. That's like a glitch in the matrix.
But he's
it's
also-
like that happening.
But
It's like we can't account for this. And like it makes the whole system go haywire.
And
Like,
Mike Myers was there
Mike
for no
Myers
reason.
trying to handle it is so funny, dude.
and then fucking Chris Tucker's like, anyways, that's awesome.
I do miss the old Kanye. He gets mad when we say that, but I miss the old Kanye.
No, but he's just become a guy that's like inspired by the last YouTube video he watches, and that's just the only bullshit he regurgitates. And then once you see that, it's just hard to take anything else seriously. Like when I see him going on these rants, it's like, oh yeah, I too have stumbled across these videos on YouTube, and I have chosen not to regurgitate this information or at least fact check it, and he's just not. And I also know some people that he was like getting game from that basically had to like hit him up afterwards and be like, we were just talking theoretically about these things, Kanye. Like I spoke to the dude that he literally went on TMZ after talking to and spit all the shit. No, he went on TMZ after he spoke to this guy. And it was just
Before
like,
he talked to Van.
yeah, right. And then he talks, and it's just like, oh yeah. So, and nothing you say is thought about at all. You just heard something sticky or provocative or whatever
but
it
you-
is, and
you
you're just
do-
out there.
You know what I'm trying to do though now? I think after being like scrutinized in the media heavy is like just deploy more empathy. That's it. Like that doesn't mean that I'm absolving people of like fucked up shit they're saying. It's more so like before I go to shame, which is what I would usually go to for myself especially, it's like,
What are you going?
where are you at?
Yeah.
You know, and I think that that's just a much more productive opening, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. It's like, two, 3, 4 years ago, what the fuck is wrong with you? More so now, like, damn, like, I wonder what's going on. That's it.
Curiosity question. Who's Lucian Grange?
Yeah.
Who is he and what's his power in the music industry?
I believe he owns UMG, Universal.
But the way people speak about him is like he's pulling all the strings.
He's just like a popular name. I mean, he just owns a massive. So there's Universal, Warner, Sony, and whoever. I don't know. We've been drinking, but yeah. I mean, there's people who are just CEOs of these massive labels and companies, and they are in power. But it's like he's just like an attractive, popular name.
Who's the most powerful person in music?
Probably the people in Japan who actually own the shit.
What does that mean?
Oh, yeah. Like certain, when I was with Columbia, certain deals, they went above. So like Columbia has a CEO, but Columbia is part of Sony. Sony has a CEO, but above that is the dude in Japan who owns all of that.
See, now we talk.
So certain deals, they were above the CEO of Columbia and they were above the CEO of Sony. It had to get approval from the dude in Japan.
And how did you do that?
Well, it just goes up the pipeline. And they just run numbers. Like, is this a good investment or not? You know,
Did you ever meet that dude?
No.
You ever
But those
talk
are like
to him? Did you
those
ever
are the real like that's why it's so I don't know. Like it's like thinking that the fucking head coach has that much say. That's the face of the shit, bro. Jerry Jones is calling the shots.
Yeah, and he's not going to die anytime soon, unfortunately.
No, it's like, and I don't know enough about football to know. It's like maybe there's probably someone above him.
Yeah.
Who like there might be a board of people who gave Jerry Jones the money.
The devil himself.
No, but it's like
Fucking asshole.
no, but it's bro. It's the same way politics
Fuck you,
work,
Jerry
right?
Jones.
It's the same way politics work. It's like Biden or Trump is the face, but there's a board of people who invested. And so it's like those are the ones who really are calling the shots because it's like we invested, so you need to do X, Y, and Z. Same shit with like the people in Japan who actually own Sony as a company, not just the music. Like,
Is that why you're afraid to call them odd? Is that why you call them
what a
interesting?
segue!
Because they fucking sign the checks? Is that what's going on
no,
over
I
here?
have no association with them.
Because I just want to apologize to all of you out there in Japan. I didn't realize you guys owned
like,
everything.
when you start thinking macro, it's like a record label is just one of the arms of Sony.
Yeah.
Sony also makes PlayStations.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They're making your TV,
It's like-
they're making your headphones.
Yeah, it's like this is just another like what's so funny is the record label, that entity in and of itself is one artist. PlayStation is one artist. Like we just need one of these things to go crazy.
Yeah.
But underneath each one of these things is like so many people who are like, what the fuck? Like I need my thing. And it's like, bro, these people don't give a fuck. What?
Everybody thinks they're the
They're
biggest
sitting in
fish.
Japan. Like, I don't, like, what does he want? 4 mil? Like, how much has he made? 6? Well, give it to him. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like, they don't give a fuck, bro. Are you kidding? These people are checked out. They're not here with y'all. Like,
What do you think they're doing out there, those fucking weirdos?
looking at a koi pond. Bro. As they should. That's what I would be doing if I was bees up in Japan.
Getting inspired.
I'm at a koi pond eating fucking teppanyaki, just fucking minding my business.
Yeah.
Give me the P&L. That's all I
I'm
wanna see.
blanking on his name, but the Houston gangster that everybody.
Jay Prince.
Jay Prince.
Prince,
Have
the
you
legend.
have you ever had a run-in with?
No.
No.
I've talked to his son before, but yeah, I mean, I've never met them.
How much control and power do they have?
I have no clue. It seems like they have a lot. I know what y'all know. Outside looking in, it seems like they have a lot.
I mean, but you talk to his son. I'm sure you've shared things like.
No, it's just literally a DM. It was like, what's up? Oh, appreciate you. Prayer hand emojis.
Did you ever have to check in?
No. What?
Yeah, he just doesn't make. I don't think he makes
I'm not
music
doing
operates
like
in that world.
the other thing is like
He
if
operates
you're,
a question, but
he
I-
operates in hip hop.
no, I know, but it's like if you're moving around claiming to be the big bad wolf, or like there's other big bad wolves. So like when you go to a city that you're not from and there's other big bad wolves, it just makes sense to be like, hey, big bad wolf, like I'm also here. Can we coexist?
Who explained this?
Just like basic, like that to me is like
Who explained this?
basic courtesy.
Who is it?
Is that not basic courtesy?
No, it is, but I'm just saying.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought they just have a control over
An embargo
hip-hop.
on a no-fly zone.
Yeah,
No.
like any hip hop artists that are performing here,
No.
you gotta checking with.
I've done numerous shows in Houston. It was completely fine.
The etymology of this is that back in the day, hip hop artists could usually only perform in like one venue in a city, and that venue is owned by like the local drug dealer. So now you had to do a deal with the local drug dealer, and if you didn't come with your guys, the local drug dealer who was paying you all cash, who was basically trying to clean his drug money, knew exactly where you were staying, and you might get hit for your shit on the way out of the venue. So you had your guys reach out to them and say, hey.
That's multi-layered.
But this is back, so that's checking in. So it's basically like, yo, am I gonna be good making this money? Because back in the day, rap artists weren't getting to play in the fucking arenas or the crazy venues or whatever they do now.
I think it's different, like depending on like sort of the music you make. When I did Hollywood Bowl and I wanted to bring out YG, and he hit me. He was like, man, like the venue's tripping because of who I am and like what I'm associated with. They're not letting me. Long story short, like he ended up being fine, but it's like they didn't give me a hard time.
They gave him.
They gave him a hard time. You know what I'm saying? So I think like it just kind of depends on what the perception of you is.
Do you have to move around with security?
I move around with security because it's smart. Because I stopped thinking that it couldn't happen to me. And also because after 2018, when there was a lot of like media hate and like cultural hate, I was just paranoid. I'm just like, I just started
You're
feeling.
also running up on people that talk shit.
Right, so I'm just like, bro, like I would be dumb to think that that all of these are just like baseless threats. So let me like move smart so that God forbid anything happens. So yeah.
Oh yeah, are you still moving like that?
Hell yeah.
No, but running up on people that you
No. I was never moving like that.
Yo, that shit works though, huh?
No, but I wasn't like I mean, it's
Name a Kanye bar. Say Kanye bar.
Yeah,
I move like that. I was never doing it.
Violence works though,
I think it's actually sad. It's an unfortunate reality that the language that some people speak is money or violence.
Yeah.
Meaning like
Fire to put it on them.
well, it's true.
Dude.
It's true.
No, he was operated that way.
It actually like exposes the the nuts in people. Like how much you really believe what you're saying. You know? So it's like you're ballsy enough to say something online, but you're not ballsy enough to like really
throw down when it happens
in person. And there was a time where I was just I fell victim to myself and my rage of wanting to stop being fucked with. And so I was like, bro, enough is enough. Whenever I see any of y'all, like, fuck y'all, So that's just because have y'all seen anyone say anything since?
Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like everyone speaks violence.
Yeah.
Everyone does.
So
everyone
language,
understands that language.
True.
It's like, and it's fucked up. It's like, damn, so y'all just weren't spanked, like as a kid. Cause like, I don't know. It's just like, I'm not gonna say like when I was 17 or 18, I wasn't on Twitter talking shit as a nobody. But it's like, I've never talked shit since getting on and famous and successful about anyone. And if I have, I always knew that there could be blowback. But this whole notion of like, I'ma talk shit and like, yeah, I'm good. It's just like, damn, bro, like, yeah, I'm sorry that like, you just didn't learn this lesson earlier. And it's not even a positive thing that I even want to promote because it causes me to have to look over my shoulder, straight up. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I also don't expect anyone that like there was an altercation with to sort of just like
let it go,
take accountability and let it go. Like, yeah, you know what? I did talk shit about him, then I got punched in the mouth. Like, all right, we're even. I assume they're like, fuck you, I'm gonna get my get back.
Yeah.
And so it's like, damn, like I wish I didn't do any of this shit.
Right.
But it's like I didn't. I always talk about like going to chapter 1. Like I didn't start chapter 1.
Yeah.
I didn't talk to any of y'all. I don't know any of y'all. I just fucking capitalized on their ignorance.
Real Italian mob boss shit.
Yeah.
The most Italian he's been in the whole pot. Unfortunately, the capitalization.
No, it's just
It was a lack of respect.
no, it wasn't. It's not who I want to be.
You turned me into a man I
It's
never
not.
wanted to
It's
be.
not. No, it's really not. Because it's not fly. Like,
Yeah.
it's really not. It's not fly.
And there's a
It's-
long-term cost. The security
There
is a
is.
long-term cost.
There is, because I don't blame like revenge is a dish best served cold. So I don't blame any of those dudes if like 5 years from now they're like, you thought we forgot? Bang. Fuck you, we caught you in the Bahamas. You know what I'm saying? So like I wouldn't blame any of them, but it's also like, whatever. They just lack accountability.
If you were an evil individual, record executive that wanted to create a system that could extract as much wealth from the artists that you possibly could, given the technology that exists right now, how would it look?
Easy money.
Okay.
You create somebody who is the most radical persona and image of counterculture as possible, and feed them hits. That's it. Like, think
Give me an
about
example. Like,
So like me and Boogies talk about this all the time, which is, I think at its core, I think hip hop is black culture, right? And I think you've heard from a lot of different perspectives within the black culture. You've heard from the CEO, right? Jay-Z, which also drug dealer. You've heard from the artsy dude, Kanye. You've heard from a stripper. You've heard from the. It's like, what's the next extreme thing that you haven't heard from yet? What's the next extreme perspective you haven't heard from yet? Get that. Look at Sexy Red. I think Sexy Red.
Just gonna say that.
I think Sexy Red is all. I don't subscribe to this like it's like a weapon of mass destruction. I just think like it's the natural progression of things. It's like Sexy Red is, I think, represents the authenticity that everyone else is almost trying to push. She's like the real deal. She's the real thing.
Yeah.
And that's why it resonates, because it's like, oh.
Very small percentage of the culture. Very small, but it's
it is
But it's
authentic.
impactful. But it's impactful and it's authentic. And so
Interesting.
look at like the progression of the game, right? It's like, okay, but where do you go after Sexy Red? At some point, me and Boogs talk about this all the time. At some point, you're gonna hear, you've heard from the CEO, you've heard from the drug dealer, you've heard from the stripper, you've heard from the this. At some point, you'll hear from the crackhead. You'll hear from the this.
Now-
You'll hear.
Oh shit!
Now, hold
You
on.
will. Why would it stop at?
You're making a
Think about it. Why would it stop here?
You're right.
'Cause you just get
they
more.
exhausted men. That's why women have been making the best
No,
music.
it's like, think about it, bro. Like, we're not stopping here. It's gonna go to the next level, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next.
It's more extreme.
Oh yeah, and bro, give it 10 years, a legitimate, like where it's like clear that that's their brand, will have a #1 song in the world and is a known crackhead, and we will be living in a Black Mirror episode where everyone is rooting and cheering on for the train wreck of a crackhead.
What was the first thing you said, though? You said counterculture, right?
Yeah.
And counterculture is anything that goes almost completely against whatever the mainstream popularity is.
Well, and what in my correct me if I'm wrong. The culture of hip hop at its core and at its inception was intelligent movement. What's the antithesis of intelligent movement?
The crackhead.
Being reckless.
Reckless.
Okay, we're
Yeah,
like
it was intelligent.
kind of close.
Well, no. To your point, I want to.
Everything right now, like why the old heads are like hip hop is dying is because what is happening is counterculture to the culture of hip hop's inception.
yeah.
Okay.
The shit happening
would agree.
in hip hop is actually counterculture. In the culture is hip hop.
To the counterculture. I'm curious about this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hip hop, I don't think had a #1 album last year.
Right. Until whatever it was. Yeah.
There is a form of music that has gained
What you
mainstream
I saw this
popularity.
and I sent it to the group chat. It was so spot on.
I'm curious your take
Country.
on it. And is country this rebellion that you're talking about? Is this this counterculture. If the mainstream culture, if everybody's listening to hip hop and hip hop is, it might not be representative of every single person in America, but it is popular music now. Is country now the most rebellious or counterculture thing to hip hop? And is that why it's become so popular?
I think this. I think it's not that black and white, but I think there's a couple things. I think it happened with rock music, which is subject matter in rock music reached the ceiling where we had heard everything.
Yeah.
And I think with rap, we have heard everything. Oh, you're also sliding on an op? Heard that. In fact, I heard it and it was better. You're selling drugs? I heard that. 50 did it and it was way harder.
You're sad, you're emotional.
You're sad? Heard that. Cuddy? Way better. Drake? Way, you know what I'm saying? It's like everything that's happening in rap, I've already heard the better version of it.
So what haven't we heard yet?
So it's reached this point of we've heard all of this. It's like at this sort of breaking point where what's about to happen. And that's one layer of it. I think the other layer is people who listen to country and rock, they weren't on the streaming platforms at first. They were still on iTunes.
Yeah.
Right?
They were still buying CDs.
They were still buying CDs. They've migrated.
interesting.
They've migrated over where now my dad is on Spotify. See what I'm saying?
That was the last
is
genre
interesting.
of music that was still buying.
Right. So now you're getting the audience that was basically country music's audience, in my opinion, was last to migrate to streaming. But now that they have, people are seeing that, wow, there's a lot of them.
Think about
So it's not necessarily
a lot
a
of them in
rebellion.
America than there is.
It's just that they were the last ones to convert.
To migrate.
And because of the
Yeah.
conversion of migration, now we're seeing these numbers that look astronomical, but those were always
They
the
were
fucking
always
numbers.
there. They were always there.
That's interesting.
They were
Kenny
always there.
Chesney been moving units.
Yeah. They were always there. They
They
were just
always
last
had
to the
their
party.
own award show that was huge.
They were just last to the party is all that happened, in my opinion. But also, I do think rap's subject matter has reached a ceiling where there's no new perspectives being introduced outside of like the select few, which is why like, I know a lot of people had flack for Kendrick's most recent album, but in my opinion, Father Time is like one of the greatest songs released in the past 10 years because I've never heard a mainstream rapper talk about, and I could be wrong, right? I don't want to like say that this is the God's honest truth, but it's like, I just have never heard a mainstream rapper talk about father issues in that light. I thought it was fucking profound. I've heard mother issues and all that.
Or child abuse. He talks about
Yeah, it's like, I think introducing new concepts into the lexicon of rap is powerful. And if you don't like the sound of it, that's fine, that's fair, that's taste.
But
I respect that, and that's why I did Santiago, was because honestly, like Kendrick's album, and really Father Time inspired me to speak on my issues because I was like, so it's safe to do that? And then I think I also like talked about shit that's never been talked about before. And
This is all forms of art. Once people see that it can be done, they feel way more comfortable doing it themselves as well. They just can't conceptualize talking about like an abusive childhood or a relationship with their parents, which they might also have, but they're too locked in this game of how can I replicate what's successful? Once you make something else successful, they start going, well, I would also like to try to do that.
Sure. The labels are hanging on by a thread. I'll tell you this.
Wait, whoa.
The labels are not going to allow rap to fall by the wayside like that. They're going to keep boosting and juicing the stream so that it appears that, what are y'all talking about? Rap's not losing steam. There's country, sure, but we're still crushing. No, you're not.
Wow.
You're having to spend a lot of money to keep up the facade. This is A Star Is Born. What is the Lady Gaga movie? It's that.
A Star Is Born, yeah.
It's right now, the labels are doing everything they can to keep the makeup and the wig and the choreography going so that it looks like shit is popping. But it's not. It's not.
And how does that end? Do they run out of money?
No, I think it's like every genre.
I think, bro, to be honest, once again, the truth is boring, right? Here's the truth. You know what it is? 4 years ago, every CEO was signing every SoundCloud rapper and their cousin. You know what they're about to do? Sign every country artist and their cousin. And guess what? The country artists, like we talked about before, they'll make enough money to cover the loss of the rappers that they're still fronting. And so it doesn't matter. It'll always look like rap's still doing its thing. Country's booming, yeah, but rap is still crushing. Yeah, but y'all are signing the country artists. I know, because I'm talking to the fucking... I still have relationships with the people at the labels, and some of them are good people, and we talk about it all the time, where it's like, their whole focus is country artists.
My theory is
The whole focus is... Look at Morgan Wallen, bro.
Yo, Morgan,
Are you kidding?
Well, he uses some words rappers use.
Bro, Morgan Wallen, bro,
good.
Morgan Wallen, Jelly Roll,
Shout out Jelly.
Yo, that's the man.
Bailey Zimmerman, like all these dudes who are like, dudes and women who are coming through this vessel of this singer-songwriter, country twang, alternative sort of space. That's who the labels are scooping up like they were doing 6 years ago with like Lil TJ and Polo G and all those kind of guys. It's like, that's what they're on now. It's musical chairs, bro. It's like thinking that these people actually give a fuck about you is a mistake.
Now, real quick. If rap starts to, let's say, struggle and views and streams are harder to come by,
Yeah.
do you think that rappers will resort to more extreme tactics in order to garner those views or streams? And
Yes.
that's how the art becomes the crackhead doing all these crazy
Well-
things, or the slide on the ops gets even crazier. I need to do something even crazier in order to get the reaction that I did before.
Yes, but also it's like labels, I think labels are going
Go like this right
to...
here. You got something on your chin. Yeah, you got it.
Get it
Yeah,
from
you
me. I think labels are going to continue to prop up rap to attract newcomers. Because, put it like this, right? Labels letting rap fall is a bad idea for them. Because now where the up-and-coming rapper is going to go to. They're going to feel like, well, no, I'm not going to go over there. I'm not going to sign because all these rappers are falling off. But if you keep seeing rappers doing crazy numbers, you're like, all right, so there's still a place for us. So they're going to keep propping it up, knowing deep down, damn, we're having to spend 30 grand every 4 weeks to keep all these rappers propped up, but these country artists are making millions. But you know what? At least we're still recruiting and persuading these up-and-coming rappers to come over here.
And they want to keep the rappers so they don't lose like market share.
Yeah, of course.
Also, you don't want to let an independent scene pop up.
This is a fact. I might even get, I don't know, my lawyer will probably call me after this, but when I left Columbia, first of all, I bought myself out of the deal.
What does that mean?
It means they wanted another album,
Yeah.
right? And I said, I'm not doing another album. I said, okay, well, we need money. This is like layman's terms.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool. Here's $1 million and some change. Y'all can have it. And also part of that was, well, we want market share on your first 20 songs or whatever the fuck it was that you put out independent. What do I give a flying fuck about y'all's little dick measuring contest in the industry?
Meaning those songs.
Meaning, like, after I leave the label, when I put out 20 songs independently and Hits Daily Double puts out the market share report where UMG has 30%, Sony has 20, Sony wanted to be able to claim my first 20 or whatever songs independently as part of their market
For
share.
his bonus.
Even if they're not with Sony, that was part. What do I give a fuck about
Yeah.
y'all's weird dick measuring contest
Well,
that you can flex to the other fucking weird CEO at the Christmas party?
Yep.
I don't give a flying fuck. I'm getting out of here. You know what I'm saying? But it's like that's what they're moving off of.
Right.
Is market share.
Yes.
Because bonuses are attached with that. If you're number one in market share, get a bigger check.
Yeah,
from.
you as the CEO or
Yeah,
whatever.
of course.
So my theory with music genres is that any new music genre, it's gonna have its spike,
Yeah.
and then it's gonna level out.
Sure.
Like, people say rock is dead. Rock's not dead. It's just smaller.
Yeah.
There's
And
still
it'll
rock
boom
stations.
again?
People still no. I don't think it booms again. I think it just levels out. So it's like right now we're in the country boom.
Yeah.
And it's going to level out.
I just think country
Hip
isn't
hop
new.
has leveled out.
Can I say
and
a hot take?
now we have Afro beats,
Yes.
which is a new version of music that people haven't
here's
heard, and
my-
it's
the
booming.
one whole-
I want to say
Country's not
so
new.
many hot takes.
No, but say your point.
Country's not new. Country's been around for
No, but I know what he's saying. But I know what you're saying.
New to like
black
streamers and just like new to the marketplace where
This is the
music's
first.
being consumed.
This is the first time since streaming boom where country was cool to young people.
Yes.
Fair enough.
But to that point, I think we're once again. This is this is really me holding up a mirror because I'm white. So I feel like I can speak on this.
White people are the best.
White people and white boys and white chicks with the colleges and sororities and fraternities, so enamored by black culture, right? Mm-hmm. And for a while, it went from like, I remember being in high school and there was pockets of like the goth chicks and people who they listened to like a certain kind of music. There's people listening to like, I went to high school 06, I was a freshman, 2010 I graduated, 20 minutes outside of Atlanta. So like Snap Music and D4L and Soulja Boy came and performed at the pep rally. And so it was like that era. It's like, there was the people who were listening to that and whatever. I think now what's happened with rap is that the people who would have been listening to goth music and goth artists and punk, artists, whether it was Chemical Romance or whatever it was, here's Lil Peep, here's Juice WRLD, here. Hip-hop gave every genre a representative. But now what's happening, the pendulum has swung where it's like, you know what? I think I would just rather listen to just the goth artist or just the country artist, not the country hip-hop mix, not the goth hip-hop mix. There's enough art, like it's time, right? It's time where it's like, it was also hip-hop dominated. We gotta really think, right? It's been 2024, it's been 10, 11, 12 years since like trap boomed and it was a complete insurgence and takeover, right? Where rap and mainly the production of rap and the trap influence was in everything. Ariana Grande was putting out albums that had trap hi-hats. You feel me? It's like you got the biggest pop stars in the world using hip-hop influence and 808s and shit like that. So I just think now enough time has passed where people are like, oh, it starts with the artist where it's like, you know what? I think I just want to make like some punk pop goth shit. Some fucking Boys Like Girls, Chemical Romance, All American Reject shit. Like, I just want to do that. And then the same people who were listening to maybe like the emo version of hip hop are like, oh, you know what? It was really this that I was looking for. This just wasn't there in 2014, but now it is there. And I just think that that's what's happening. It's
People
becoming
are
a lot
more nuanced in their
it's becoming a lot
digestion.
more compartmentalized.
Yeah.
It's like, if you want pop punk emo shit, there's actually pop punk emo bands that can just fulfill that role. And if you want trap rap, there's that.
Yeah.
I think the past 10 years, rap just bled over to everything. And so it was massive. And now I think you have people like the Noah Kahns, who are singer-songwriters, and the Lizzie McAlpines, or whatever her name is. She's fucking incredible. And just, Luke Bryan's and Morgan Wallens and Bailey, just all these people who occupy real estate that maybe 5 years ago belonged to rap fans. There was an overlap, but now it's just very clear to those same fans that actually this is just what I wanted. Morgan Wallen blew up, right? And I think within a year or two, not Morgan Wallen, Noah Kahn, that song Stick Season, it's fucking incredible. Sold out Fenway Park.
Wow, really?
Yes, like I think 2 nights in a row.
Jesus.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And it's like Fenway Park, but like you say the name Noah Kahn in a hip hop space.
Nobody knows.
I don't know.
I don't know who Noah Kahn is.
You've heard the song. You've heard the
But Stick Season is fucking incredible.
They're also probably not buying as many fake streams.
No, but like, you know what?
The numbers.
You know what? To me, bro, like,
You never know. You never know.
I'm just so passionate about.
It's just not reflected in the
I'm so
sales.
passionate about great music,
Yeah.
and I think that is what will always win.
Yeah.
It's great music, and I think a lot of artists and a lot of people, they get caught up in why things aren't working, why is hip hop failing, why is this? You know what? The greats are always going to be fine.
The greats are always.
The greats are always going to be fine. The people who were never that ill will always fall off.
Sorry, this is not related to what you said, but I just didn't want to forget it. Can you talk about industry plants a little bit? Like, I hear that term a lot.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
I don't even know what it
You
means.
know what that means to people? And it's so funny because the prerequisite years ago used to be you had to be an industry plant. And what industry plant means is basically like, we only know you because the industry planted you here. Well, that used to be the only way you could be known.
Yeah.
Think about it, right? It's like the first time I heard J. Cole was 2009 on Blueprint 3 on A Star Is Born.
Right.
I remember I bought Blueprint 3 and Cuddy's debut on the same day, September 9th, I think, 2009, right? September 13th, something like that. That was the first time I heard J. Cole. Then I heard the warm-up, and it was a rap, and I was a fan. He was an industry plant by industry plant standards, because first time I hear he's on a Jay-Z album, that's a crazy
I
introduction.
think he was already signed to Jay.
But it's like, that used to be
I grew up in Queens, and he went to St. John's, I believe,
John's,
and he was like, I saw him handing out.
Right, so you were like early in that way, but it's like
before he was done.
It's like, you used to only be able to find out about artists if the industry pushed them.
Yeah.
And then the internet opened up, and a lot of this like organic rise and guerrilla movements happened to the point where it was very clear, like if you blew up via internet and guerrilla style, or if like an industry put you there. And so it started this conversation of, nah, you're not as real as them. And, you know, and for me, it's like, it used to fuck with me a lot, to be honest. People call me an industry plant because...
Discredits all the work you did.
Yeah.
Bro, because I am the furthest thing from it. And if like, and I get mad because I'm like, one, discredits the work, but two, I'm like, damn, bro, like, y'all are missing out on so much inspiration. Do you understand that, like, if you actually realize the truth, that you would realize you can do it too?
Yeah.
They
You
don't
know what
want
I'm
that.
saying? It's like, bro.
They want the justification
It's like,
for why they didn't do it.
Yeah.
They don't want to know
Of
how to do it.
course.
They'd rather not do the work and have an excuse.
Yeah.
And yeah,
It's
bro.
part of the Nepo baby thing.
He's on because he cheated, not
Right.
because you're nice.
Right.
And it worked your ass
And you
off.
figured out the system and you did that.
Well, your parents had money, so it actually doesn't count what you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
And it, bro, it used to bother the fuck out of me. Because I prided myself on that. It was a part of my identity.
Yeah.
It was my come up. You know what I mean? Like, damn, y'all about it. Like, especially it came during a time where they were taking away everything else, it felt like. I was like, damn, y'all taking away that too?
Yeah.
Like, that was the thing that was like Teflon. Like,
Yeah.
like
Like
wait,
what?
y'all are saying this now?
What were they saying?
And I remember the dude who started the rumor, straight up. And I'm cool with him now.
What rumor? What were they saying?
So the rumor was, it started on Kanye Tilla. It was a forum.
Yeah.
Right? And the rumor was my dad worked for Columbia.
Oh.
And that's how I got on.
Yeah.
First of all, none of that makes sense. Right? It's like, so then why did I have to put out 11 mixtapes?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so he conveniently got hired after the 11th mixtape? It's
Yeah.
okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Son, put out 11 mixtapes and I'll make you famous.
Right. So, yeah, right. And I remember just being so pissed, bro. So pissed. And there's still people who like, you know, I get the comments of like, this fake independent shit, talk about how your dad gave you all the... I'm like, what? Like,
Where do you think this comes from in people? Not just you. This is a human.
I think, you know what it comes from? It comes from an inability to look at yourself.
Yeah.
It's an inability to have accountability for the choices you've made and where they've landed you. And it's easier to say, I haven't gotten to where I want to get to because I'm not cheating like he is.
I would say it's a fear of looking at yourself. 'Cause,
Absolutely.
You know, even inabilities almost gives them too much credit.
The fear
Like, they're not
provides that
dumb.
inability,
Yeah, they're not dumb. They're terrified.
It's scary
of
to
their
look at
own
yourself, and it's
failure.
scary to
It's awful,
realize
bro.
those things.
It's awful, especially if you view yourself and your identity is tied to you being awesome
Yeah.
and you being the man. That for me was like my downfall.
Yeah.
Was like, I got my perceived confidence from thinking I was the man. And so when things would happen that would tell me I wasn't the man, it like, and I talk about it on the song Fraud on Santiago, it wasn't surface level where it's like, okay, big deal. Like people said you're not the man. It's like, nah, beneath the surface is, it made me question, well then who am I then?
Yeah. That's
You
the
know what I'm
imposter
saying?
syndrome shit.
Right. Because
Yeah.
if who I am is the man,
Yeah.
and something happens that's like, you're clearly not, then it's like, well, who am I then?
Yeah.
You know, and it fuck with my head.
Because
Can I
deep
ask you-
down, you're like, I'm not the man.
I'm not the man.
Can I ask
This
you?
thing
And if
is
I'm not
confirming
and
that.
And if I'm not the man,
What am I?
I'm nothing. Do you ever think about how beneficial the insecurity was? And I'm curious, do you ever think like, yo, if I was fully secure, what would I be doing right now? Because I don't think you'd be this.
I think if I was, you know what? Let me actually answer it like this. I think there was a big part of me, and still is, where I compare my struggles. Meaning, like, damn, my struggles aren't valid because my struggles aren't that struggle. And
Yeah, I do that.
I had to realize that, you know what? Yeah, maybe I didn't grow up a certain way, but I had my own struggles that are specific to me.
Yeah.
That are difficult. And yeah, maybe my struggle wasn't my mom was an alcoholic and my dad left, or whatever the fuck it is, right? It's like, but maybe my struggle was what it was on Santiago. And, you know, it's like to compare struggles also fuels that imposter syndrome where it's like, oh, so if my struggle isn't as tough, perception-wise, as their struggle, his struggle, her struggle, that means that my shit isn't real. And that made me start like dismissing my own struggle. Where it was like, bro, get over it.
Right.
Because your shit is not even as real as that.
Yeah.
And it's like, that comes from comparing struggles
All
and
the
thinking
time.
that my shit needs to be that.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I think the fear might be if you put it out there and then people tell you that's not even a real struggle, then you got vulnerable and then you get told the shit that hurt your feelings wasn't even worth getting your feelings hurt. And you're like, well, fuck.
Oh,
what?
yeah, getting gaslit by society is just par for the course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what that, I mean, because that's what that is, right? When I canceled the European tour, and I didn't even fully know why I needed to cancel, but I just knew I needed to, I was getting gaslit by the thousands in the
Saying
DMs.
what?
Oh, like, for lack of better words, get over it. Big deal. I'm going through shit too. My girl just left me. I just lost my job. Da-da-da-da. It's like, all right, so fuck what I'm going through then. You know, and because that's how men operate.
Yeah.
I think
That's
it's just
that's
with
how men operate.
It's also men, but it's also like successful people. It's like nobody wants to hear Jeff Bezos' problems. Like if you got a
Right.
problem with your girl, keep that shit to yourself.
Straight up.
And I think there's less. Yeah.
And I
def-
get and I get that there is a lack of empathy, but
That's the cost of success.
I've talked about and it is forever, to use your word, odd to me, because it is awfully odd that as successful people, we are not allowed to experience the average human emotion without scrutiny. However, the average human expects us to act like we're not above them, but you treat us like we are above feeling what you feel.
I think
And that's what's confusing to me, right? It's like if the average person is like, you're so rich and successful, you're not allowed to be sad. It's like, okay, let's go with that. So you're telling me that, in a way, you're telling me, I'm above you. I'm so much above you that I can't even feel your peasant emotions. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they say you're not allowed to be sad.
That's what it is.
I think they say we just don't care if you're sad.
No,
because you're
but-
so
but
much
even-
sadder.
No.
No, it's
you
literally
can't
like-
be sad about rich shit.
No, it's not. No, it's not even rich. It's
you
just,
could be sad about
it's-
breaking up with
it's-
your girl.
No, you
No.
can't.
I
No,
think
you
that they
can't.
would have empathy
No,
because
it's
they've
just-
went
it's just-
through that.
It's just, if you're rich, all of your problems are like.
You
We're not
literally
really-
just said Jeff Bezos. You
Then
don't need to hear
we're
about your
not
problems with your girl.
and so to me,
if he got cheated on by his
I
girl,
just think
he
it's
could talk about how
interesting how
difficult that was.
society holds celebrities to an emotional standard that's above their own, and then act bizarre and act offended if a celebrity acts like they're above them. But you have literally told them who you think they are. You think they're above you because you think they are immune to feeling what you feel because they've achieved something higher than you could ever achieve.
No, maybe they feel like, I think that's something important to understand is like achieving like wealth specifically is so monumentally difficult. Like there are people that they can't even fathom making what you might make in a month.
Right.
So the idea of having that, it feels if you don't have it, that it would solve all the problems.
Sure.
Because it's so just far-fetched.
Yeah.
So they can't even conceptualize or empathize with going through these other things because in their mind, just like all of us before we had any money, we were like, man, if I had all the money, there
I'd be
wouldn't be a
good.
fucking care in the world. A
Right.
girl breaks up with me, I'm getting another girl. I'm getting
Right.
4 girls. I'm going on vacation to this. So there just probably is a lack of empathy for it.
There's and this is what I always tell like my fans and people is like, listen, I think the best level of understanding somebody could give you sometimes is understanding that you don't understand. You just give me that. Like, because in that, there is understanding. Like, you could tell me something you're going through, and I may not relate to it.
Yeah.
But I can at least deploy the empathy and understanding to know that I don't understand. And so, therefore, I'm not going to pass judgment and say you should or shouldn't be feeling this. I'm just going to understand that I don't understand.
That ain't what the internet's for.
No.
Commenting, hey, listen, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Is not gonna.
The people
happen.
that don't understand don't comment.
Exactly.
No, the people that don't understand comment and say this is dumb.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the people that understand don't understand.
Yeah, exactly. The people
But
with
like-
empathy are just gonna not say anything.
Yeah.
Well, and that's like I saw this on, or I said this on Twitter like earlier. It's like social media like birthed the rise of the haters, because being cool in a lot of people's eyes is getting views and retweets, and negativity gets the most views and retweets. So you got a bunch of people who want to be cool, and the quickest way to get there is by being a hater and passing judgment. So like, it's cool to like, we all laugh, me included, like see a quote tweet. Just if it's got enough retweets, it must be funny and it's hilarious and you laugh, and it's like, damn, it's kind of crazy that like random people with no profile picture just like get pop in and get paid now off of being a hater.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not from that generation where it's like, you got literally applauded for being a hater.
Yeah.
Because we would have just asked, like, but what do you do with your life? And it's like, if your claim to your bank account is, oh, I pass judgment and I hate on Twitter, that's how like I get money, you're a loser. I don't care how you got your money. Like, you're a loser. You know what I mean? Like,
that's facts.
You're still a loser, though. Like,
Now,
I don't
is
know.
that the cost of success?
Yeah, that comes with the dinner. It's like, yeah, par for the course.
Like I wonder if some of this is like as maybe annoying as it is, as you know, we could call the behavior loser behavior, whatever. Part of the cost of being able to take your mom around the whole world.
Oh yeah, that has
go
to
to
come
America,
with it.
do it. There's going to be a negative.
Has to be
it.
trade-offs.
Yeah, and it
has to be trade-offs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, if that's the trade-off, so be it.
Yeah.
You know why? Because it's like the positive is so much crazy.
The positive is
than
crazy.
The negative. It's like, all right, so the negative is like maybe once in a blue moon, like something goes viral about you negatively. The positive is every day. My mom is good in a beach
Your
house,
boys
and
are
I'm lit.
good.
It's like, so like maybe 3 times a year I get shit on, but 365 days out the year I'm living my dream.
Yeah.
So like I win.
Yeah.
Ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the thing to focus on 100%.
Yeah.
Perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's
It's
easy to
hard to
get
have
too.
that yeah.
Well, because we're so zoomed in.
It's also like when you create art or you really care about the thing that you're creating, anything that is
It's hard to not personalize.
displayed negatively about
Yeah,
it, like
of course.
it hurts you a little bit, you
Of
know?
course.
Absolutely, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because we're so close. If we were creating a fucking power bar or we're creating, you know, some
Yeah.
random product, it's not like our love and our passion is in
Yeah.
it. We're like, how much
Yeah.
protein can we get into this bar? Oh, did we get 40 grams? Okay, we got it in.
I also think that's our genius, though, is having, and this Rick Rubin talks about this, the antennas being up.
Yeah, the sensitivity
The
is
sensitivity,
what allows
it's
that's
like-
taste, to be honest with you.
It's like you look at somebody like Kanye, or you look at somebody like
Not him,
Drake,
but,
You're on board now.
and it's
Nah,
like,
nah, yeah.
no, but listen, but it's like you look at somebody like Kanye or Drake, and it's like, damn, why are they so big? Yeah, the music's great and whatever, but a lot of what's impacting and staying with people is the vulnerability and their ability to be sensitive to what they're feeling
Yeah.
and express it in an authentic way. That can't happen if you don't give a fuck.
Yep.
The reality, though, is that attribute doesn't live inside of a vacuum. It's going to also bleed
Through
over
everything
into
you
other
do.
aspects of their life.
Yeah.
And so you're going to get outbursts because they're sensitive.
Yeah.
Because they're feeling.
You can't be good at
what
this if
they're
you're not
feeling.
sensitive. If
No,
you can't
it's
be
like-
a great artist if you're not sensitive.
No, it's like I used to be. I used to feel. It didn't last long, but it was for a little bit where I was like, man, like I'm too sensitive. I gotta let this shit go.
Nah, that's the
And I was like, nah, bro. That is literally my
that's the
superpower.
magic. Yeah.
Like my ability to have the antenna up and to receive the message and execute it without interference is the superpower. And if I start letting the outside world tell me that having my antennas up is weak, then I'll be y'all. And I don't want to be y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all suck. You know what I mean?
You want to feel.
Like, I don't want to live y'all's life.
yeah.
God forbid.
Russ, listen, we've been, I don't know how long we've been going on this.
Damn, we're 4 hours.
Is that
I
the
think.
time right
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
5.5?
No,
5:30. What time did we start?
Jesus Christ.
Start like 1:30 or something like that?
Yeah.
About 4 hours rolling. At this
Oh
point.
my God, bro. Okay, so then before we go, anything else What is the next 20 years? In 20 years, when we come back and we reflect on this, when we're chilling on the Amalfi Coast and we're laughing about the last vacation that we went on, and all the family is good, and there's more family, and that family even has family, all those things are happening. What is the conversation about? Where is Russ mentally? What are you creating?
Honestly, I think for me, I just want to get closer and closer to an authentic balance between my personal life and my career. And I think my whole 20s, I spent down the rabbit hole of feeding my career. You know, which is natural and it's good and it's paid off. And now I'm trying to like incorporate some of this balance. And I think in 20 years, like, I'm never gonna stop making music. It's like, are you ever gonna stop like thinking shit is funny?
Never.
Like, no. So it's like, I'll always be making music. I just think I wanna get even closer to this place of like, just don't see me, feel me though, you know?
Yeah.
And that's it. Because to the fisherman fable, it's like, that's what it's about. Like,
That's it.
I'm already living like that, but I want to get even closer to, like, yo, like I'm putting out music from this island, and like, you know, that's that.
You
I'll see
take
it
7 years off, then you make an album.
Yeah, because,
so
bro,
fun.
to be
Because you
honest, like,
just wanna
I'm
make
also
it.
trying to show my fans and show people who care enough to pay attention that there's an authentic, alternative way to, like, do this whole music thing. And sometimes I beat myself up for not playing the game more, being in LA and being on the scene and like, damn, I should have been at that party. And I bet if I had a spot in LA for 3 months,
Nah, fuck that.
I would have been here. And it's like, yeah, maybe you would have been. But then what?
Yeah,
You know? And it's
not
like,
worth
and maybe it would have paid off here. But it's like, damn, bro, ask yourself the why. The why is so important. It's like, all right, so you could have moved there. You could have went to that party. You could have said something different. Why though? Oh, well then people would fuck with me more and they would know that I'm really who I think I am. Oh, so you don't think you are who you think you are. It's like it's a lack of your own approval. And so I'm just trying to get closer to the point of like, bro, like, y'all can run around and chase all this weirdo shit. And I want to deploy empathy to everyone. I wish I could talk to every artist who's popping and just be like, and just talk straight up, because I feel like all of us are living inside of this fucking tunnel where we can't move either way. And we think we're the only ones in here. And we see everyone else's Instagram and everyone else's success. And we assume that, damn, man, they have it figured out. Not knowing that they're sitting there like this.
Yeah.
You know? And we're just all too prideful to like talk to each other. And, you know, I try to hit up people, but I understand like the music business, it's politics.
Yeah.
You know? And I mean that not in the like, I don't know, in the weird way. It's like everyone's a politician. And so you fuck with somebody based off of like temperature right now and what they can do for you right now.
Sure.
And like, if it doesn't make sense, you won't even respond to the DM, but maybe you got a hit on radio. Hey, what's up? Like, keep grinding, crush it. And all this shit. Like, I just wish, you know, I wish people knew my intentions. I wish people knew that they don't have to compromise who they are to reach the masses. And yeah, I'm just trying to get closer to feeling better about the person I'm choosing to be on a day-to-day.
Amen to that, my boy. Russ, go check out Santiago and go check out the single that's dropped. By the time this come out, I've already dropped.
Yes, beautiful.
Go check it out right now.
It's another relationship problem song. Spin it.
Peace.